T1 can have huge implications here as far as the confidence for KT in their ability in this Grand Finals. They talked about it after upsetting Gen G, and they are off to a very good start here early on in game number 1.
Incredibly impressive start is once again the flick connecting onto BDD. Faker holding his own in the mid lane decently well despite those early kills going down, but you both highlighted it so well. Dokdom, really everything working out perfectly for him as his team is there to support. His team is there to cover. We did see in the picture-in-picture while we were breaking down that replay, an attempted gank top side from Owner. Wanted to try to find an angle onto Perfect. Perfect, beautiful size up on the W means it doesn't go through. But KT on the bottom lane, now that Guma has this 6, potentially more angle here for T1 to play if they want to recoup some of these losses.
And for T1, there is still a lot of power in their team fight. I particularly like your ability to single out targets and force unfair fights, right? With the Taliyah, with the Poppy as well. Poppy in particular can really turn any game around as long as you find high enough value targets. But we also need to be real. This early game is being completely run right now by KT.
T1 recognize they cannot contest the grubs. Prio on the top side still in favor of Perfect. Mid lane relatively even, slightly in favor of the side of T1. Faker hovers into the darkness, threatens maybe a Weaver's Wall to the bottom lane, but
come on, T1.
Peter and Dokdom pretty effortlessly holding for now. So difficult to dive this Ashe Braum, but Keria might go for it anyway. Walk forward, Dokdom there. Case to stand behind me, wants to come through, but Keria, of course, can interrupt. Flashing out instead, then using the W to escape, just to make sure the steadfast presence does not come through. However, they're zoned away from the tower, and they're going to be losing some plates.
Okay, so KT, they back off. That does mean with the half throw mid from Faker, who is hovering to threaten the full commitment from T1, BDD is going to shove out this mid wave first and see if there is any contest over red. It looks like Cuz, early pings, he knows that may be an objective that Owner would try and go for, and so immediately goes out to protect it.
Do really like the bounce back from T1 here, not getting Toronto's arrow.
Okay.
Close. Faker, not too scared of that one. But yeah, the T1 with the presence of mind, it was about a 300 gold swing thanks to the play in the bot lane, the CS denied as well as the plates. But there were free grubs for KT. We'll see if that's going to be worth or not, because it really depends on how much access they get to turrets.
True, but I want to remind people that this is Fearless, so the importance of these picks that have worked before, working again. Dokdom played the Ashe, had an incredible arrow hit ratio. Shout out to our stats guy Hayden for manually tracking every arrow that hit. It's a similar story for Guma. So for Dokdom to take this away from Guma and have a good game is crucial for KT's game plan, as the ulti doesn't connect from Doran. That's crushing. Very likely would have been a sure thing on the initial kill, and now Perfect wants to go for the all-in. Carry on the way up, but Perfect is completely overheated. Buying a bit more time to overheat now as he turns back into the wave. Damage coming in, and the rest of the team has arrived. Spinning right on top of Doran. It is a Cyclone. Keria running for his life. Concussed. Taken down. KT dominating game 1.
Perfect on his rumble. There is a reason he is so confident on that champion. Teleports down to the bottom side, will equalize the play.
So the cross map doesn't work out, and targeting Perfect has been a strategy employed against KT for the whole year. So it makes sense that T1 tries to go for it. But once that ultimate misses, you can't keep forcing it. Perfect, able to stay alive, doesn't really take any meaningful damage, and his reinforcements ensure KT now up 5-1.
We were thinking there was so much talk about T1 and the possible 3P and 4 finals in a row, and how their advantage is going to be how confident they will be under these bright lights. But KT are playing this game number 1 like they're the most confident I have ever seen.
Which is so impressive when we look back at the media day at the press conference, and Peter was talking about how Keria is perfect in every way. The only thing he had going for him was supposed to be his rookie spirit, but he's been first on the map. He is paired up with Cuz so incredibly well. Now almost a 2,000 gold lead for KT. T1 not out of it yet, but sent reeling in an early game where they gave the ideal top side to the side of KT, even after 3 targeted mid lane bans.
And it's honestly impressive. I really like the angle from Peter, who, again, debuted in 2022. And obviously, this is his first World Final, as we have seen many a time, which is still, to me, a heartwarming fact. Had never actually taken a plane out of Korea until he got to Worlds. But thus far, we're actually seeing, I think, come into the draft, we were looking at what is the comfort going to be, and thus far the comfort has worked out in favor of KT, and what is the bot lane matchups going to look like. And when Keria did go for this blind Poppy, we knew it was a gamble, and thus far it hasn't paid off. But in these team fights, the Poppy can still secure a numbers advantage.
KT don't have Prio in the lanes. They have enough vision to know the objective hasn't been started, but they have to be careful at checking for fog of war. They wait to have 3 members strong. They spot Carrier, and they know that is their time to step up. Owner waiting. Gumayushi on the way in. Arrow connecting. No chance to use the Crescent Guard. It might be too late by the time Owner does it. Realm War behind, and it's BDD right on top of Owner, but Faker is there to cover. Instantly, he's sprinting out to safety as Doc Dam starts to rain hell onto Owner, but the Xin is too damn tanky. The objective in the sights of KD. Kuma, not enough time to charge the arrow. Second Drake dropping for KT Rolser.
And T1, second smite, this time cannot find the arrow. Second Drake goes over, and it's again no hesitation from KT.
KT, I mean, they've just been so methodical in this game with their lane assignments, with their choices here for objectives. They pull the pincer closed. They trap T1, force them off. Multiple flashes invested from both sides, though. So I'm definitely looking at Doctum as well. This Ashe with no cleanse and no flash after this bottom side river fight. That may be an area where T1 look to try and punish him, to try and get some gold to get back into this game.
Because it does feel, thus far, KT has been the one calling most of the shots. Really, even the kill that they got onto Doctum was him going in. He did get punished for that, traded. But it's really been KT on the forward. Even here, where they did not have Cryo, as you highlighted, Dracos, they were still able to use the engaged power of that Ashe as well as the Wukong. And I shudder to think what would have happened if Perfect had joined that fight. Because the Rumble with the Equalizer could have made that a lot worse. T1 was able to get out, and they will keep the gold within relative touching distance, but early Drake stacking, an incredible team fighting, team composition, and just the confidence with which KT is playing thus far is really impressive.
So I think we're going to have to keep our eyes on if T1 are able to create some pockets of vision that they can abuse and make some picks of their own. They do have Talia Wall as well as Mbessa Ultimate, very long range abilities here to try and make some of those picks. Gumayushi as well, fairly good at this Varus and throwing out those skill shots. So we'll see if they can actually punish the Ashe in mid. So far, I'd say Doctum is playing incredibly well. Look how safe he is being on the Ashe. Right now, when he had nobody near him, he backed off to his tower, even with nobody showing. He's got his hawk shot, and KT have plenty of vision for him up through the top side of mid lane, giving him that safety where he can just kind of hug that wall. And so I feel like KT almost removing any of these comeback options, these avenues for T1, because they know that's what they're looking for. But BDD!
Doran full committing. The root does manage to connect. Doran can't keep the dive. But BDD is not going to over push here.
Nice force by Doran. Gets his ult off, and BDD forced the flash. A big win there, because that does mean some of the engages of T1 a lot more scary.
Exactly. Plus, you know, maybe picking someone off in a side lane, not just looking at that mid lane here with another flash down.
Very important for T1 that in a deficit like this, although not game-ending, that they can find these avenues for individual outplays. But now it's Doran's flash traded back. BDD came back to lane. Redemption coming down to heal him up. Major cooldown that will not be available, crucially, for this Herald. KT are already on it, and they've just been one step ahead of T1 the entire game.
Herald guaranteed, and what is the counterplay for T1 even? With Doran being pushed off of the top side of the map, there's not much for them to get except for a Scuttle Crab. Bottom side mid wave is not even going to get pushed all the way in.
Doran!
That's 4 people!
Overstaying, concussive blows, the Cyclone immediately comes out as well. Doran can't push a single button! KT merciless on the dive. Doran caught asleep at the wheel, overconfident. T1 trying to fire back for first tower, but it's KT who get it.
They've got the boot upgrades already, and they get the tower early here. 2,000 now the gold lead. The Dragon stacking continuing. KT in game number 1. The coaster does keep going up, Chronicler.
Yeah, and obviously, you know, what goes up eventually. Oh, no, it doesn't hit.
Nice sidestep Peter there in time to body block if necessary.
But I want to highlight, what did this cost for T1? So Doran TP's top to try and salvage this turret, right? Stall. If there's 2 people there, he can probably at least keep it alive long enough for his team to win it. But he TP's in. Then Faker also has the TP towards top to prevent them from taking down the inner. So now T1 not going to have those available for any upcoming fight. In about a minute, the possible soul point for KT is spawning.
And credit to T1, they're leveraging the power of the Varus well in the mid lane. They've consistently had mid-prio. They've used it to chunk away at that turret, chip away at that potential objective. Losing out on the boots is very unfortunate, but need to see if KT can keep this momentum going, because this is the pocket of vision you were talking about. Already set up by T1. One step ahead when it comes to this objective and the control they have over the area. KT might just give it. Only now are they getting control of mid lane.
Yeah, at the middle stage of the game, the team fights are definitely still very winnable here for T1. There's not been this huge break point that KT have hit, even though they do have a very nice lead in this one. You know, Cuz does not have his full second item completed on the Wukong just yet, so it is still about positioning and execution as they look towards this Dragon Soul point. 4 seconds on the arrival of the Mounted Dragon, and Rifthold is used mid for priority.
Wall trying to block the initial charge. Is just going to deny that. Well played. Good piece of mind by Faker to deny that potential prio point. It still does mean, however, that KT get access first to the objective. Owner, Guma, Faker, Keria all ready to go. Keria's ulti, you highlighted it earlier, can be crucial, can deny some of the members of KT access to the pit here, but it's a very slow, drawn-out secure. BDD marking Doran on the flank. Arrow starting to rain. Peter getting chunked out. A flashback from Perfect. T1 chipping away at those resources. Eyes on the equalizer. Redemption now used. Cooldown up just in time. KT is going, but now they want to turn it right back. Instantaneous equalizer. Keria locked up. Rumble coming in, but denied. Keria wants to knock Perfect out of the fight, but it might not matter because it's Doran.
Bucket of water.
Stays standing.
Bucket of water.
Taken down. T1 fire back. No matter the early deficit, T1, they still win the team fight. They still get the dragon, and they're looking for BDD. On the hunt for BDD, but there's just nowhere for him to go. In the blink of an eye, KT's lead disappears.
And KT, they walk into the pincer. That objective just a little bit too juicy, but they will pay for it very heavily as the attempted engage onto Keria is stopped by his W.
How clutch are they? Look at Owner starting it out with the Zin ultimate to spread them apart, and Doran following it up on his Mbessa, and they split apart the team fight so meticulously, and they immediately steal the objective on top of it.
Frustration on the face of KT, not the end of the world, but the goal is a lot closer now. We look back at that team fight, Owner, a hero, Guma raining down arrows, but also Doran was getting focused, made a mistake TPing to the top side, bounced right back in that fight to be critical for that T1 advantage.
Saw Zin in the trailer, right?
Yup.
Zin, some new lore. Maybe Owner is the main character.
And I want to highlight what you said earlier, Kobe, because it was really, if you looked at the actual item finishes, basically everyone in the game was sitting on like an item and a couple of components. So if KT have maybe a couple more breakpoints that they've hit, could have been a difference maker. Now T1, slight gold lead, but I do think it's again important to remind everyone that I do still love the KT comp when it comes to the actual 5v5, but we are seeing if Doran and or Owner can get on that backline, can get on top of Dokdam and BDD, the fights are basically unplayable for KT.
Yeah, and the reason we keep highlighting a lot of the setup players here for this team is because if you do have good setup for Taliyah, Faker's Taliyah, the combos are so deadly. And Faker this tournament as well has been able to do a lot of raw Taliyah Ws to find picks and find burst damage.
Guys.
So let's see about the approach to the Otacon.
Otacon, for now, just the ward.
Doran is getting the top tower at the moment, so that is going to be guaranteed gold here for T1.
And this is the struggle of playing against T1. Their movement around the map is so confident. KT need to be ready to pull the trigger, and they have. Otacon started. A big risk. Doran resetting back to base, likely to finish the second item before he TPs into the fight if needed. Owner in the area. It might come down to just a 50-50, but Faker also has access to the Weaver's wall critically. No flash for Dokdam. No flash for Cuz. KT luckily able to reset the objective, but I don't think they're going to get a chance to leave quite yet. T1 know they have an advantage in the fight if it comes down to the 5v5. Flash forward. Ulti into the back. Immediately thinks he kicked off, but Peter does his best to heroically disengage. It is not enough to keep Dokdam standing. Cuz taken out as well. Doran in the 3v1. Completely and totally unfazed. Keria there to stop any further follow-up. Faker taking down Perfect, and BDD is not enough to stop T1.
And it's the Crook Lord that finds his mark. Dokdam goes down, and T1 turn onto Otacon.
Doran, the addition to this T1 roster, annihilated him.
Hello.
Resetting, resistance is shredded by the Otacon. Keria, ward over the wall, spots out Cuz. T1 know it's a 50-50 now. 5 seconds on Dokdam, but he doesn't have access to a TP to make it to the fight any faster. Perfect TP available. BDD finds the angle into Doran. Keria now backing up. 3K on the objective. Getting lower. Steadfast presence gone. Faker on the backside. Cuz wants to try to make it out of this one, but now they're moving into advantage. Take out Guma. No, Guma living. Guma tries to finish him. Looking for a bit more damage.
Oh my
but
God,
T1,
dude, T1.
they find the double for Keria.
Clutch.
They take the Thornbound Otacon, and Perfect. It is too little. It is too late.
Baker teleports in and he saves the team fight. He gets that shove. They get the Otacon.
And KT try their darndest to get that objective, not able to do so. And so many cooldowns used there as well. That's going to set up perfectly for T1. 3.5k gold lead. 1 minute till the next Mountain Dragon. And now T1, it feels like they're in full control.
What a fight, what a scramble. BDD makes a heads-up play, flashing onto Doran to get the first kill of the fight. And then T1 are communicating the teleport arrival from Faker. Look at Owner running away so that Cuz can't find burst damage onto him. And once Faker comes in and gets a double shove.
And that shove ends the fight immediately. They were a member up. And perfect if he was alive just a little bit earlier. Could have been the difference maker, but not in time. And T1 now with the biggest lead we've seen in this game so far.
After that 4K gold lead on top of a discrepancy of 38 petals, 40 to 2.
Oh.
Nearly 8K in gold and an additional effective stats or XP from those petals. A nearly unstoppable advantage. Luxury items coming through. The Seeker is there for Faker. Perfect's utilized in the previous fight. Things are getting dark for the side of KT. They're going to fight back to the bottom lane to try to get vision of this area. They could not secure the third Drake, but they desperately want the soul point. They spot Faker on the flank. One more fumbled fight might just take them out of this game entirely.
Cuz is getting chunked. Already took an arrow. Faker's looking to split the fight.
7K. Cuz gonna have a hard time healing back up that chip damage.
Reset.
Does have access to the Sundered Sky. Objective reset now. Eyes on those support cooldowns as well. Carria's ulti, the Unbreakable for the Braum will be important as T1 already getting mid-prio. Doran fishing for the flank once again. Ready to come over the wall with the public execution. Carria going into the wall, locking up Cuz. Instantaneous knockup! A flawless combo to keep it going. Duckdown finally escapes, but he just finds himself in a 1v1 versus Doran. Hope fading fast for the side of KT as Carria is still standing. Perfect and BDD running for the hills. T1 grabbing their second Drake, but Owner not done yet. Knocks Peter out as well.
And Cuz just doesn't get to play the game. Carria, who we haven't talked about in a bit, had a rough start to the lane. I'm thinking now the Poppy pick really works out. He's the one that set up the pick onto the Wukong, and he gets CC'd 100-0.
Carria Poppy, my boy. Oh my goodness, what an engage. Honestly, let's watch it again, guys.
As look at the combo here, and it's the immediate follow-up that to me seals the deal, right? It's Doran is ready, Owner's there, Faker sets up the wall for the sandwich, and even though BDD and Perfect are trying their best, again, without that Wukong, without that front to back in these messy skirmishes, T1 is just reigning supreme.
We walk in.
The confidence in each other is what really makes this team elite here for T1. You said it, no hesitation from them. They all go in at the same moment. They all find the engage. They find the kills. And they find themselves almost 5,000 gold in the lead.
It's not just that. Look at the levels. Doran is 2 levels up. Owner is 2 levels up. BDD is kind of okay, and indeed, as Kobe nicely points out to me, we already talked about it's 43-2, right? So BDD is the only one that's even because of the Roa, and now, as T1 does, they're gonna start up this Baron.
And it's a terrifying position for KT because they know if a single member of their team makes a misstep, the fight very likely ends. The Braum was supposed to be the tool that stopped this dive from Doran, that stopped the dive from Owner from coming through, but if T1 are the ones to kick it off, it just has not been enough.
Seen this one before. Yeah, they don't dare to go for it. We've seen this exact bait a million times. Obviously, Faker does a flash. If they try to arrow, could have made it out, but they don't want to go for it.
Yeah. Faker with his arm guard has a couple of ways to buy some time if you overextend going for the chase. But then you look at the mentality on the other side as KT, and you kind of have to go for one of these plays to pick someone off out of position. You have to hope that you're going to be able to surprise someone with an Ashe arrow and immediately delete them.
When we're looking at Doctom, you highlighted it, that's the arrow. The sustained damage that Ashe can bring to the table is, of course, impactful, even on 2 items. But none of these fights have been long fights. He's been deleted at the start of every single one. So finding that advantage, finding that additional member in a fight, making sure it is a 5v4 in the favor of KT, crucial for the next fight. The combo is still there. The Cyclone, the Equalizer. You can see how KT can find advantage, but it just has not been working out past the 15-minute mark.
I also love that Carria Poppy has the most kills of any single player in the entire game.
Feels apt.
Battle Poppy, baby.
Yeah, look at his items. That helps, right?
The redemption.
The redemption locket as they're going to start it up.
He's got the TP, he's got the heal, he's ready to move across the map and make plays. Eyes on the keeper's verdict to see if they can force Cuz out of the pit. 7K, objective getting lower. Owner isolated. Faker off to the side, likely going to have to use the arm guard. Extra shield coming in. Faker stone cold as he holds the cooldown. Doctam starting to push forward, but he really doesn't have too much damage. Eyes on Perfect and Cuz, the equalizer, the Cyclone. T1 moving through the choke point, but KT don't have the vision they need. Finally, the ward dropped as T1 once again take control of mid, but happy to just trade a few cooldowns and back away.
And it was the resilience of KT that got them the win against Gen G. That game looked dire as well. TP comes in from Faker, won't have his ult, Zona goes in.
Catch him out, Unbreakable used to kick off the fight. That's the ulti from Gumayushi. Good response coming in from Perfect, but the damage not really enough. Ulti does not connect from Doran. Knockback from Carrier takes BDD out of the equation. And once again, it's Doran on top of Doctam. Concussive blows, buy him an additional second. Perfect running, the flick back likely to come through as Faker tries to get the damage down, but now he finds himself in a brief 2v1. Goes Golden, knocked back into the wall. Carrier there right in time as KT are effortlessly dismantled. Doran dropping Perfect as well.
And they're going to at least get the shove. I was kind of wondering whether they wanted to play for the end, but not going to be the case. TP's toward the Baron, and T1 about to close out this game.
Yep, that's a T1 Baron, all right. Here's another look. Owner starts it out early, knowing that they have the rotation up from Faker as well. And so bottom side of the fight, you see Faker coming over while Owner, his ultimate actually expires, and they trade 1-for-1 on those junglers. But since Faker's able to section off the rest of the KT members here, Perfect has to flash, and BDD doesn't get a chance.
And BDD, he flashed onto Owner trying to take him down, but just wasn't perfectly in range. Didn't actually do any damage to him, and then got taken out of the fight, I think, by the Poppy, which meant that they were severely lacking damage there.
And again, Faker, perfect knowledge of his cooldowns in that extended fight. Waits for the Seraph, knows it'll save him. Still has access, crucially, to the Zanyas when BDD and Perfect try to go all in. But now, the Hail Mary, KT betting it all. 5 members strong, but it's a Baron buff empowering T1. As long as they buy time here, they're chipping away at that Red Bull Baron power play. Objective getting lower. Owner waiting over the wall to divide the team coming in from Faker. Denied a bit by Peter, and it's Owner now on the flank looking for Cuz. Not sure if he's found him. Cuz turning right back onto Owner. Owner instantaneously into the back line. The concussive blows there, as is the perfect execution. Carry in the thick of it. Gumayushi and Faker untouched coming over the wall, but it's Faker. Full confidence is the flash, but unfortunately the flip back goes wide. Doran turns it right back with a sundering blow. KT pulling away. Man advantage for the side of T1 being ushered out. Carrier wants to deny it, but he will only be able to isolate Perfect. The Baron still backing them up. The Dragon in their sights. T1 once again taking a fight.
And an attempt from KT to maybe get a soul point because T1 took that Baron. Not going to end up working out. That's going to be triple Mountain Drakes to come through here. The turn onto Owner actually ended up working out decent, but it's again Doran is always there to help out his jungler.
Yeah, and he's just annihilating Doctam fight after fight after fight. So even when Owner goes down in the sacrifice, they're able to pull it back. Look at the burst damage there as well at the end. And then Chronicler, once again, Perfect is left out. Well, the rest of the team escapes in the Realm Warp on the edge.
And you can see there's so much damage from this KT top side, but I guarantee if we were to look at the healing, the Owner, that Sundered Sky is doing a ton of work. The shielding coming in from Doran, making it so impossible for KT, even when they spot that member isolated, even when they think that someone like Owner has overstepped, they just cannot finish these crucial kills. On top of that, their reliance on magic damage to burst through health bars being very heavily mitigated by the double Maw of Malmortius for Doran and Owner respectively.
In the moment that Doctam's taken out of the fight, Cuz alone can't really do enough AD damage. And guess what? He's been taken out every single time. He's being Ashe against all these dive threats. T1, even though the very early skirmish didn't go their way, are now marching on KT's base.
Final wave of this Red Bull Baron power play. Brought in the mid lane from Faker. Wall to isolate the tower. They want to break open the space, limit the options for KT. T1 outplaying in the fights, and now that they have a lead, they're not looking to give anything away. 3 minutes on the next Baron, 3 minutes on Soul for T1. Is Faker still fishing for the flick back, for the seismic shove. But KT running out of options fast. The damage has not been enough. The positioning, the setups just have not been good enough. And T1 have been more than happy to punish and tear apart this KT team.
So telling that KT is still stuck at 2 pedals because ever since T1 is going to control, they haven't been able to play the game. They've just been locked out of objectives, locked out of lanes. And now it's hard to imagine a world where this game one can go their way. T1 with the resilience, the experience of this roster. Again, 4 of which were 1 game away from making it 5 Worlds Finals in a row, which would have been even more silly. But their 4th is not bad either.
Definitely not too shabby. Let's take a look, though, because we're going to teleport up to the top side and look to get our ending push in for T1. Quite probably, as they rotate everybody over to this corner of the map. Bot side, BDD trying to buy some time since the inhibitor is down in this lane. He's pushing it out to try and hopefully for KT set up one of many defenses that they're going to need to fight their way back into this game.
Perfect, and use the equalizer to clear the way, but it will not stop the tier 2 tower from falling. Does give a bit more time to BDD to get a tower back in response, securing a bounty, but it's still a 9,000 gold difference. I don't even care about the pedal math anymore. All you need to know is it is a lot. It is a lot of lead for the side of T1, and for KT, it will take a miracle or a misstep from the side of T1 to bring them back.
And you already kind of start to think about drafts for the rest of the series as well, as we are in Fearless. And we're seeing why so many teams ban Poppy versus Keria. But then you're thinking, okay, yeah, Keria, he had amazing Poppy ultimates this game.
Yeah.
He had amazing engages, but are you going to give him Nico? No. Are you going to give him Bard? No. Are you going to give him Renata? It's so hard. This player is just so good.
He got 4 bans in our first draft. Alistair, Renata, you highlighted the Bard and the Nico as well. Obviously, those first 2 a bit more contextual, but when his 5th pick is winning games and team fights, it's a reminder to why this player is held in such high regard, and a reminder to what a glow-up in form he has had. Domestic Keria was solid, right? Still a good support, but this version of Keria, world-class.
Faker also has 100% kill participation on the Talia, by the way. Full 20 for 20 there.
That's 18.
Just kidding. That's why you don't do math.
I was about to say. Okay,
that Keria double kill didn't count. We don't give that one. We don't. That one, those 2 just
it
didn't
happens
count.
to the best of us.
I felt like
Don't
we
worry
needed a
about it.
comedic break.
Yeah, because barring a KT steal of this next dragon, the game will end on maybe Baron, definitely Mountain Soul.
We do see a Vamp Scepter for Doc Dom, some Grievous wounds as well, maybe help him heal back up, but of course the range discrepancy is big, but more importantly, 3rd item coming in for Cuz, 4th item for BDD, that death cap. Maybe now if they catch someone out from T1, they'll be able to finish those crucial kills. However, you have the pressure point on the top side from Faker. In the bottom lane, super minions are barreling in. KT, if they make a single wrong choice, they're likely to lose something regardless of the outcome.
And this is just going to be gone if they don't make a play. It's going to be a big realm warp. But you're realm warping possibly straight into your doom, and they're not even going to get the chance.
Cuz taken out of the equation, 6K getting lower. KT start to flounder. They decide it's not worth it. They decide they don't want it. Instead, they're going to turn their sights to the Drake, spawning in 4 seconds. T1 already have secured the Baron on the back of a Keeper's Verdict from Keria. Now they might just look to end it here. Flash forward. Perfect execution. Aptly named as Doc Dam takes him down. KT now chasing out as well. BDD trying to well more back into the rest of the team. But Keria once again there to interrupt. Doran unfazed by the magic damage of BDD. It's a double kill coming through. Perfect and Cuz, the last 2 left standing. But a TP into the base to bring back and seal the deal in game 1. T1. What a performance.
And Perfect running for the hills. I don't think his survival is gonna matter as Doran and Keria show a masterclass in this game 1. The lane for both, I think, looked a little precarious, but those team fights, man, that's a smile on the face of T1's top laner.
Doran was a heat-seeking missile in this game. He found Doctum over and over and over. Analysts, how are you feeling about game number 1?
Well, Kobe, T1 is firing on all cylinders, stepping into this final, doing what they do best, honestly, performing in Worlds Finals and beating KT, Emily.
Wow! You really had to do me like that. She did tell me before this she had a surprise because I was like, just come to me first and I'll just be like, this is looking a lot like
is pain.
regular season. I'm very used to this feeling. So thank you for making me feel like
It's okay. Are you used to the feeling, though, that KT have such a great early game but then drop the ball?
That's a little different, but you know, sometimes they have it in them. I did really think that KT's early game started off very well. I was
kill 'em.
expecting the bot lane to be
Nothing
huge,
stops
right? And I
this.
actually did think the way they played specifically around Peter's Braum, linking up with Cuz, as you can see Cuz's early
Peter was
stats
great.
there. Yeah, exactly. I knew you'd agree with me because I'm also talking about your GOAT, but then it all went wrong, Azale.
It did, or it all went right for T1.
True.
And every second counts thanks to reliable Cisco network. Owner turns the tides at Dragon. So I want to rewatch this team fight. A couple crazy things happened in this moment. As we'll pull this up and I'll do a telestrator for it. So it is 2.5K gold lead up at the top of the screen. It's 2 Dragons in a row. KT, the early game really could not have gone better. They're going to find what looks to be a brilliant engage on the T1 members here. You know, right snap engage. They go in. Equalizer is across so many members. Like, look at the health bars here. You were thinking this is a one fight pretty much for sure from KT from this point. But going to draw your eyes to Dorian on the flanking position, and then also Owner right here. So as Owner goes in, watch this crescent guard. The positioning right now looks like there's no way you can actually get through to Docdom, right? Docdom is right here, and Dorian is trying to come up from the bottom. But watch, as the ulti comes through, they both get knocked back, opens up the perfect pathway for Dorian right in onto the Ashe. Are you kidding me? Like, this is ridiculous. How do you pull that off? Like, they have no engage.
World Championship final, by the way, game 1.
Like, that is just insane, man. That is like Shaq and Kobe off the backboard, just like dunking on KT's head.
It's so impressive
crazy.
how clean their team fighting is, and I want to bring up something that we touched upon earlier, because your boy Doran, he is showing the heck up in his first game here, where we talked so much about how at internationals he's had some pretty big flubs. He himself talked about how much his T1 teammates, the T1 support staff, were helping him feel the T1 magic. His ambassador was feeling the T1 magic in game 1.
He was absolutely feeling the magic, and he's helping out T1 now at this point because his ults were just point and click. He's finding the perfect member in every single team fight. They were so low on engage in this comp, he needed to have a big game, and he delivered.
He absolutely did, also around the Atacon, right? And right now, I was looking at him at this point, saying, is he going to...
But you can't really blind
for Owner, so we'll see if they can actually apply that pressure to the mid lane. They did burn BDD's flash, but look at it. It's almost back up here, a quarter of the way to go for BDD, and Cuz is doing the work to get him some extra vision around mid lane, try and bridge that extra little timer, the window where you would be vulnerable to a J4 ultimate.
Might have also been the reason why KT, they really didn't want to commit to that fight, because if Owner just ults onto BDD and Faker gets on top of him, like, what do? There isn't really any counterplay for the Mel, who again likes to play at range, slowly stack up that passive. Ultimate is available for BDD, so that execute might end up being valuable in the fights to come, and there is that stolen eco. I think by far the best out of all of those, unless you really want to go for a very specific play with like the Vial. But generally, that Nico ult gets so much value. Silas has many ways to get on top of his opponents.
You have the max armor,
Between his rocket belters, there he goes.
Middle, onto Peter, catches the real target carry there for the fall. Flash out from Peter, forced to use the heal as well. And of course, while he's really far away from that ultimate, not having that for the fight when he finally does, that flash is going to be critical.
Yeah, double summoners off of the Nico, off of Peter could be very big. Is going to mean that KT will start up these grubs though, and Peter heals up off those honey fruit.
And Faker doesn't have his ultimate available, so that might be the reason why T1 is a little bit hesitant. And also this time, their skirmishing just isn't quite as strong, right? In the previous game, I think that they had so much power there.
BDD.
Not quite the case here.
Getting aggressive, access to the golden clips is there. Wants to reflect a bit of the damage back onto Faker, but not quite in kill range yet. Crucially though, Faker no flash because of the previous play. Cuz still does have access to that ulti as we hear the farm alarm on the top side. Doran there just in time to clear out the wave.
I like it. You know, we're setting up some of these early fights, or really, I wouldn't call them for the LCK standard. These are fights.
Yeah, it's fair.
You know,
early fist fights, an absolute bloodbath.
Yes.
One kill at 9 minutes.
I'm glad you guys are appreciating it with me. That's very nice. But we are seeing
less a war, more of like a telecom skirmish, telecom scouting mission,
a telecom polite, you know, discussion between. Oh, you will take Dragon? You will take Grubs. That's very nice. Thank you very much.
deal. Honestly, though, I think we might be in for a long stretch of farming for Guma.
Yeah.
You know, you talked about it earlier on. The Sivir here does need multiple items to really have that extra pressure, and the team is built around a Sivir Lulu comp here. While there's possibilities elsewhere.
Nice side set from BDD, just barely able to get away. Ball breaker coming in for Cuz, opts not to flash. The turn back from Owner is solid. Faker now on the way in himself, trying to use the golden clips to keep things going. The Ezreal ulti across the top. BDD grabbing one. Faker will turn it back, but he's under the tower, and it's Cuz to take him down.
And it's the subterfuge from KT. Cuz actually spotted that Owner was there. So BDD says, let's go for the play. He's ready to make sure that Owner and Faker don't get on top of him. And once they do, they're too close to the turret, and it's a big win for KT.
Yeah, nicely done by BDD, flashing under, and then roots Faker under the tower so that they can get the 2-for-1, get the 3 kills here for the Feats of Warfare in the aftermath. And this is even with the beginning of the play is actually quite nice from Owner, because he uses his Unstoppable from Jarvan ultimate to avoid the CC from Cuz as he comes back in. But then Faker into the tower range, and BDD is able to at least root him before he goes down.
And it's BDD starts it up with a 2-man root, and then also is the one that secures it. And for me, nothing tells the story of these two players together more than Cuz like, BDD, I'll flash. It's fine, I'm gonna set you up for that kill. I'm gonna make sure you get your execute, and I'm gonna make sure that we win this play.
And while earlier on we had about 1,000 gold lead for KT, it hadn't resulted in any major item completion, so the game still felt close. But now it's Cuz with the Sundered Sky ahead of schedule, ahead of the next Drake in 1 minute, and that is a massive early game spike.
Cuz again, I mean, he started last game with a really early spike as well. The Wukong, lots of early money, got to the Trinity Force very early on, and it just came down to the Dragon fights where T1 were able to turn around. This time around, though, since they're running the Sivir, and we do kind of project a longer term for T1's kind of attempts at the turnarounds, this probably should be KT with some really comfortable setups. Look at how deep their vision is on the bomb side of the map, and attempting another dive.
He's low, but reinforcements I think will be on the way, and it looks like the wave isn't in a position for them to actually make it happen. As Perfect, I'm a little scared there, but Doran can't clear the wave in time. But Faker being this low does mean that Prio is there for KT. Does have TP, but they're not letting him.
No mana for Doc Dom, still advancing forward, knowing that he has Peter behind him to cover. Will now retreat. Tension starts to fade, top side, the TP coming back from Doran, checking in on the sums.
All right, where's
obviously no flash for BDD, no flash for Cuz. Owner's flash available, could be big in the coming fights. Completed items for both sides, jungle mid.
Oh, this is big though, because Doran at the TP top. He can use his ultimate to join the fight, but Perfect actually finishes the Titanic Hydra, and thanks to the proxy, will be trying to arrive as soon as possible, even without TP available.
No vision control of the pit. A finally a ward is dropped, but it might not matter. Peter with flash available.
The ult.
Cuz off to the side. Ulti from Doran's not going to catch anybody, but it might have zoned KT away enough. Doran likely to give his life here, but the Drake already down in favor of T1. On the hunt, pop. Perfect tunneling out to safety. T1 got what they came for. They're going to make a hasty retreat. They don't want the 5v5. Content trading that ulti of Doran for the Drake.
We'll see if they're able to get anything out of it, or if that is just going to be it. KT don't expend any major cooldowns. I think BDD and Doctor we're going to have to TP regardless.
Oh shoot!
We'll get Doran's ult, but that's not really enough. The trial will continue with 2 Drakes early for T1. Definitely a big win.
Yeah, nice setup, and then, as you say, Doran coming down. Good ultimate from him to zone them off, secure it.
Get there.
Ulti, the cancel carry is reset.
Put the sword on.
Doctor, I'm going to push one more wave. Likely has the Trinity Force in base, but just wants to deny a few more resources from Guma, who has done a good job of evening out what was an early game deficit. Has picked up the Essence Reaver, can essentially infinitely wave clear in mid if he's able to access that creep wave.
Would you see Duckdom shoving this wave? Looking for his base. Trinity Force will be ready for the Ezreal. 1 item spikes to come through for every member of KT. Close to for T1 as well. Really only waiting for Doran. Neither support has that yet, as in about a minute. This Herald fight, I think, going to be a big breaking point. We'll see if T1 needs to fight. I do again want to echo T1. I don't think need to fight this, but knowing them, I think it's fairly likely that they will.
Would be
fun
to watch for sure.
Holy butt.
Trinity Force spike for Doctor. Definitely
butt.
very big here, so we expect KT to go set up towards that
crazy.
side of the map fairly quickly here.
But
Only
I
45
left.
seconds
As soon
left
as I
on the
did
clock,
that,
so
going to be
they're
very
going to
bad.
transition their extra
I think
resources
I can probably
over
fight
this
the guys
way.
with that one, so I think I'll be doing
Doctum
that
and
next time.
Peter here first control the mid wave, and then wait for Cuz to rotate.
But let's go buy some food, because
Keeping good pressure, of course, that Trinity Force completed is big. Hard for
We have
Guma to
stuff.
step up, even with the shielding that Keria can provide. Luckily for them, at least, Guma has the red buff, a bit of extra sustain. The battle over mid-prio has begun. Remember in game 1, it was Guma on the lethality bars, infinitely pushing mid-waves that made so much of KT trying to advance that lead feel pretty impossible.
Right.
This time it's Doctum that can do it in the 1v2, right? Being Ezreal, being really hard to punish. I also want to echo, last game it was the Poppy. This time for Keria, on the Lulu, offensively, he doesn't get to have nearly as much agency, but he can kind of fulfill the same role. And Cuz is currently sitting on the biggest individual lead we have in the game. If he goes in too aggressively and he gets hit by either the Poppy W, he gets ulted on, and gets knocked in the air by a wild growth, he needs to be very careful about how he picks his fights because, again, T1, there's only 2 big carries, but this early on, the damage is still there as BDD.
BDD potentially caught out, layering in the CC a little bit off. BDD unstoppable for a brief moment, ready to use the ulti, but Faker is stolen, one away, the goal in the clips, so the follow-up is there from Peter. Makes it a 1-for-1. Vault Breaker coming in. Faker just CC'd for an eternity. The Kingslayer healing not available in time as Cuz is on a killing spree.
So T1's idea was to make the quick play before the Rift Herald fight, but KT, they close the trap, they get 2 back for themselves, and the teleport from Doran does signal they want something.
I need to be careful.
Tower going to fall. Likely not enough damage to kill Doran, but at least zoning him away as they set their sights on the objective. Herald already started.
Let's see what
Cuz will secure it uncontested.
I did get tricked by Peter being Mel there. I'm like, oh, a good amount of... No, they don't have damage. The play still works out, though, very nicely for KT. They get Doran's TP, they're able to get topside turret, and Herald, this time there's no Talia in the game. That mid lane turret feels like it's sure to fall, and whereas last time KT wasn't able to actually break the game, it feels like this time they're closer than they were able to in game 1 as this turnaround and the reinforcements for KT were beautiful.
Again, T1, they want to go after BDD. They want to take down the star player there for KT, but it is the rest of the team that assembles and they get there in time. T1 knew that KT were trying to do vision setup work over by the Rift Herald, so they knew they had to make that play really quickly, but being unable to do so means that not only do they lose the extra kill, but they also lost the objective, so now Rift Herald Eyeball in Cuz's inventory will allow KT
we're
to
gonna
really
get a bunch of
press
meat pie.
this
We're gonna
lead.
get
That
a
thing
whole thing
basically is
here.
going to guarantee you another tower, and they can truly
let's go
open
fight
up
those
this
bitches.
gold lead.
Owner doing what he can with the
Stupid
standard to
wizards.
regain control
Do
of
too much
vision.
damage.
And I gotta say, BDD has been really solid on the Mel. The use of the rebuttal to buy time has made what should be an easy kill combo of this Jarvan paired with the Silas really just take far too long to finish off what should be a very vulnerable control mage.
And when Faker and Owner are trying to attack him and they dive these towers, he's getting roots off on them under tower aggro.
Of course, Cuz is the big beneficiary when it comes to those kills, though. 1.2k individual lead, BDD from the assists, and a bit of a farm advantage. Holding on to a decent lead of his own, has opted for a bit of healing reduction. Going to make things that much harder for Owner and Faker as the charge comes through.
And last time, this was the point where T1 turned the game. The lead this time is bigger for KT, but I think T1 don't want to let them get this dragon, want to get soul point themselves.
Faker's ulti available. Needs to hijack the ulti of Peter. Chip really starting to hurt onto Doran. Catch over the wall onto Cuz, the most fed member. They're immediately going to delete him, and the rest of KT trying to pull the trigger.
Kill the wizard.
But they can't quite find the angle. BDD, Doctum, they've got the range advantage.
Boom.
Peter waiting to peel for them if necessary. Perfect.
Boom.
Spots them in the darkness. The Tremor Sense showing him
I'm
what
weak.
he needs to see, but they've stopped
No.
moving.
Oh,
Or have moved out of
shit.
range. He can't be certain now. The Q from Doran moving in. Peter still gets the ulti. It's a golden eclipse
kill the
from
wizard.
BDD. A new
Boom.
dawn for KT in game
Kill the
2.
stupid wizard.
But
Bam.
T1
Come
are
on, get him.
unconcerned. Guma,
There we go.
Keria,
Kill this next
standing,
one.
the bot lane. Will it be enough? BDD trying to buy her back, but it's Gomayushi. Fearlessly advancing, ricocheting, tearing through the
Kill the
trees of
wizard.
KT.
Guma with the moves at the end. He gets the extra kills and cleans up for T1.
And Keria, I think he got the timing there on the polymorph perfectly as Faker with a blind chain. The follow-up is immediate, but the most important members on KT are still alive.
That-
Kill the stupid wizard.
We will
Why is
take
he so
a look here as
strong?
they attempt to turn onto Peter. And even though it doesn't quite work up, I think Doran
Attack
was
the
looking for the
stupid
flash
thing.
ult. Peter gets the ult off, which allows BDD to dish their damage. But watch here. Owner's
Attack
low.
the stupid
And Perfect
beast.
can't use his ult. If he stays alive, if he's able to get the execute,
we got
maybe
Dior.
that could have been
Come
enough.
on. No zeros. We don't want zeros.
The
Come on.
Glitterland
Hit me
slows
three.
Doctor.
Give me the
Flash.
five.
So
Fight
Uma's
breaking
able
out in
to
the
follow.
meantime. Kuma potentially caught out Cuz looking for a bit of revenge. Owner doesn't quite make it over the wall with the flag and drag, but the ball breaker taking him to safety, and Gumayushi does not care. Look at that record at the bottom of your screen. He might have faltered in the early game. He might have been behind in game 1 and game 2, but this man is a team fighting demon. The dragon starting to fall. Turn back from Baker as he catches out Doc Dom. Cuz there to try and peel, but it is too late. Owner moving in. A cataclysm across the top side. Perfectly
there.
canceled. BDD flashing over the wall. Gumayushi still living. Perfect on the chase. Peter wants to fire back. Cuz running for the hills. 2 down on the side of T1. But Guma might be enough.
All right, I gotta
Perfect
figure out.
gets the bite. Tears right through him, and now it's Owner picked off as well.
What
KT fighting for their lives. BDD still standing crucially. The extra damage. Doran set to fall. A double kill for the KT mid laner.
And BDD stands supreme on the
Carlin
map.
Aperro,
Stays
take it,
alive through it all. And that is going to be the
Fight the
Otacon.
stupid.
BDD said in the trailer that
Oh.
he was inspired to
We just
become
killed that
a
dude.
mid laner by Faker's
Carlin.
play, and he was inspired to pick
Oh.
Mel in
Is it
this
just-
game
Oh.
by Faker, and he's dominating on the Mel. Clutches it back up, and it's after a huge
okay,
play
just-
from Baker, but BDD is able to use the ultimate to snipe him at the end.
And it's an
Gardando.
overplay here. T1 try the force the hand. They waited it in game 1, but they're not actually
What?
able to get on top of BDD, who flashes over the pit, and then Peter ensures that Perfect can get
What?
on top of Guma, and all the while BDD just stacking up the passive, getting the damage down, and this is a really crucial team fight win here for KT.
The funniest part to me is that while BDD was chasing down the last of those kills, Cuz was actually just doing blue buff.
It was almost
He
that.
was like, you guys got this. He's going to steal away the blue buff.
You got it, buddy.
Yep, they also grab the dragon in the aftermath.
Must be written
So
down during the
KT
quest. Oh, God.
retaking this team fight really is meaningful. They put a stop to the T1 dragon stacking.
And you can see how team fights go wrong for T1. Even though Gumayushi's been allowed to live for so long in these fights, if Doran and Owner don't quite have the damage to finish these kills, it's really hard for Guma to get in position to follow up, to chase down here. He has so many members of this team to work through, and T1, despite the deficit, have been fighting very well, but KT clearly upping their game in this draft and in this performance in game 2.
And that's one of the issues that we did see with the Sylas, right? Because you have this hyper carry in Gumayushi, who has the backup of the Lulu as well. But Faker, he's very cooldown gated, and he has been falling behind thus far, has been going for a lot of plays. And as we all know, Faker ain't no coward. He's going to keep going for those plays.
How am I
But he
supposed to
does need to
find-
line up with the rest of his team. And I think that his role, particularly as we get deeper into the game, needs to be one of a little bit more restrained. Because the damage from Doran and Owner is going to become less and less relevant as the game goes on.
Well, I
Gumayushi,
don't know what I had to
the
do
hope
now,
for
so I guess I
T1
gotta
to
go talk
carry a
that
lot of the
wizard again.
DPS for
That's
later on.
super shitty.
I still think some of these looks from Faker have been good looks as far as the initial pick, but the counterplay from KT has been so good, especially in that last
Good
one,
thing they said to
grabbing
make
the
sure to
extra
write it
kills.
down.
And now
What
you're
the
looking
fuck?
at BDD over a 2,000 individual gold lead and trying to create his death cap right now. As soon as BDD gets death cap,
Have
this
it
Mel
repeated
is
to you.
already
Oh, thank
obliterating
God.
people.
Go
It
find
is
the
just going
lady,
to
go find the
delete
lady,
members
go
of
find the
T1.
lady.
Already has that XP
Thank God, I'm
advantage
so
too.
bad there's a Google.
And this is something that it's just going to make the game so difficult for T1 because,
Find
yes,
the
diving on the
lady.
Mel is good, but if you make one mistake, we've seen he's already able to turn these fights with his damage, and that number's only going to be going up.
We're also seeing the lack of mid lane turret actually being really rough for T1, right? You need to play so much safer, especially because your support is Lulu. You don't really have the ability to just go in and face check, really easily regain control. You always need a bodyguard. You need someone to make sure. And this is, for me, also a great opportunity to really shout out Perfect, because I think his we've seen, as we highlighted coming in, Rek'Sai has been both great and very mediocre. I don't think thus far he has been able to find the backline axes as Cousin Faker wants teammates going to take a glance at one another. Nothing's going to happen now. But the Otacon already taken by KT. Their next site's going to be on either the Baron in a minute or that Dragon. Second Drake for them. Coming up at about 2 minutes.
Neither side at Soul Point quite yet, although T1 certainly would love to be set up for it, especially with that Sivir just continuing to scale.
Kill the bitch.
How durable those team members can become, but Baron, more
got
important,
nothing
43
on me.
seconds, perfect, trying to push in this wave. A lot of damage to finish that tower up, and now makes it pretty easy. It's just such a goofy champ.
It is.
You want a fist fight, he just tunnels away.
I just hope that jungle Rek'Sai doesn't get nerfed for all this top lane Rek'Sai.
This is what you have to
That
accept.
was seeing
It's
from the pros.
it's collateral damage, Kobe.
Be happy that she's played, okay? Having a great time,
am.
No, no, no.
tunneling away, getting
No.
the turrets.
That's how Kobe felt about Volibear, and then look what they did to Volibear. It got nerfed.
You want to talk about it?
I do not. What I want to talk about is what you guys brought up earlier, and it is the supporting cast for BDD on this team, because it is so heartwarming hearing the interviews from all of the KT members talking about how they want to perform well for BDD so that he can shine the brightest. Peter especially talking about he really wants it for BDD because BDD deserves it. And so we've seen a lot of, the Nico play, him still just getting off Nico ultimate as he's about to die, trying to get these setup plays. Those double roots between him and BDD have been very critical. Now, though, Dorian is looking at Doctom.
Doctom, unaware of the Scion, but knows that he has relative
God.
safety.
Hits
Has to
the
be careful about walking
6?
forward towards that brush. And Doran, perfectly placed and baited. Doctom, far too confident.
Doran lying in wait makes Scion look like an assassin here. Walks into the charged up
Kill
Q.
the guy and then we're
That is
running.
the perfect play.
Such a good sell there as well, but KT, they're turning the tables on them.
Quiet.
Gonna start the sneak.
He's got one life. Get it.
Oh,
Run!
no, I think they're
KT.
there you go, they're aware.
Now they spot it, but how quickly are they taking it? It's a Mel with a death cap.
We don't know. Look at where Owner is.
Now ready to turn back. But still, Cuz continues to hit the target. BDD ready to clear the wave. Doran not afraid to walk up. He knows they don't really have the damage to finish the kill.
Doran smells it.
Cuz 9K, but he is determined to take this objective. The blast shield keeping him relatively healthy. BDD poking off to the side. Gumayushi for now uncontested. Rebuttal already used. 4 seconds till Doctom is up and available. And he has the TP.
I actually love this stall from KT. They're able to deny the soul point.
Pulling away T1 from that dragon for now. Doran is going to go back for his recall. He was the one with the watchful eye staring at them at the Baron.
I need to
KT, though,
do
as you say, they're going to teleport right down to that dragon and start it themselves.
And I think it makes sense that T1 gives it up, because looking at the spikes, Guma didn't have his IE, just now finishes it, and BDD did have his death cap. So fighting just before really your main hyper carry has that crucial third item breakpoint, definitely not the right call, but it's really the confidence of KT to say, hey, you killed Doctom, that's fine, we're going to put some pressures. He finishes the Serpent's Fang, which against Lulu and Scion, going to get a ton of value.
And now we get to see the critical point. Can the Sivir with 3 items outplay this KT, dive plus Mel damage? Because Mel has very long range. Sivir, while she does do well in team fights later on and can ricochet and make use of Lulu very well, sometimes it is hard to play around longer range champions like Mel poke damage and Ezreal poke damage here. So have to be cognizant both of the engages from the Nico as well as dodging a lot of skill shots.
And again, we're looking at Guma to be the difference. Doctom has really been kind of silenced by the attention that T1 have paid to him, by his own misstep in the mid lane. At 3 items, matching Sivir isn't really where you want to be on the Ezreal. Has gone for the Serpent's Fang, but in the face of crit itemization, it's going to be so hard to match the damage that Sivir is bringing to the table.
Let's get some
Everyone holding their breath for the next team fight to see if KT can turn this gold lead into a team fight victory for one of these critical objectives. Baron is on the map. Scuttle Crabs have transformed. They can pop this and then immediately clear out the rest of the vision and then try and draw T1 over.
I love it when, we talk about these players, we're like, oh man, they're doing so, and then you look at the demo charts and like, yeah, that tracks. This to me is a breaking point for the world's title. If KT are unable to actually take this game, you're going down 0-2 against the most successful org of all time. That's perfect. Will get spotted, but is Rek'Sai, so should be okay for now. But for KT, they haven't been able to really break the game. This gold lead has, I think it was the highest, like maybe 4.5K. It's kind of been stymied, and it will all just come down to, do you kill Guma, yes or no? And with both sums up, with a Scion, with a maybe defensive ult from Faker, if he can get that Nico ult and Keria, it's going to be easier said than done.
No.
Absolutely. Game 1, it felt like 2 to 3K
all that
gold
for
lead. This
one?
game 4.5,
Wow.
as you said. If that's not enough to close,
Yeah.
you start to wonder if any lead really is. T1 have not played flawlessly. Faker and Owner over pushing a bit. It's what's given BDD this massive lead on top of, you know, being able to play those side lanes so well. But now level 16 for BDD. He has the tools, he has the damage to carry these fights. But can all of KT execute together? Because T1 thus far in the series have just been playing the team fights better.
It all comes down to this.
Yeah, we got to get mining up.
The final series of the year for League of Legends. Can KT make their stand? They've got Vision on Baron. Currently, I believe we're just awaiting the Guardian Angel completions. It should be very similar for both Owner as well as Cuz, but it's just such a huge breakpoint for junglers, both of them being the heavy engage. And so then we'll get to see at the next Dragon, the confrontation here, or if someone is able to maneuver some Vision around the Baron. He's got a lot of tunnels available to him.
Nothing gonna happen for now. And maybe both teams don't want to run the risk of just starting Baron, right? With the amount of damage that's available on either side. KT though, definitely going to play for Vision here and their damage. If BDD is there with the W from Cuz, definitely can do a lot of denting to that Baron.
TP up towards the mid lane, coming in from Doran. T1 seemingly ready and willing to force the fight here. They have bot push in their favor. They know Perfect must respond, so they have a brief window of opportunity to take control of the pit.
Interesting breakpoint too, because Cuz finished his Guardian Angel, but Owner did not. So they have one extra life here for KT for the moment. Doesn't look like T1 are going to give them much just yet.
Because of the lack of soul point, both teams can actually just go for Baron. If the other one over-invests onto a Camtech soul, I do think that this is one of those games where particularly T1 will get a crazy amount of value out of it. Both the shielding and the amount of help that's available to healing as Cuz walks in. We'll just steal away that buff.
Takes the blue buff. Bot wave pushed in favor of KT. Top wave pushed in favor of T1. Dom using the Ezreal ulti to try to get control of the wave, but the angle's a little bit off. Shouldn't matter too much. Mystic Shot still giving him the range advantage over Guma. Area healing up as he does get sniped by it. Well caught, Chronicler. Of course, and this is the point of the game where, as much as I would love to tell you that the center of your screen matters, this is really just about the mini-map. It's about the pushing waves. It's about who can find these little advantages. Good news for KT, getting that TP out of Doran, holding on to Perfect's TP for themselves, but they need to get more if they want to be favored in this fight.
GA's done. The third item for Faker also has a stopwatch BDD. Not a full completion quite yet, as there is perfect vision set up and the waves are pushed. So KT should be feeling good about setting up this Dragon.
Ooh, the Lord Doms just got completed by Guma as well. Big power boost here. 4-item Sivir.
Sneaking it. Oh, they're calling the bluff. They know.
Full committing. T1 now turning to Baron. They don't want to risk the contest here. Owner starting the objective. As you get into the fight, keep your eyes on the key carries, Guma and BDD. If either one falls, their team very likely to win the fight. Interrupt there. The Baron not very quick. Chemtech Drake down. Soul point there. Might just come down to the 50-50. Cuz on the way. T1 tried to make the counterplay, but walk away empty-handed.
The poke damage is really good from KT. The double range advantage we talk about with Ezreal. With the Mel here, finding a lot of success.
The Serpent's Fang as well. The KT just called their bluff. They're like, normal teams, they see T1 start Baron, like, okay, we have to, because you know they'll commit. But KT, cognizant of the amount of damage that T1 has, and it's simply not enough. As the soul point of this Chemtech soul now secured for KT.
And really double value out of that, because not only do they call T1's bluff, Perfect also able to get some pressure down on the opposite side of the map. And this is the map play that we saw from KT in the early game of Game 1, but was sorely lacking in the later stages. That said, T1 constantly on the hunt, waiting, looking for these angles. If KT make one tiny mistake, they're looking to pounce.
T1 now looking to pounce. Docked him in the river, but he is Ezreal.
Dom, pass over the wall. Peter looking to make a play. Lockdown onto Faker, looking to turn it back. Root is connected as well. Faker's been caught. Buys a brief moment with the Seekers. The rest of T1 retreating. Perfect buying a bit more space, and the tunnel over the wall. It's a heist. He buys the time to take Faker down. Doran with a decimating smash. Peter on the chase. They'll only connect onto one, but it's enough to start the fight in their favor. Gumayushi untouched, but he's also not able to do any damage. Cuz keeping it going. KT pushing into the jungle of T1, zoning them away from the Baron as they set their sights on that Red Bull Baron power play.
They win the critical fight. They find Faker. They get the advantage. And Perfect is able to escape. Wait a second.
BDD flash. Doran forced to flash back over the wall. Sidestep on the decimating smash. Peter there to cover. Guma can't push for anything else. Doran getting chunked out. That's the ulti to seal it. BDD going godlike. Guma alone in the mid lane. Objective slowly falling. Owner zoned off. Perfect there with the knock-up. Needs to lock it down. Owner's not going to have a chance. KT, it takes some time, but they take down the Baron.
In the last game, KT went for a couple of team fights. They didn't go their way, and they didn't get to play the video game. This time, it's restraint. They're waiting patiently, find the opportunity that they needed, as it is the catch onto Faker that sets it all up.
Exactly, the root into Vi combination gets his Zonias early, and then here, Perfect at the back. This is one of the best changes they made to Rek'Sai. After using your ult, your W just goes on a 1-second cooldown, so you can then use Tunnel to escape. It adds so much more survivability to the champion. Being able to escape, and on the world stage, they show it. Then the rest of KT, after they took down Faker, they could push through for the chase.
I love as well there, because maybe I think the rest of T1 could have gone for a play to try and save Faker if it wasn't for Peter also holding the angle there. You can't just walk past the Nico, because Peter held his ult, and now the Red Bull Baron power play for KT, 8k, 9k gold lead here, 45 minutes in.
Guma, incredibly far ahead, 4 items, has a bit of lifesteal, can clear the waves, but the range, the threat that KT can bring with the Ezreal, with Mel, from BDD, 11, 3, and 3. 3,000 individual gold lead. His first competitive game looking damn good. Faker going golden. The second the chains miss, he doesn't want to push for anything else. Ball break over the wall from Cuz, ready to go, but he's not going to overextend because the mid lane's already falling. KT taking their sweet time with this one, knowing that T1 have one shot to turn this back in their favor.
It's just Guma. He's just a Sivir trying his best, but KT doesn't give him the opportunity to do any damage.
Perfect continuing to push, has access to the tunnel to escape. He's just been a thorn in the side of this T1 lineup. So many Rek'Sais haven't been able to find this level of performance, but Perfect has been a nightmare for T1 to manage. Waiting now off on the side. Takes out the control ward. A single empowered cannon minion pushing as another wave stands behind KT, ready to keep the siege going.
The siege is unrelenting from KT. The Baron buff still buffing up the cannon. The poke damage still coming through.
Owner faking the engagement, throws down the flag, misses with the Q to ensure that he doesn't go too far forward. KT don't quite break open that bot lane inhibitor.
Looks like instead they're going to base. They still have perfect timing here on the Baron. That sets up for the Chemtech Soul. That's what they're going to play towards. Mid lane inhibitor, not the best one. Faker might actually get his death cap, which would be a colossal spike for him to get. I just don't know if they're going to have an opportunity to actually contest this. Again, Perfect to me has been playing on the edge of these engages so nicely this entire game.
And the other thing to remember is that Faker had taken away Peter's ultimate in the previous fight. Now, of course, has access to the cease and desist. Now wants to make the play onto Perfect. Perfect able to get the blast cone out. That mega blast cone keeping him healthy. KT standing strong, poking T1 as they walk into this choke point. BDD waiting for some of those major cooldowns to be used before he takes a step forward. Mega blast cone getting 2 members of T1 over the wall. KT retreating back down to the bottom lane as Cuz starts the objective. Flag there, spots the objective play. Faker on the flank. Perfect not going to give him the angle. KT starting to retreat, starting to get forced backwards. Doran to kick things off. Peter to look for the interrupt. Faker using an ulti of his own to be stolen away. BDD taking another fight, but down goes Guma. Cuz making it work, but PD's owned away by Carrier, and all of KT now collapsing on the T1 support. At the end of the day, it is only Owner, and he cannot stop the Soul.
KT get the Soul, and they want the Nexus too!
Perfect continues to push down. They've learned, they've adapted, they've stayed strong in the face of the game 1 loss. KT firing back against T1, but do they have the power to end the game? Another TP, Doc Dom on the way. Doran giving everything to clear the waves. Owner and Carrier here. Surely the Ezreal is enough, but the creeps are falling back. Doran remains standing. T1 are not out of it yet. Doc Dom needs more, and he cannot get it.
Guma's up in 10 seconds. The reinforcements from T1 will arrive.
T1 will cling on to this game. No Baron up minions means that KT, even with the damage dealers dead, does not get the opportunity to actually end And T1 battered, but they'll get one more shot to try and deny KT a chance to equalize the series.
The roller coaster keeps going up. So look at BDD trying to kite Owner and Doran on the bottom side. Meanwhile, Peter had the massive engage, which allowed Cuz and Perfect to go kill off the Sivir.
And with Sivir taken out of the fight, really the only one is Faker, and he was caught by that counter engage. And with even BDD going down, doesn't matter if you don't have your own damage dealers. As in about a minute, the Baron will come up, 2 inhibs are down, and KT looking to equalize the series here as Doctom hits full items.
Full build there. Full build for Guma. Now has the lifesteal. 100% crit chance. If he has the space to work, he can do the necessary damage. Deathcap's still a little bit of a ways away for Faker. Likely he recalls and finishes it here. But in the previous fight, did have the Pot Blossom, but couldn't find that big angle. Couldn't find that big moment to shift the fight in the favor of T1.
And the timer is great for KT because it's the bot lane inhib that is still down for another 3.5 minutes. Mid lane not that valuable, especially against the Sivir, but that bot lane needs to be answered or it can just straight up end the game.
Patience, the name of the game for KT. They don't need to take any risks. We've seen the players, they've gotten over-eager in game 1. They've made some of those fumbles. Doctom getting caught in the mid lane just earlier this game. But the push is in their favor. The map is in their favor.
Really?
They don't need to risk anything. And still, they'll take their time walking into the jungle. This time around, Doran won't be able to find the blind decimating smash, but the ulti to kick things off, he connects onto the wall. Perfect waiting on the back line. Doctom untouched, BDD untouched. Doran straying way too far forward in a moment of miscommunication. Down goes the top laner of T1. KT start the Baron.
That faceplant means Baron, boys.
It was always going to be a Hail Mary from T1 if they wanted to get back in this game, but that one does not hit the mark. That's Baron, the second one for KT.
When we talk about T1 hitting a wall, I didn't expect it to be so literal. As KT now push on the top side.
We got him good there.
18 out of 20 for that one.
Perfect score, some would say. Perfect himself, of course, has the random ones available, or doesn't have it available, but has the slow. The crit damage reduction makes him such a nightmare for Guma to deal with, even with the armor penetration from the Lord Dominic's. KT again in this position where they keep that long-range siege going. BDD not showing on vision yet. The last inhib tower falling down. Inhibitors following after. T1, a last desperate hold here in game 2. If they can turn it back, it takes them to match point, but KT set to even up the series in the 2025 World Finals. Doran isolating Cuz. Peter going forward, finds 3 with the knockup. Perfect there to fall, but Faker turns it right back and knocks down Peter. Doctom, BDD, still standing. He's shredding through everybody. The Sivir finally allowed to take over the fight. But they managed to take him. Faker still alive in the scrappy fight. The extra healing is making all the difference. Doctom doesn't quite have the damage that he needs. KT holding on for dear life. Doctom able to find the kill. Perfect. Cuz Doctom falls. A final hold for T1. It almost turns in their favor. But Perfect is going to end the game. Guma dies, and so does T1. KT even up the series.
I can't believe I'm saying this, but Perfect, reliable as all hell in this game, doesn't go down. Deals the damage, and with the alpaca thumbs up, brings KT to 1-1.
KT resilient on this stage. They bounce back in game number 2.
Hard as that base defense, so we have a lot of power. There's Renekton, there's Viego, and there is that Rakan. Victor and Yunara might need normally a little bit of time, but this is basically the opposite of last game. That was 2 carries. This time they basically have 4, especially when it comes to those early game fights. And we're going to have to see how KT deal with, I think, having a weaker early game comp.
And one of those carries is Yunara, super power pick on the patch that has not been given over very frequently. Faker on the run from the early move here from KT, though.
Backing away. And as we have a moment to reset, right, a moment to breathe before I'm sure inevitably fist fightings happens, I want to remind people that Both of these lineups have made swaps this year. Despite the fact that they are in the World Finals, it has not been smooth sailing for either team. Guma, of course, subbed out. Doran coming in for Zeus this year. And when you look at this lineup for KT, players swapped in and out. Peter multiple times, perfect on the top side, doubted. And it's such a testament to the tenacity of these players that they have come all the way to the World Finals.
Because there was a lot of hype behind Wei coming in after basically doing the Challengers equivalent of Golden Roading. And it, in the end, ends up being Peter that is here at the World's Finals. And I already talked about it in game number 2. It has to be said, because this man was the most often talked about weak point on this roster. And thus far, he's had a frankly incredible tournament, particularly those isolated deaths. I can't really overstate how big of an improvement that is and how reliable he's become. And KT have clearly been leaning on him.
And even in the game that they lost, you know, his Rumble very good as well. So perfect. Really showing up here for KT as the entire team has. Guma pushing up on the Yunara with the Q charge, looking to use that priority.
Heal coming in for Keria, of course. Level 1 for Peter on this Alistar, notoriously very weak. For Keria and Guma, also the access to the Gleaming Quill on the Rakan means they'll be able to keep their health relatively topped up. See how long they're able to secure pressure as we take a look at the entire map. Doran push on the top side. Mid lane relatively even. BDD, of course, can do a lot of damage in those short trades. Very easy to land those Dark Spheres when no one has boots, but has to be careful about taking return damage.
Yeah, multiple pushing lanes here for T1 with top side and bottom side. And then Owner has Viego into Mundo at the moment. So
I got an
definitely
emerald.
looking to see if he can actually make use of these pushing lanes and go try and punish. Because probably going to bounce back to the other side and go for the safer Scuttle Crab trade.
Faker's actually been doing a really good job in lane as Peter. There's going to be a trade.
Initial knockup, but potentially a bit over-eager from Peter. Again, Alistar passive a decent amount of healing, and they are up a sum, but have to be careful about trading his life like that.
Still have the heal. Owner does look for a dive. We'll see. Ward should spot him out if he actually makes the play, but I think he's just going to go for Crab.
Yep, hug the side, and then the play here from Cuz, where he recalled immediately after his clear, is going to pay off. We'll get back for that Scuttle Crab trade that you're looking for on Mundo. And Owner down here will be known, so they're going to surmise that it's just normal clears for both.
And I want to draw attention to actually the early laning phase for Faker has been really, really solid. Actually able to dodge most of these spheres. BDD with the phase rush. Still able to CS well, but has been pushed in for most of it.
And T1, since Owner got bottom side Scuttle Crab, communicating, all right, Doran, go in, get your ward timing here for the respawn of these Krugs, the second clear.
BDD also at some point forced to burn Flash. Didn't catch it at the time, but that is a massive cooldown to lose out on. Again, Syndra, one of the biggest weaknesses of this champion across countless times we've seen her in Pro is that yeah, it's easy to stay ahead. It's easy to stay at arm's length. But once you lose that flash, you're incredibly vulnerable to these early ganks.
In the Viego versus Mundo matchup, something we also should talk about is that as Mundo, you always want to try and activate your ult as low as possible, right? That's when you get the most value. But that is something that's very scary. There's obviously also the percentage health damage that Viego does, but just the threat of that execute with the setup that's there from the Rakan, from the Renekton, it means that Cuz is going to have to play very respectful as we do have both mid laners now TPing back to lane and BDD again. If they can keep track of Owner, should be feeling fine, but otherwise, needs to be very careful.
Yeah, Mundo oftentimes looking for farms, and sometimes that can be hard if you have multiple lanes getting pushed in, but on the reset here from supports, both junglers will meet up with their supports and combining for some mid lane push.
And for now in the early game, T1 holding on to a relatively small gold lead. Again, it's mostly Doran on the top side.
I could maybe get it better.
Although some of that can be mitigated as that wave is caught. And Gumi usually a small lead over Dogdom. On top of getting the coal.
Shocked I could find it.
Again, Corki, that first item, always quite terrifying.
A unicorn.
So slowing that down, big for T1 in the context of these early game plays. Owner with the bot lane prio will be starting the Drake.
And this is a big upgrade for T1. They were able to get early Drakes last game, but it's about the lanes, right? Because even though they got those Drakes, it did feel like KT was able to, again, set up these early gold leads. Cuz maybe doing some poking, but I don't think an actual contest is in the works here.
long as he has his passive up,
Peter is.
he's not too worried. Hex Drake down. BDD waiting in the darkness. Multi-man. The CC layering is there. Doctem on the way in, but he's only level 4. Owner now running for his life. Forced to flash away. Ulti comes out from Faker. He doesn't have a lot of mana left. The Dark Sphere hitting, slowing Faker down. The chase coming through, but they really don't have what they need. Ulti there. His power unleashed. The weak scattered. And first blood for KT.
BDD Syndra finds it, and they do get the first blood. Doctom does take the actual kill and gets the money into the Corki to fund his Trinity Force.
And the Syndra is a BDD classic for a reason. He's been known for mastery on this champion for a very long time. And I'm kind of shocked. I really did not think that KT necessarily had the angle there, but it's the confidence they've shown so far. Now T1 not going to be too bothered by this. We do have Doran immediately trying to apply pressure. They were able to get the Drake as well, so trade for a kill, not the end of the world.
Yeah, BDD walks him down, waits for his E to come back up, puts all the balls down with the ultimate and does find the kill. As you say though, Dragon over to T1 so
I
they can look to
gotta
keep stacking.
Doctem, it feels like caught chopping. Panic barrier in that moment.
I think he tried to cancel the base cancel with
gems.
barrier.
Ah, but
So
of
if
course,
you don't take damage, then, but he was a little bit too late.
well, also the Fury from Renekton eats the shield. So, awkward situation for Doctem. Will be down the barrier. Of course, not the most important summoner spell, but does mean he needs to be a bit more careful when he does reset to this top side. Uma and Keria starting to poke, looking to get control of this lane. Recall for Doctem, only getting him that Phage. Not ideal as Faker and BDD continue to trade. The Siphon power from Faker is such a strong early game trading tool, just to make sure that BDD really can't run away with this mid lane.
And Doran
What's that crocodile doing?
going for the proxy here. You want to get your extra 30 seconds? Well, move up and catch the wave before it joins up with the opponents. Is going to mean Cuz has an inside route and access to the alligator, though.
That's a Mundo with red buff.
Yeah,
Doran,
and Syndra's coming.
Doran,
He's just dead.
You only have one piece of
he's
CC.
cornered.
Yeah, that doesn't work on him. He's going where he pleases. Doran, I think this might not have been what you wanted. BDD on the way, hoping to get this donated. Doran, I think
Well, he's stalling.
Barnott might be in the game, but this is certainly a magical journey for Doran as I don't,
Trying for the execute. It's all he can do, but not going to happen.
wow.
Touched it and I got
Just
it.
a-
Sweet.
It's important to choose your timings when you go to
Yes,
proxy.
and also a reminder that no matter what you see in a world final, it's not always going to work in solo queue.
Hey, they got grubs.
I take it back. It was
he
a
made
genius
the
play,
Mundo
yes.
ult for
Yes.
move speed. Eh?
Hey.
They got free grubs for his team. You know, they're
Which-
still up in gold. He's buying time. He got his waves.
I'm going to ask you as the LCK expert, are you giving him credit for that as a calculated play? It's up to you. You can decide. We'll go with you.
I mean, normally I feel very confident to make
Yeah.
a judgment call like that, but Doran has often
Are you in the
mystified,
server?
both in a very positive sense and sometimes in a more questionable sense. So, but we joke, obviously, the Mundo getting ahead is not great, but he did actually get a lot for this, right?
Yeah, you gotta join my. You
with
guys are
the
just in a
grubs going
personal
over.
call.
It did feel like it was just unnecessary, because I think the first proxy was great, but the second one,
Perfect.
oh,
Top laners versus
But I'll
junglers. Who
join
comes out
it.
on top? Perfect. Not quite able to pull Owner out over the wall.
I'm in now.
W coming in there from the Yunara. Perfect waiting for a bit more time because they don't want to fully commit here. Doctom and BDD. Scatter the weak is good. Will at least be some more poke damage back onto Fakers. Peter
Mining.
TPing in bot lane. Headbutts back Guma.
ooh, dodges the Slurkle, and we will be seeing Perfect make his way towards the top lane.
Or the slowing circle,
Yeah.
I assume. Okay, got it, got it.
Max lives on.
He does.
I don't love it, but you know, we're an LCK versus
He's
LCK
decided.
match.
Yeah, that's fine. Yeah, it's good.
As oh, Perfect actually going for the 4-0 first. There is a lot of healing on the enemy team. We'll get a decent amount of value of that.
Yeah, and we just saw Perfect had to respect the possibility of an owner execute play, you know, down there on the bottom side, trying to get an extra summoner spell or something out of the skirmish, but because of the arrival of
What's this
Guma,
wizard
had to
in
respect it
gold-trimmed
and
clothing
back off
shoot
from
some
the extra
unicorn?
possible damage there. So we remain very calm here. And you can kind of look at it as T1 have
Level 10.
paid for each objective with
what's up.
1 kill worth of gold for their dragon and for their 3 grubs to get to this point.
Pathmaker, Q3, but of course Perfect already used his own ulti. Dominus meets ult advantage for the side of Doran. Forces the flash out, happy to have that small advantage. You highlighted it well, Kobe. They did concede 2 kills, but when you have the gold lead in both objectives, I don't think you're too bothered. BDD taking a bit of damage, but it looks like T1 are just here to help Faker get that push out. Likely completing a major item.
Ooh, that is the ultimate gone for Faker. So we'll see if BD is able to catch the wave and then TP his way over. Because there's not prio in either lane. It feels like T1 should have
Come
some
on, give
lockdown
me some more
because it's
uncut
there,
gems.
and
That was
Mundo
sick.
That's a
known
hard
to
steal.
be
Like me
unbothered.
some uncut gemmer.
Continuing to do
That's a
decent
lot of
damage.
damage.
Infernal, good damage as well. Lock up there, but Owner going is unstoppable. Peter caught out for a brief moment, immediately going to be forced to ult. That's the unbreakable.
Oh,
The
shit,
flash,
we got
it doesn't
10 people
connect.
here.
The Q doing absolutely nothing means T1 are able to walk away. A bit of a fumble from Peter, but it doesn't cost KT much yet. Gumayushi standing on the backside, ready to transcend if he needs to. Doctem going all in to try to stop him from getting in this fight. Owner on the way in, looking for the reset to keep the fights going. BDD going over, wants to kill Owner, but Owner lives for an extra second. The stun to turn it back. Owner taking over BDD, but the stun does not connect, and Peter's now running. Cuz locked down in the meantime. Perfect is finally here, but it might not matter. Reset on the ulti from Owner means he gets to back away, but the health bars are low across all of T1 KT. This is an insane gamble. Objective lower and lower, and Cuz gonna take it unstoppable for Perfect. Gets a bit more space. Carrier still living. Doctum on the way in, and Guma set the fall. Down goes the 80 carry. Doctum on the way out. The TP in. Fish in a barrel, and it's time for KT to start free firing. T1 thought they had the edge, but in the end, it's KT who take the Drake and the play.
And it's because Mundo! He steals the objective, he chases down the kills, the hero that KT needed.
At first, this play looks dire for KT. They waste a lot. BDD there tries to get the execute, but just doesn't have the damage. Syndra's down, Flash is gone. And then, as Peter goes down, I want you to watch what Doctom is able to do here, because he keeps hovering over, firing these rockets. The poke just keeps connecting, and then Perfect goes in, and all he needs to do is buy time and buy space for his Corki to Gatling gun his way through T1.
11.
Huge,
Okay,
huge
now we
moment
can finish
there.
mining,
Corki
and then
doing
we
work.
can't go get
Cuz hits
ourselves
the
a
cleaver, flashes in to finish off the kill as well, and
Pickaxe would
BDD
be
comes back in
Huli
time
Huli.
to
Huli
claim
Huli
the
Huli
kill
Huli.
on Faker himself.
In the back for KT, erupting with joy. It looks like T1 had taken it. The steal started to feel like it was going to balance out, but in the overall extended fight, KT just keep on doubling down. And folks, I'm starting to think the Mundo might be a problem.
Yeah, that's almost 10 times as much damage.
This
That's
is-
a little silly.
This is Cuz's second professional Mundo game.
Yeah, on track, looking good. And I gotta say, Owner, he gets the Kraken Slayer. Uh-oh, Gumayushi has not decided to ult. Doctem might be in trouble here. Knockup does not connect. Peter trying to get a bit more space, and Cuz is on the way in. All of T1 forced to retreat. Maximum dosage popped just to get him in range. As BDD then now collapsing on the side lane. Multiple pieces of CC stun. Initial lockup into Owner is decent. BDD trying to turn back. Sidestep does not work. Owner taking the kill.
One of the hardest parts about these control mage changes is, or trades, is when you try and play the side lanes who are very vulnerable here. And so T1 able to pounce on the flashless Syndra.
Really nice play there from T1. Also, no, right? Cuz shows mid. Ult obviously felt like it wasn't going to do too much. Just wanted to get to the fight as soon as possible. And I think shouldn't line up too poorly when it comes to timing. Level 2 of that almost available. But knowing that there is no one and that BDD doesn't have flash, Doran and Owner can fully commit onto the Syndra and take down BDD.
And it's going to be BDD and Doctom who have these targets on their back. Cuz
One
very
more.
far ahead, incredibly difficult to kill. But BDD who's flashless,
How am I at
Doctom
this?
who's flashless, really vulnerable to the potential engage threat that can come out from Owner or Carrier if T1 can find these angles. For now, a battle of vision. We're looking ahead to
Mr.
the next
Aussie
objective.
man, you
20
gotta
seconds
join my
till
chat.
that Rift Herald
I might have to run
spawns.
up there and
Both teams gold,
teach him how to
nearly
join
neck
my
and neck, but a completed item for Faker
drop this
is
off
going to
on
make a
the
big
right.
difference.
T1, if they can get backline access with Owner, Carrier, or Doran, the fight is going to be really hard to play out for KT. BDD's position is going to be paramount in these fights. As in the last fight, he flashed forward, didn't find the kill, and it was the rest of the team that kind of bailed him out. Then got picked there, as Cuz walks forward with no fear.
Yeah, he has to let his front line do the work that they are built to do. Peter, Cuz, and Perfect. Let's see.
I did this earlier.
So you go to your buddy, wherever his name is, or your friend. Yeah. Oh, friends, hit friends. And then it's him. His name. And then server. Send him a link. He should be able to. He's not doing it. You need to. I mean, he's following your stream, so he should be able to post and everything.
Yeah.
And see. But once he does that, then we can all talk.
I think I made it.
You're in.
Perfect.
So, okay, he was just explaining to me that we're gonna have to go all the way down to the Wizard's Tower, which is basically straight south of us now.
Okay.
And then stop by the bank and drop pretty much all of our shit off and collect 25 bones to give to the wizard.
Okay.
He already
Hello.
finished the quest. Hello. When I first heard your voice, Brian, I was like, what?
That's not him. I think I heard him say your name was Dylan. Is that correct?
Yeah.
Hey, Dylan. Nice to meet you.
Yep,
Nice
Dylan's
to
been
meet
one
you
of my
too.
best friends for the last 27 years. How old are you now, Dill?
28 tomorrow.
Oh my goodness, that's right.
That's cool, man. Happy birthday.
We
Early
can spend the
birthday.
day playing games.
Yeah. Thank you.
Did you ever play RuneScape before? It sounded like you did.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah, we used to play way back when. We all had RuneScape.
Dude, it was the game of the century at the time.
I'm all out of run. Okay, is this the town with the bank? Yes. So we need to stop by the bank in this town.
I gotta buy a black pickaxe. Let's see if I can get one.
Deposit full inventory.
Damn it, dude. Still can't find
Well,
it.
there was a button for that.
And then I'm just going
Damn it, dude.
right out the door of the bank, Dill.
Yep, I'm right behind you. I'm following you.
Just leave them in there, I guess. The thing I
You said
find...
just
Go ahead.
right of the jail is where all the bones were?
There's goblins that are just like hanging out, and so you just gotta kill the goblins and kill 25 of them and collect their bones. And then the wizard guy's on the second level of that tower after you have those. It's just you can go talk to him, but then he's just gonna tell you to go collect the bones. So if you do it first, it'll just make it a little easier.
Yeah.
And then you guys already have the other 2 keys.
Yeah.
Nice,
Yep.
nice.
You mean I don't get to bury all these bones for experience points? Damn it.
I mean, if you do, you can. You just got to kill 50 then. Or you can bury one, kill one, bury one, kind of a thing.
Yeah.
My prayer's at 16.
Damn.
I like burying bones. It's fun. I really just love those protection from the magics, honestly. Or from the all different types of attacking.
Yeah.
And I'm watching
See
League of
if they
Legends
can
Worlds
actually
right
bring it
now.
Together, the teleport is ready for Perfect as well, and he is now proxying Doran.
Tournament?
But
Yeah, the
he
finals
knows that
is
there's nobody else that's
happened
gonna come and
like
get
at
him.
11 o'clock last night.
On the enemy team.
Oh,
Sky's
shoot.
Bloom used as well just to confirm that fact. Pressure
And if
playing in
T1
favor
wins,
of
it would be the first time in
team.
history someone's won it
They're gonna
4
get
times in a
first
row.
setup on the Herald. Now there
Which is
still
pretty
vision
crazy.
here from T1 if they
Okay.
do opt to contest.
Oh, there's the TP. There's the flank.
TP from behind. Flashing forward, Carry's gonna find the knock on the Doctor, but Peter beautifully stopping the initial engage. Doran from behind, though, more than enough to knock down that 80 Carry. KT running.
Huge TP flank. What? It turns into more.
Peter, flash out, reset from Owner. Unstoppable.
Somebody just leveled up.
Owner setting up for the angle, but he's not going to overcommit.
Yep, got
Reset on
some
the
strength.
ulti. Taking him out as T1
Hell yeah.
start the
It
objective.
looks like I'm attacking you.
And a big
but
mistake
the Goblin's
there
attacking
Well,
from the KT.
I forgot to pick up the bones on that one. That was
That's just a good
stupid.
play. Nice flank there from T1, but then Peter stepping forward and cousin BDD
An
trying to
image,
look
brass
for a
necklace.
kill on the opposite end.
Wearing it.
But with any of these Viego
That's
compositions,
cool.
if
Look at
you get
me,
the
look
first
official.
kill, they just feel so good. As
True
Carrier
Rune Knight.
sets up the play here, and Doctom has nowhere to go.
And man, that deep ward value that allows Doran to teleport in for the flank.
So Ruslan called and said the girls are
And
almost
Peter,
back.
that cow is
Okay.
in the wrong area.
So
Definitely was. You could see
like
how he had a
Maverick
bit of hope, a
houses, I
glimmer
guess
of
they
hope.
could get
He
ready
killed
for
2
them.
people.
Sweet, yeah.
Third comes in
I
with
took a little
Doran on
shower
that
just to.
flank.
I got sick of
Seal the
smelling
deal on
myself,
kills
so I
to
took a
make
little
sure
shower.
to Get more out of that play. And gentlemen, Gumayushi, the one who's
I
getting
want
so
my-
much of this money, he's the one who's starting to get scary. And unlike the
champion
Sivir, this is a champion that I think has the mobility, the tools to really start taking over. You can see he's already getting the confidence to just step right up into Doctom's face, even in the face of that Trinity Force.
And Dragon is going to be picked up here by KT. Camtech definitely high value, but you do give up the topside turret. This gold lead for T1.
Oh, my team.
Getting larger and larger as Carrier not
19.
sitting on
Peter,
Smite.
Hex Flash, Pulverize, knocks Carrier back over the wall, and here comes Doctom. Down goes Carrier. A little bonus kill on top of the Drake, certainly nice to have.
I don't know what he was thinking. He doesn't have Smite. His team is playing the cross map. Not really a reason to try and fish there.
Doom.
Doran
Doom.
spotted, eyes on the
Doom.
scatter of the week. QE not gonna
I'm
work.
just mining.
Cleaver certainly hitting like a truck.
Hell yeah.
Doran very likely to just have to concede this tower. So KT get the Drake, they get a
Alright, dude,
kill. The
stop.
redemption now used as well, and it's on Doran to instantly delete this wave. It's working out well so far, but can he keep his life? TP's coming in from the side of T1, but it's just Faker and Guma off to the side. They don't have the tools to keep the fight going. KT going to respond.
It's kind of cool that you
T1
can
now
see other people
retreating.
level up.
KT still winning out, still coming out on top, but in the mid
Yeah.
lanes, the Herald
Like
that's been
Grit
used.
too,
T1
yeah.
going to try to transition into breaking
Okay,
out of mid
good
lane
for
tier
that
1, and it's yet another TP in the sequence of play. BDD wants to deny it. Scatter to clear out the rest of the wave. It'll be a chunk of damage, but the tier 1 will
And
not
finding
die.
uncut
Nicely
gems is
done
pretty
by
sweet
KT
too.
To parlay that pick into an extra kill. They've got Cuz, they've got Mundo. He can tank up that tower. They go for the dive. They make the play very nicely and very quickly.
And we do see the gold lead has now
What'd you
evaporated.
find?
Basically reduced to nothing. Was 2K just a little bit ago, and I don't want to see a Mundo and Cassante with Camtech Soul. That's too much, man.
That truly will be too tanky to take down. Honestly, though, Carrier, like you were talking about, sniffing
Oh,
around
sweet,
the
my black
dragon,
pickaxe got
KT
bought.
actually
Hell yeah.
turned that pick onto him.
Or, I
into
mean,
a
I bought
lot
one.
of
That's
value
cool.
here, a nice little bit of,
I put in the
mobility
Grand
of the
Exchange for a
gold.
pickaxe,
See if
and
they
it
can
just
actually
let me
push
know
it
that
forward.
someone
Faker
finally
into the
sold one
side
to me.
lane, trying to keep the pressure up.
Hey.
And
So now I
it's
can
really
mine
interesting
faster.
That's
looking
sick.
at scaling in this game, because I think the Yunara, the Victor obviously scale great, but when you look at the raw 5v5
Somebody left a
power
whole
of
bunch of
particularly that
still
Mundo,
arrows all
that
over
Syndra, that Alistar combo,
Yes,
I think
they
we're
did.
seeing T1 really hard force plays because they don't necessarily feel confident. I think this
Well, I mean, you
comp
cut
can
down one
always win
inventory
fights,
full
right?
of trees.
If you ever get the pick, if you can ever start,
Sell
particularly
in
this
your
build
Grand
from
Exchange,
Owner,
and then you
get
have
that early execute because he has
money
so
to
much
buy
damage available.
arrows.
But your front to
Yeah.
back, trying to get past these big beefy targets down the line might become a problem, especially if they keep stacking dragons.
I mean, definitely could be, right? You're waiting for Guma to get more damage under his belt. You're waiting for Owner and Guma to be able to do work with these double Kraken Slayers, but they're so reliant on these major cooldowns. And if Perfect and Cuz are still standing when those ultimates are gone, that team fight is not going to go in your favor. It's 6 seconds now to the Otacon. We're looking at the bottom
I
side
do
of
like how they
the map.
updated it, and it
First
gives
top
you
wave for
a
now
time
is
will
in
of when
favor
something
of KT.
regenerates. That's also pretty sweet.
T1
that's cool.
holding on,
Ooh.
doing well.
Because
despite
before
it
you
from
just
the
have to
carry.
wait,
Guma
and you're like,
picking up
oh,
a small
hopefully it comes back.
catastrophic earlier fight. But it's KT looking to potentially start the major objective.
Carrier, to me, has to be the difference maker. He's the one that is the initiation tool. This time there is no flank ward, so Doran can't quite find an angle as easily as he did in the last one. So Carrier has to do a lot of heavy lifting. Has the sums available, but so do the carries of
And
KT.
look at the lane allocation here, because BDD, no teleport up in top wave, was actually catching it. So T1 trying to take advantage of that information, knowing it's going to take BDD a while to walk to this area. Owner, though, is taking a significant amount of damage from the Otacon as well as getting shredded from it here. So KT feel like they are fine.
All right, one more, and then we can go get my pick.
We'll have to respect Doran. You highlighted it well. Perfect needs a
Gotta
bit
run
more
back
time
to town
for his
and
TP to come back off
heal.
cooldown. So KT might just try to draw this out, just try to delay T1 a bit, threaten the objective to give themselves the time they need. And I think the good news for KT is Peter, cuz these frontliners are really hard to catch out. The passive from Mundo makes it so impossible for T1 to land a single piece of CC. And the Unbreakable from Peter also means that even if they see one of these isolated members, it might not be the right choice to go in.
I think when you finish the quest, it gives you 3 quest points, which is pretty cool. Gets you closer to that 9 you have to get.
So Doran will walk away, but he walks away ultless.
He actually got the W there on the Renekton Ruthless Predator, I'm pretty sure. So didn't get stunned. Wins that trade. Henley also presses tab most likely. It's like, I have a Thorn Mail and a Jack shows. Good luck, buddy. Starrick's now done for Doran, though. That is a big cooldown. That will give this Renekton a lot of power, but not having the ultimate, that dominance available, might prove for T1 to not be too big of a hindrance. We'll have to see as Keria, again, trying to set up some vision here.
Keria has made countless plays to bring T1 to this point. Rakan, a champion with so much agency, but again, it's hard in the face of a Mundo, a champion who gets to ignore that first piece of CC, who has so much healing. KT zoning away with T1 while BDD pushes the wave.
Awesome, has a little cat following.
Critical team fight here. Everybody on 2 items, basically. Looking for the setup.
This guy had like a cat following him around. It was kind of cool.
To poke their head in, but they really don't have control of the waves. They're waiting for
had a little
to push
pet.
mid lane, but they really need to respect the engaged threat range of BDD. The Dark Sphere Scatter the Weak combo can be devastating. Umiyushi without a cleanse effect to his name.
The rewards for this team fight are so huge because Otacon and the Dragon both on this side.
Baker continuing to poke.
If you win this fight, you might not just get Dragon, you might get Otacon as well. We'll see, T1 might give up the Drake and then play for the objective instead. Perfect.
Owner lurking in the darkness. Perfect unstoppable for a brief moment. T1 happy to have the poke chipping away at that health bar.
Oh, they're pincering them.
KT losing control of that Tri-Brush is big. Scatter going wide, also massive. It's a huge cooldown at this point in the game.
Well, there's nothing for food in this
Knocks
town.
back Kuma. Redemption going down. Cuz holding onto the maximum dosage as long as he can, but it's Faker off to the side. Not too isolated. 5K on the Drake.
He's on the
getting
second
lower.
level or the
Eyes on Peter. The Alistair to make the play.
Second,
Faker
he's in the
tries to
middle
go
one.
away.
And as soon as you come up the stairs, it's like directly straight across from the stairs. There's a room and he's just chilling in it. Yeah, yeah.
KT managed to find the initial kill. It's perfect to pop off. Guma missing completely. They get the Drake, but it might cost T1 everything.
He flushes into the wall, and that might be the Otacon going over to KT.
Cuz continuing to go where he damn well pleases. T1 forced back. The tier 1 tower starting to fall. Otacon already getting started by the remaining members of T1. Peter waiting as well.
A critical team fight for KT. They don't care about losing that Dragon because they get the gold and they get the Otacon in the aftermath. I think that was critical that T1 made split calls here. Look, they don't have Viego damage with their dive. So
Yeah, I went to go fight that demon at the end, and he's pretty strong. And the wizards are really strong. So I went and bought a bunch of meat pies from the Grand Exchange to fight him.
As we see score in the coaching staff, I think they felt necessity.
Because they hit you with like 6 damage spell. It's crazy.
You have to pull the trigger. Doran tries to salvage the play. I think in the moment that's the right call. But without Guma or Owner, you just don't have the damage to kill that Corki.
And Perfect comes up huge once again on the Cassante, and he even survives the play.
Feels again like a breakout performance, no doubt. The highest level we've ever seen him at. And the big thing is here, by winning that Otacon, you get more XP, you get those flowers, which is so crucial for this Syndra who's crossed the 100 mark threshold on those splinters, getting closer to 120. You get some every time you level up, so that level advantage for BDD just pays double.
For T1 though, look at the cooldowns that you got. I'm looking at Doctor's Flash. Any fight that T1 can start with the amount of burst that they have. If
there you go, get the sword.
Any target,
I think it's back at the castle.
Yep, you gotta talk to that same knight again.
So he's getting close to level 16. Not feeling too good about that one. Doctom, BDD, even Peter if he's too far forward. You need to start the fight with an early hit. But for that, you need to be the aggressor. And I think, that engage we saw, if it's KT that is calling the shots, the Viego comp just doesn't hold up.
Yeah, I mean, you called it right before it happened, but Peter, the engage, the setup onto Faker, followed by the scatter the weak. Nice little opening for them. You have to be on the same page in these team fights. Both of these teams have indexed so heavily and found so much success because of their team fighting.
And I think pressure just continues to be on Guma, right? Had the Sivir game, they
There's a guy mining in this pit that as soon as his pickaxe goes up in the air, he gets the ore.
from the previous game, will not wander into
That's how high level he is. He just doesn't even have to hit the ore. It just gives it to him. That'd be nice.
Cuz getting bursted through with the flash over the wall keeps him standing. Peter trying to zone away. Ulti from Guma means they want to keep this fight going. Good scatter, but doesn't quite connect on Gumayushi critically. He's able to just free fire. KT forced backwards, but Faker now half HP.
And Peter, what a psychopath! He went in instead. A lot of damage to come down, and KT, they're looking for the chase.
Cuz connecting the cleaver.
I am talking to the people camped over by the wizard tower while I wait for my health to fill up a little bit.
TP is his. He can get back to this
But
fight.
I've got...
Tried to force the Baron.
Flip it. Faker can TP
Yeah.
back in. A lot of cooldowns are gone. Though look at the ultimates that aren't available for T1.
They have to be careful of moving into the choke, and they know what owner trying to approach from another side.
Got 18 bones, so I'm almost there.
For it to end the fight in a blink of an eye is massive, but once again, it's the flank that they're looking for. But it's Doran caught out. BDD unleashing his power. Cuz using the maximum dosage as KG start to push into Gumayushi. He's outless. He's helpless. There's nothing he can do. Mundo pushing further and further into T1's back line. KT are doing it. The stun from BDD.
Nope, I'm not getting any bones from those.
As he's trying to go through the wall, BDD stuns him as he dashes, and the reward might be Baron.
There is still the opportunity for a steal. Owner's there. He doesn't have his ultimate though. Flash about to come up. If they don't steal this, KT might set up for a 2-point as well.
Coming in from BDD, well called. Potential 50-50. The Mundo damage.
Ooh, that was close.
Trying to zone. Peter on
What?
the way and wants to
The jail guard attacked me. Damn it. Yeah, I wandered too close.
And the scatter from BDD will not let them pass. Dum lives. And that's Baron.
Listen to that crowd. Listen to that crowd. They are riding the roller coaster. KT with the advantage.
And when we look back at this fight again, Doran caught out the scatter to deny his path over the wall.
And it's Peter even there on a really deep flank angle, and Faker on this Victor trying to make the flank work as they just don't have the tools to deal with this Mundo. He's just not taking any damage.
And then they know to start up the Baron, draw T1 to them. The desperate play from T1. They flash in, they try and burst down Dockham, but the peel is there.
No, all the bones.
And KT, they've got Baron, they've got a 4,000 gold lead. They also have the autograph.
No, my keys were in the
their favor.
bank.
Almost the entire year, T1 have dominated this KT.
Oh no, did you die?
But
for what feels like the first time
yeah.
in countless years, it is KT who have T1 on the back foot. KT
Since I'm right here in
this time not from snowballing early, but
hell no, in Lumbridge, I can just steal all the bones from people killing cows.
Oh, there you go.
Peter and Perfect
Yeah, that's good.
all being subbed out at various different times of the year for them to work back to this point.
And once you get them all, you just have to go west, and you're closer to the wizard too.
They do it.
We saw it in the previous game. T1 was almost able to find their way back. Kuma doesn't have a further
Get half an inventory of bones, then pick up my other ones when I get there.
From behind is known to be an exercise in futility. Look at Perfect, he's not afraid.
T1 have to be careful. A single scatter connects, and it all could fall apart.
Cuz is almost level 16 here on the Mundo as well. That rank 3 ultimate is big.
Splinter's almost maxed out as well. That AP steroid, an additional 15%, as if BDD wasn't doing enough already. Only 3 away now. Level 16 for both mid laners. Carrier with a good combo, Faker with a good ulti. You can see the path to T1 turning it, but it's just so hard to imagine Cuz dying to anything at this point in the game.
And the BDD, 3 items done. 10-stack Dark Seal, slow and steady. As this bot lane inhib certain to fall, you see T1 as well. They're accepting it. Doran maybe trying to trade an inner and top. Cuz just getting a crab for his efforts, as now the free item spikes have been hit for Faker, for Owner, and for Guma.
Peter. KT waiting off to the side. T1 see an opportunity. Doran continuing to push in the top lane. T1 want to just keep KT around in 90 resets. But there's no real major example. Faker caught out by Peter. Cuz on the way in, but nothing's going to come from it. Ulti goes from Faker. Peter's just going to walk away. Again, no major objective, so it's not a big deal. But T1 have to be careful.
He'll use there by Peter. Doesn't want to go down, and T1, if they had a flank ward, if they had the bot lane turret taken down, maybe there's an opportunity, but that one is still standing 31 minutes in.
And during their defense, T1 are able to get the top side secondary tower for Doran, in addition to the red buff, plus this outer tower as well. So a little bit of gold back in their favor, but KT, they stand just 2 minutes away from a Dragon Soul arrival. That fight will be critical.
He didn't drop
Yeah,
anything.
that's Cuz level 16,
God
and that's a
damn it.
Cassante.
I killed him for you, Dill.
That's
You didn't want to add anything.
too much
You didn't want to add anything.
power.
It was just Cassante.
I did
No,
need to
I'm
add more.
bearing
You
his
guys both know.
Yeah, refer to Showmaker.
Yeah.
Oh shit, he's attacking me
For the
again.
rest of the description
respawned.
of that champion.
Just for you,
And
Rue.
honestly,
Just for you, buddy.
That is the immense tanky
Rue's
front
watching
line
my
that
stream
KT
right
have
now.
to their advantage. Those two champions
he
that you
found ya?
mentioned, plus
Yeah.
Peter's possible engages here with the Alistar.
Oh, no, that's not
that
what I
KT
want to
are
do.
going to try and
Where's
use
theater mode?
once they draw T1
Hello.
over
There we
to
go.
the Dragon Soul fight.
And we keep repeating it because I think it's the only way, barring a colossal mistake from KT, that they win. They need to find a pick on BDD.
Is there a way I
or
can play
Dokkan.
both these
are your
games?
two main targets.
I don't think I can.
BDD's flash will always be up. BDD and his team also have the benefit of getting to choose. They can just play for Baron. They don't have to care about the Dragon, so it'll just be soul
Maybe we'll do
point.
it this way.
But with Guma approaching his 4th item, maybe this Yunara can do some magic. T1 have found themselves in deficits in a game like
Ruslan, when are we going to the beach?
JDG looked like they had them on the ropes and they found the
Austin's dying. Just kidding.
Want to catch out perfect.
That should be a little better.
An escape route. Carrier has to be careful.
Okay.
It's been once since we've been here.
Yeah.
Q3 back through. Using Carrier
Every
now
down
to
like
escape.
beach?
Perfect on his
Beach?
way out. It's not the right side. It feels like he's going to escape. All of KT looking to collapse. Eyes on Faker and Doran. His perfect flashes out to safety. That's the ulti.
Oh shit, I went the wrong way for my gravestone. God damn it.
Keeping perfect alive. Doran wants to make the difference. Let's go. T1 making it happen. Guma fails the flash.
I wonder if
It
all these
stops
guns
the
will
fight
pop
from
up when
going
you walk
through.
over here now.
Doran getting whittled down. And in the end, it's Kaz
Well, I
again.
got half an inventory worth on my way there, and then I should have the other half on my
I
gravestone.
cannot believe it. KT holding on as T1 in the end might finally get to
There's
the
at
moon.
least 5 or 6 piles laying around
Who
here now.
comes out ahead? The scrap Faker trying to chase down the extra kill, but so is Cuz.
I think the time has worked out better for KT here. Look, the jungler
Wait, what?
for KT is up because he is
How's that? Doesn't that
unbothered.
hear
He's
smelt right
about
there?
to secure them. That Chemtech soul.
Nothing interesting happens. What?
7-0 and 6. A back
What?
and forth fight. It felt like that. T1 magic was coming through.
All
And
right, so they get the flash stun to get the burst damage on it, Chronicler. But this fight gets so scrappy as you see the carries that are still left up. Dokkan finishes off of Doran, but then Faker is able to get the shutdown.
But it's the deficit that they're in that makes that
Oh, hell
close.
yeah, he dropped
in
the
a
bronze square
normal
shield.
situation, that catch just ends it.
That's
BDD
what I've been
will get
using.
caught as the
Where do I go
Baron is
to do that?
surely in the eyes of KT on the precipice of match point.
If those fights are coming down to that
level
low
5.
of health bars, now with a Chemtech Soul, so difficult here for
Brent, what'd you
T1
say
to
your
finish
prayer was
off
at?
kills this time around.
16.
Let's see it. The setup though, BDD throws
Just from
the
burying
scuttle
bones?
cap away.
Yeah,
closes the
I
limit
bury a
here
lot of
for moments.
bones.
Not a single flash available on the Rift. Any misstep could cost
back to the
T1
cow
the
bastard.
game. KT on the precipice of match point, but we've seen T1 not out of this yet, no matter how strong Cuz looks. All of T1, though, forced to retreat. Again, the power of
God,
this Chemtech
how do I
with
smelt
Cassante
the freaking
and
things?
Amundo is a terrifying prospect for T1 to contend with.
T1, I think they need the Infinity Edge on Gumayushi. It's going to be really difficult for them to buy the time for him to actually get that because KT can just threaten this Baron. You keep the map dark, you threaten T1 constantly, don't allow Gumayushi any time to farm, to catch up.
Oh, furnace. Where's the
They spot it now. Baron getting lower. T1 can't afford to let this get away from them. Peter just using the Hex flashes. All of T1 start to move in. double randoms to slow the approach of T1 if they need. It might come down to the 50-50. Peter trying to spot Owner to force him out of the pit. No smite for either support, even with the spellbook. As T1 getting forced backwards. Maximum dosage still there for Cuz, crucially. Picks up the canister. Guma really starting to hurt, but it's not enough damage.
Sterix is there. T1 taking a little bit too much poke. We'll see if KT actually want to pull the trigger on this or set up a bait. Eventually, T1's going to run out of the resources, but they do know with that ward.
Bot wave pushing in the favor of KT. Crucially, if T1 take a fight and lose, KT will immediately end the game. T1, the pressure point is on.
Made it to my grave, going up to the Wizard's Tower.
Peter from the darkness, finding Doran, but not the ideal carry as Guma and Baker are still untouched for now. Gravity field to lock them up. Maximum dosage. Cuz getting lower, but still living the Mundo, refusing to die. And Guma Yuchi drops. KT taking it across the finish line. Baker forced back. The bot lane open. The TP there for BDD. KT moving to match point. The KT roster coaster keeps going up and up.
That's super lame.
We're still not done. KT
we'll go get this first.
about to go up match point in the telecom war in the world's final.
Let's go pray. Let's go pray. Let's go pray. Holy shit! KT's up 2-1. Fuck.
Their first win on BDD's Casio.
God, dude, KT's got first blood every game. That's crazy.
If you're able to use the priority in your lanes, use the priority of this Guma carrier lane with the Callista Renata, you're able to turn it into vision, and you're able to pick
Holy
up
shit,
members
dude,
from
T1.
KT as they
Oh no,
rotate
there's still
over.
time left.
The pick potential is amazing. Turn off the lights, displace them either with the wall or with the Gragas. And there's a lot of damage available early on to take down these targets.
No, they do win. Oh
KT,
my
again,
god,
it feels
that's
like it's
insane.
gonna come down to what can we find in the team fight.
Yeah,
Faker's on
excellent
the
lane
Navia
assignment from
too.
T1 again.
Holy
Faker
shit.
easily able to wave clear, even in the face of the Caitlyn Tom Kench. Good lane, mid lane control from Karya and Gumayushi, and now Owner walks his
now I
way
got
up top
TP
side.
home.
Immediate 3 grubs secure.
This thing? Nope.
T1 continuing to stack the
where's your
objectives
spells?
that they need in
This
this
thing. There
game.
it is.
Using Guma and Karya, their priority
Stop.
nicely.
Teleport
They
home.
rotate over
Stop.
from mid lane to the grubs,
Teleport
up
home,
to
buddy.
top lane,
Just-
and want to
just
keep
teleport.
that pressure on.
Hey, they got the first dragon as well.
Level 3
You know, the way in which they did it was high risk, but ended up
All
working out.
planned.
All planned. Oh, I mean, Owner knew, you know, otherwise you're a Nocturne that uses his flash for no reason, but he trusted his smite button.
And they know that they are going to need to continue to stack those objectives. So we'll see if the emphasis on the earlier Dragon Soul for them does come to fruition. Callista, of course, looking to be a snowball.
Ooh, and I do love that it's Docton playing that Caitlyn skin from DRX. The last time that
Make
T1
me some
lost
bars.
against that team is
I
Faker.
imagine you need a hammer to do the
Fine,
anvil, Rue, if you're listening. Is that true? Do I have to have a hammer to
continuously
use the
maintain and
anvil?
Look at the top side. T1.
Yeah, I think
keeping these
so.
waves shoved
Okay,
in,
okay.
And plates will be their rewards.
And this feels like the first game where T1 are able to build such a clear advantage in the early stages. Yes, BDD has a small gold lead, but Gumayushi, essentially, no one can stop this man from pushing in, from building a greater advantage. And you are
Alright, I got that third
right?
key.
Callista, a champion who very effortlessly can contest the big smites of the game. And when Owner and Guma are working together, it feels pretty impossible for KT to stop an objective that T1 have started.
Guma on a lot of champions is pretty good at contesting dragons as well.
Has been known for that, yeah.
Yeah, he has stolen, even at this tournament.
Gotta get
multiple
that prayer
dragons
up.
on different AD carry champions.
That's how this
time
game
around,
knows
though,
you're
we're
a true
continuing the
believer.
farm fest, my friends.
Nice. Love it.
You can also do a shortcut so you can take all the roofs off of stuff, so you don't have to keep having to dig with trying to look inside buildings. That's pretty cool.
The main issue is that normally we go completely
If you don't know how to do that, I can
We're not going to
show
do that
you how.
here.
No,
Um,
professionalism.
yeah, obviously. There's a hex plate now done here for Owner. We'll have that available
Alright, I
going
think
into
this is the
fifth
shortcut
fight. Looks
back
like
to
Guma will have
Lumbridge,
to
and then
come
we
through
just
here for T1 as
walk up
well.
the rest of the way.
Be close to his.
Come on, Rue, where you at? Join
This
us. Just
stage,
kidding. I'm
however,
sure you got to
feels
watch
like
out
T1
with
just
Violet.
ahead in terms of overall prio.
Ryan, did
Yes,
you make it to
BDD
where
has
you
mid lane
slayed the
push, but
demon?
really has to be careful
Yeah.
wandering into Fog of War when Owner has
How
access
was
to that
that?
ultimate.
Like I said, it's really hard. You want to bring, like I went and bought meat pies from the market because you fight wizards. You have to fight like 2 wizards and then you fight the demon. and the Wizards do an insane amount of damage.
Scout out, and this time T1, if they can set
So
up
either
again,
just bring a
trying to
ton of
pick
food with you
into Renata, into Anivia,
before you go
kind of a
fight.
nightmare. We haven't really talked about it
Yeah.
too much, but
And then also the other thing too is there's a spell you have to cast,
really looking like a full
and that
committal
Ares
bust.
or Ari, like the witch who started the quest, you started the quest with, she tells you the exact order you have to do the words. And so if you can't remember that order, you should go talk to her first so you can remember the order.
I took a picture.
Okay, good. Because I didn't know that until I got there, and then they're like, "Oh, you're supposed to remember the order." I was like, "It never said anything about that."
Yeah. From the last quest I did on the RS3,
Uh-huh.
I was like, there's definitely an order to this, so I'm gonna take a picture of this.
Yeah, smart. Smart.
Yeah, the other one had like a puzzle where you had to match all of the icons around this thing, but there was like 12 of them, and it would reset after like 10 wrong tries or something. So it, needless to say, it took me like 5 times, but at least it didn't reorder them every time.
Knock up a bit too far. The thick skin, yeah, it's not gonna save you. Caught up in the hype, caught up in the moment. Faker gonna get one back.
Yeah, getting a little bit ahead of themselves there. The roller coaster sometimes a bit
Kind
of
of
a
like this
bumpy
just
ride,
following behind thing.
but as we highlighted,
Makes it a lot easier, doesn't it?
Yeah.
that takes this fight into his own hands. At
Is Rue still in
CKTD,
your chat,
at
Brian?
first, very respectful of the amount of
He left.
disengagement
That son of a bitch
available.
left.
No.
And it's not until this
Guy's
PR
trying to
comes
kill you.
through that they're really ready to commit.
Yeah, and they try and pincer them against. Then Dorian goes for the big play.
Rue left?
But
Yes.
he's left in
Yeah,
the
he
middle,
left.
And BDD hits the ultimate, peeling all the rest of the DPS, getting those stuns. And T1 get chased out.
And Perfect.
I'll say
while
it
was
is kinda
happening,
weird
took out one of the big DPS sources
letting him
for
take the
T1.
car every
Even though he
night.
doesn't actually
Yeah, I
take
bet.
out Faker, we can see there. The BDD topping those damage charts, and Faker.
But you know, it's
just
convenient.
hitting
We
him
have
with Kaiser.
2 options for that.
Nothing you could do.
True.
Guma
I mean, he could even take
avoids the
mine.
pressure that we look at
He has
from
access to
both
my
teams.
car
Guma
too.
usually does go down
Yeah.
in the end, giving a lot of that gold back to Doc Dom.
Bank
Crucially
first
for
deal?
this
Who we
KT
talking to?
lineup. And BDD now with the roll.
I just had to get my keys out of there.
Struggles to complete his.
Okay.
Is in an excellent position.
Probably my bow
in the
too.
fights to come. Again, 1 minute and 30 seconds now until
That'd be
that
nice.
Herald
I have
is
another
available.
short bow if you
Top
want one.
side still close. Mid
Oh,
lane still
I did
very
just
much
upgrade
dominated
actually
by
to where
Guma. T1 would really like to have
I
that
think it will
prio
still let
advantage
me
ahead of this next objective.
buy stuff from the
Yeah.
Grand Exchange.
They clearly made the call. Just try and go for Doctum. You know, Dorian getting in there for the knockback.
Yeah, so I
but
have
they
an
don't
Yeah, we're
have
over
the
there
damage
too.
to follow it back up. And so the extra kills here for KT.
I can use a
but
willow
T1
bow
preemptively
now.
got the dragon.
Oh.
So yeah, I think I'm gonna go
So
up to the
that
Grand
plan of
Exchange and try
stacking the
to grab a
drakes
willow
is
bow.
still there.
And get some. Are you still using
This is
bronze too, or did you go to
Game where I
steel?
think Ocean's so actually going to get a
I
ton
bought-
of
yeah, I
value.
bought
It makes your
1,000
side
steel
lane
arrows.
so oppressive.
Nice. Are
There
they
a
expensive?
ton of champions on either side that have a good amount of sustain.
Not
Going to
really.
become even more annoying when
Not
you
when you have 150K.
immovable object in that side.
Well, yeah, dude, somebody
And a lot of
gifted me
champions that
25k.
even with
Oh,
the
that's
Rollers,
cool.
even with the Sarahs,
Yeah,
they can
I was just
shoot
sitting by the
for a
Grand
ton of
Exchange. Some guy
mana.
walked over to me and I saw the
As
request to
right
trade
now,
thing. And I was like, okay.
KT feeling like
That's always pretty fun about the
despite
Grand
everything
And it was like,
that's
he
Exchange.
offers you
that he went-
25,000
if anything,
gold.
it's in favor of T1
I was like,
given that we've
okay,
seen
accept. And it just went in
what
my
goes
thing. And I was
their
like,
way,
I'm going right to the bank.
Yeah. Run away, run away, run away.
plans as well.
And remember the
the wrong button.
context of all of KT's kills.
Now
It
this
is
lady's
a
gonna
lot
give
of
me the whole
flashes,
spiel of
it is a
how-
lot of full committals with very long cooldown sums and abilities.
Oh, whoa.
T1 still have a much easier time setting up
After
fights,
both
setting up hits.
sets?
And
What is
because they
this?
secured those 2 drakes, they will inevitably be
Oh, it's
allowed to
members
force
now,
at
I
least
think.
one fight on their own terms. Even now, as we see both teams
I wonder what the
setting up for
most
And I think that will
bought
be
item for
necessary
bronze
T1
is. Do you think
because KT, they have used this
Plate
Caitlyn so
chests?
effectively from the very beginning of the tournament.
I
And
wonder
they've
what
constantly
sells the
looked towards
most.
the
Let me
late
see.
game with this champion for Doctum. And the siege power, the extra range. KT right now, speaking of siege, with the 4-1, but T1 are able to take control of it. They've got control and access to
Let's
the
go,
return as
Willow
well,
Bow.
so they can continue to stack these neutral objectives.
Deal, do
And
you want my other
that's
bow?
the way that they're going to apply this pressure to KT.
Sure.
I,
And not
fuck,
allow
I don't know
them
how I'm going to give it
a
to
lot
you,
of extra
though.
time in the game.
Early objective stacking going the way
Oh,
of
basically,
T1
they say don't do it.
convincingly and fully as a possible play onto Doran here. A dive with about 50 seconds left on the clock would be big.
Owner on the
Yeah,
way.
because I have an
Access to
oak
ulti.
short bow I could give you.
TP available.
Dang it, I just bought some steel armor, but I need a little higher defense for it.
All of KT immediately pulling back. Peter isolated.
What is my current defense?
Trying to stay standing with the thick skin.
Yeah. Oh, I'm at 1 defense.
Baker takes down the top lane tier 1, and again, this is the struggle of the
Well, you gotta be 5 defense to wear it.
It's so hard to force anything, and T1 continue to trade up.
And T1 read them like a book. The 5-man rotation gets punished heavily. They're ready to keep Doran safe this time around. That Gragas will not be taken down. And then on the cross map, the top side turret falls.
And now they're in a perfect position to contest this next Drake. The good news for the side of KT is at least Dokdom finally has that collector, is able to chip away at Gumayushi's health bar, but with the Blade of the Rune King and a red buff, Guma forced to be reckoned with. KT poking their heads, and they don't really have the vision, but they do have a ward on the flank if Perfect can find his way in. We'll just take the more conventional path through the mid lane, however.
And look at the flank from Doran here, trying to hide there on the Ocean Rift, looking for a big displacement.
Herald summoned in the mid lane. 5v5 at the pit. Flash ulti available for BDD if he wants to try and find it. Perfect isolated off to the side. Hostile takeover. Stops Peter from going any further. Dokdom completely isolated. Cooking the barrel for just a little bit longer, and now the Drake is going to go down. Owner taking it. Dokdom isolated. And Perfect trying to force a fight with Faker, but he gets nothing as the wall comes in to interrupt. Flash over the wall. The ulti from BDD. He might get a couple more kills, but again, the objective belongs to KT. Even as T1 begin to fall, Faker and Carry are ready to turn it.
You can only wear the helmet,
The wall there, trying to disengage Carry up.
pants,
Faker running into
and
the pinch, obliterate, connecting for full damage. Cuz
chestplate,
on the
right?
chase, waiting a few seconds for the pillar, but the stun clutch to disengage for the side of T1.
Yeah.
They get the dragon, but at what cost, guys? The gold here going over to KT. Some of these kills. Ooh, it is tense. I mean, T1, I think it's still good because they can still keep up their timeline for Dragon Soul.
I think you take it because of the double steal that comes through, right?
Oh, well, I can still hear you.
They're unable to get this dragon. Owner gets to secure again. And I want to look at the amount of flashes that are blown
coming over here?
KT. As Dokdom gets taken down, completely focused by Guma, who stays alive until BD gets on top of him. But the stalling here is a big deal, and the trades aren't that bad when it comes to kills here for T1. And with that objective going their way, so many summoners were blown there for KT.
And I think the big thing that I'm looking at is the effectiveness of this Tahm Kench. This is a moment where across this series it's felt like Peter, Dokdom have been doing well even when Dokdom's been getting caught out, but you saw there the disconnect. Peter flashes in to try to devour Dokdom. Dokdom flashes over the wall. They can't get the angle, and those moments of miscoordination are effortless for T1 to punish, and this is something they cannot afford because they're already falling behind in terms of map pressure.
Ruslan on his way.
Kill advantage, they're behind in gold. Single mistakes
yes,
like
Ruslan
that
is on his
cost them
way.
everything.
He said he tried to message you, but you weren't responding.
Owner's smite button.
Oh yeah.
Inspect that thing. This guy is cold as hell, man. Keeps on getting these dragons. Started out the game with a flash to go.
How many items can your inventory hold?
Can he do does he have
28.
one more in him?
And started off the game without a flash to speak of. When it comes off
Cool, I
cooldown,
just
he
bought
flashes
20
to
meat
steal it.
pies.
And again, this is the member that we've
Yeah,
heralded
I bought like
on
100
T1
and something. I have a bunch if you guys want some. I guess we can't even trade, actually. I can't even give them to you yet.
It's crucial because now
We need to figure that out. I just get my quest points up. Just got my steel helmet too.
In 2013 OGN Summer, those telecom wars go in the distance. Will we go the distance here on the World Final stage?
If we start a Twitter poll, can
Cool,
we ask for
yeah, we'll see you in a minute.
I'm down.
It's a throwback.
Let's get double Zeds, double Sheds
Oh, what?
back in
Fearless
there.
game.
Did you see his messages, Brent?
The only messages I have from Rue are the two he put into my live stream chat. He texted me.
He said he's got two in your live stream.
Yeah, but I already answered it because he asked me to move the low stream to the live stream, and I did that.
In these lanes, because not having flash means that you're much more susceptible to a Nocturne showing up.
So I did what he said, but then, like I said, he's not viewing me anymore, so I don't.
Owner.
Yeah, he did. He moved it.
Him and Gumayushi often be the deciding factor together. As KT, they might just
buddy, we'll see you in a minute.
At least to get the GP out of Doran.
Understand the gamble the KT are in because T1 are
you
collapsing,
said
and in the meantime,
a bunch of
waves
meat
are being
pies and what
deleted.
else?
It's costing KT hundreds just to be
Then
here.
that sword, you'll need the
T1
sword,
take the fight, it might just
and
cost them
I'd even bring like
Perfect has
another sword to kill the wizards with, and then use that special light sword to kill the demon. Because those wizards do some damage.
My new bow because my sword levels.
Okay, I mean, yeah, fair enough. I fought sword. Whatever your fighting thing is.
Yeah, I got got my new bow. I'll get that shot.
Nice.
And I'm still waiting for my armor to get purchased. Yeah.
Securing the objective. And there it is, the second smite for T1 strikes again as Otacon goes their way.
Oh man, that was a tense one.
Yeah, so nobody's going on the steel pant legs, man. I put
have Mordekaiser
like
just run at Owner and try
5x
and
what
ult
they're
Owner.
worth.
But look
Really?
at getting kited. The Anivia does so
Yeah.
much work keeping
Damn.
him at bay.
Wait, so on the
Carry as well,
logs and
trying
like
to
stuff
help
when I'm
find
selling
a
stuff,
leg,
I'll do
and
like
then
I
as
do
the ult
click the 5%
goes down
under.
there, they
Sure.
kite it back out. Otacon resetting.
But when I'm trying to
They
buy
put
something, I've been
so
doing like
many
over
spears
just
into
to
this Otacon.
get it go through faster.
And I cannot think of a worse champion to
not a
pull
lot
on
of
Death
people
Realm
are still
1v1 than a Callista that
selling
has
steel
been
pant legs.
accelerated. Unfortunately,
Interesting.
from the side of KT.
Yeah.
You see that they have the damage, that
I
they have
wonder
the items. They just
if
cannot
it's just
put it
cheaper to
where
buy
it
from the
counts.
armor shop in
Ultimately, that just
town.
means that T1 are even further ahead. 23-9, the score in terms of
forgot
the
that was
pedals.
an option,
1,000 gold
being
advantage
honest.
and 20 seconds.
Yeah, and still is level
set up
30
to beat the
smithing,
Soul.
so I'd say it'd help you, but I'm only 5.
Miraculous team fight here from KT.
Smithing.
As they are
Yeah.
second to the objective.
So maybe that's why
I think
still's
I
hard.
Soul goes over.
I was working on that a
Barring
little
an
bit last night.
elder
I'm
flip,
level 7.
T1's got to be feeling real
That's cool.
good.
Doran isolated for a moment. The miasma just a little bit late as Faker's off to the side.
My,
Good damage
yeah,
on the perfect to kick
my
things off.
fire's 8.
Cuz still
My
eating a bit
tree's
of damage. The poke
18.
from T1. A bit tough to
My
deal with. You can see the
range
pierce
is
that lands
20.
onto Doc Dom, taking that chunk of health. Flash in, full committal
But
to the
as soon
fight.
as I'm gonna
Pillar
be the
to
bow
isolate.
guy,
Owner
I'd have
redemption to heal
heard
Faker
that's
right back
probably a
up.
good
That's
thing.
almost every single cooldown.
Yo, you're still at
Burns
the
on
grand
BDD
exchange,
to try to
you're
turn
ready
it
to go
back,
get
but
the
it's a
sword.
split fight. T1 coming from multiple sides.
I went over to the shopkeeper to see. Oh, that's the sword shopkeeper. Oops, wrong one. I know there's somebody in town that sells armor. As soon as I find it, I'm going to buy my armor from him because I can't get my stuff to go through either.
The spears stacked, smites available.
Yeah, I got
Sure,
the
it's
plate
good.
body and the helmet are steel,
and the
and
Anivia.
my
The fight
pants
just
are still
continues to go.
brass, but
6K getting lower. Doctor trying to get a bit of poke. Hobbs will
guess
take
we'll
over
see what
connecting.
that
Another cleanse. Devour from Peter is good, but it might not matter. Cuz continuing to move in. BDD waiting over
we
the
gotta
wall.
go in
The
the
ulti is there, but they don't
and
need
talk
to
to that
face
guy
him
again,
yet.
right?
The turn on to Faker isn't enough.
To get the sword?
Cuz in the pit. At the end of the day, it does not matter because it is Doran to get the sword. KT might be able to get the fight.
Right, who do we talk to get the sword?
You gotta go talk to that
Yeah, we
same
gotta talk-
night with your keys.
And I am starting to hear some
all 3 keys.
silver scrapes in
Excellent,
my
now I can
telecom
give you
war.
supply.
Oh my God, T1.
And then once you get it, you literally have to just walk straight south, and there's like a ring of wizards and rocks, and you just walk to it, and it starts the battle.
Doctum gets hit with the carrier.
And I don't think you can do it as a team. I think you have to solo battle.
They're both so low, they get pushed out.
Yeah.
Then Doran blocking the Caitlyn ultimate, protecting Owner here as they try and kite back into the pit. Meanwhile, on the top side, BDD was running
go
straight
kill
at
that
them.
demon.
Immediately gets deleted there by Carrier and Faker on the other side.
And it's
And go-
Guma
do I need
skirting
to- I
alongside
don't
the
need to go
fight.
talk to the lady
And the
again.
fact that
Nope.
Faker,
Only
even
if you
though
don't
BDD got
remember.
his
Oh,
own
you took a
hit
thing,
him
so
with
you
the
should, yeah, you should be
stun,
good.
So he didn't actually get to do the damage that he needed to. As
Circle
the
south of the
double
city and
fake
destroy
out
it.
from Doran. And the Mastercard prize at the moment of the game, Ocean Soul secured for T1.
Plus, in the lead up to that fight, Faker was kiting so well with the Anivia, and there was a moment where the Mordekaiser was trying to pull him in, but the Trundle
What circle
pillar
is
also
it?
bumped him out.
You
as
just
well.
walk straight south
I mean,
out of the village,
annoyance
and
of
you'll
the
see like a
late game
rock
Anivia,
circle
the
with a bunch of
kiting here
wizards,
that
and you
he's-
just have to
he's
walk
able
to it.
Pull off really created so much space.
And T1 seemed to perfectly understand their strengths in comparison to KT's weaknesses. We've mentioned it countless times. We saw it in draft, and we've seen it be the bane of KT this entire game. They do not have good tools to force picks. So T1 get to stay in these fights at 20% health, 30% health, because once they see that pillar go down, they know there's no way anyone else is getting on top of them in the back line. Now, Soul in their favor, Flowers in their favor, 5K gold lead, and they're set up to take the first Baron of the game.
And it's again costly when it comes to summoners for KT. And
I love how
T1
descriptive
hold the T1
quests are.
Baron. Gold leads
Okay, I
there.
see the
Ocean
circle.
Soul is theirs. And KT, we'll see
Do I
if they
talk
can
to
make something
anybody or
happen.
just start fighting?
Owner and
Yep,
T1
as soon as you
have
walk up,
every
it should,
single objective this
yeah,
game.
it should pop you.
Cuz moving in, but zoned away by the Storm from the side of the team. Berserk now onto Cuz, has to ulti. Owner using an ulti of his own just to try and disengage. Dorn, meanwhile, in the mid lane, happy to just continue fighting.
Ooh,
Perfect
that's a
going
big
into the back
demon.
line, looking to get taken down by Faker. He's in the death
That's
level.
a big
Faker's happy
boy.
with the 1v1. Just in time, he gets out. And Dorn is there
Wait, there's
to
not
seal
an
the deal on
anvil
the kill.
here?
KT
What the
desperate
fuck?
To get anything. They've already lost their top laner. The
Who doesn't
game
put an
rapidly
anvil?
slipping away.
Oh,
They're trying their best
where is
to
it?
not let this game go.
Ah,
to
there it is,
5 as
okay.
Doran still searching.
No flash for BDD. That crucial piece of CC and exhaust there. But Faker just waiting in the darkness. Guma stacking up the spears. The wall to zone KT.
Anyone want a bronze longsword?
Flash not there for Cuz either. BDD off on the side. He's going to use the ultimate. W in from Peter does absolutely nothing. T1, they see a vulnerable opponent. They know what they can do as they start to rip them to shreds. KT is not going to take a bear, and T1
It's not letting me do anything with the meat pies. I'm gonna die.
You should just have to eat them. Like click on it, and then it should eat half the pie. Does it say anything like you're not level enough or something? If you're gonna die, run away. Like just run away, and then they'll stop attacking you. Okay. And you can't eat them?
And now they will secure the objective. Here's another look at it. So Duran had just body slammed at BDD, and BDD used Cassiopeia ultimate. The rest of
Swap the note at any bank for any equivalent item, so it's just a note for 20 meat pies.
Oh yeah, you gotta go put it in the bank and then withdraw the pie. Okay, that makes more sense. I was like, what?
I'm like, click it, click, 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 click. Like, why isn't this working?
It's not an enviable job. You're trying to play engage Kench, and I've seen a single man do that well, and he's on the opposite side of the rift. We knew it was a gamble, and that plus the blind Cassio
We're gonna go ahead
really
and
getting
do that
punished so
first
nicely
before
by
we go
T1
attack
in this
these
game.
guys.
Yeah, and the top lane difference as well. The Mordekaiser has not found a lot of value. He's getting kited a lot, and hasn't had very high value ultimates either. So we'll see as we progress in this series. If we progress, because T1 still have not done it yet. They've got the Dragon Soul and a 9,000 gold lead though, so they definitely should be able to.
20 pedal lead. They have Krubs. We haven't taken a turret yet, Kobe.
They got more items. They got more money. Yeah. Like a hard road.
I wonder if any of these runes.
And now
it's good news
is
for
the
us.
mind rune an attack rune or just the air runes?
So the runes you have to combine with like a staff, and you have to be strong enough mage to cast spells. So if you're not a mage person, then I wouldn't even hold runes at all for now. I'd just put them in the bank for later.
Because this game is looking done and dusted. Owner pushing in the mid lane. KT can't really afford the split as that tower falls. The threat of T1 diving into their backline, a very real threat.
BDD found a big play on his Yone in game 1 against Gen G to find a miraculous comeback, but this game feels so much more dire. About 35 seconds till we see that Elder come up. I don't even know if T1 really wants to wait for it. With 2 inhibitors, they can just decide to back off. No pressure on them.
How you doing, Dale? Where you at?
Owner waiting, hoping to
I'm at the Grand Exchange still. I went and got the sword.
It is for them to stop the soul from going down. 20 seconds. A TP into the mid lane. Maybe going to catch out Gumayushi here. But it's perfect. Again, this is the problem. No matter who TPs.
Yeah, I watched it.
Quickly.
I watched you and then figured I'd go buy even better armor than the armor I was trying to buy already.
Carry wants to turn it back with the hostile takeover. The goal deficit is just too massive. Even a miracle, even an incredible angle was not enough in the face of this T1 lineup. The triple, the quadra, T1 bringing us to silver scrapes.
Guma lives the engage, and T1's hopes live in the grand finals.
And the telecom war has never been this insane.
Oh my god, game 5, dude. Silver scrapes, let's go. Oh my god, Faker or drinking. Damn.
A back and forth.
One wizard down, let's go.
He's there to follow.
What's their 5th game?
Get good amount of value from
Where'd
that
they
as
go
we do
here? So
have
their final game.
a little bit of pressure being put out here by Doc Thomas.
Damn, that's a
Makes
solid.
his way down.
Into York. Oh yeah.
Nothing
Wow.
too crazy here in the
T1
love
has a killer.
And of course, for a lot of this series, it's been about bot priority, and it's been about the junglers. We take a look at how Cuz and Owner have performed. Last game, no doubt, a masterclass from Owner. But here, comfort for Cuz. Comes to Juani, a proactive option for Owner. We know what he can do with those semi-globals. Eyes are on them to make these early game plays, even as we see the laning phase begin.
Can we add Smite's hit
Oh, wow,
to that
okay. Hold
list of stats as well?
I wonder if the wizards reset every time you walk out.
More
Oh,
favored,
he's still attacking me.
Window cleaver steal is perfect and Doran just trading blows.
Camille, one of those champions that I think has a really funny power curve, like level 1, level 2, level 3, feeling great. first base, not too bad, and then you're basically just praying until you hit your
I'm going to open the garage so Rue can get in.
Goes in.
Takes a tower shot. Just trying to zone away, make the most of that level 2 power spike. Dom and Peter waiting to catch the wave.
And BDD is going to be trying his best to
Oh my gosh, this guy
as many
is
stacks
crazy.
as possible and keep this Galio lane locked. If Galio isn't able to
Attack this guy! What are you doing?
In the early game, it's going to make it a lot harder for T1 to find places. Oh, look at Owner. He's diverted his pathing. He's looking for top. That's a classic.
Perfect. Needs to back up. Level 3. Getting lower and lower. Last Right's offering a bit of healing. The tactical sweep there from Doran to slow him down. Owner all but certain to make this one come through. First blood for T1. Doran's Camille takes it.
The 3-camp gank from Owner. The price you pay is usually counter jungle, and since Faker is getting pushed in, since the Smolder has priority, it does allow Cuz to exact that price.
TP back to the lane. Luckily for Perfect, Doran hasn't had a chance to spend that gold yet, so we'll still need to play with a little bit of respect.
And Perfect has had such an incredible tournament, but when the criticism towards him was the heaviest was when he fell behind early.
Is there other things that like
to
help heal you faster?
Fall deeper down the hole.
Just higher level of foods. So I'm not exactly sure what the...
have made at their goal,
let's see
and this is his biggest test yet in the final game here at Worlds.
And it's a very
How do you know what they heal you?
From Owner to do the top side 3-camp into gank, sacrifice his blue buff, because if you look at the comps overall,
I picked meat pie because it's a level 20 thing to cook, so I figured it was somewhat of a high level. I guess a next higher level you could pick an apple pie.
On his Camille. Hextech ultimatum into Gallia ultimatum
Would probably heal you slightly more. You might be able to buy a stew. No, stew is lower than apple pie. Some pizzas. You could get like an anchovy pizza. That's a level 55 cooking, so I'd imagine it gives you some good healing. You know, just the higher the level to cook item, I imagine it gets you more things. I think one of the best ones is a shark, but I don't know if you have to be a certain level to eat that or something. But I know the sharks are pretty good. Or lobsters are also another really good one. I just don't know if you have to be levels to eat that stuff.
Yeah, it's a critical breakpoint because Galio lane
doesn't make sense you'd have to be, but I don't know. I've seen crazier things.
When I move up in lane and try and taunt you. And now you don't have that pressure at all.
Q forward, sidestep, the taunt, Faker, turning it back, BDD, one more auto, the 1-for-1!
BDD, no hesitation, must have known that was going to kill him.
Meanwhile, on the top side of the map, Doran locked down with the Pandas.
Oh shit, I'm gonna die again.
Barely. Doran barely able to walk away.
Did you key your gravestone first?
I did the first one, yeah. I died again. Gosh dang it. Alright, I need something else.
He goes for that dive, you know, he does invest his flash. So that
hey dude, what's up?
And ganking again.
Perfect needs
I'm down here too.
Has the flash available, but Doran just going to immediately flash follow. The adaptive defensive, the hook shot still there. The Q back for a bit of healing, but it's not enough.
Beautifully played, no hesitation. Owner flashes in so that Doran can then also close the distance, flash into melee range, and save the hook shot for the answer flash from Perfect, securing the kill.
And this is something that, again, we've seen KT struggle with, we've seen Perfect struggle with. Yorick, he just goes for the call, and his team at least will be able to find on the cross map the ability to get this dragon, but he needs to stem the bleeding, because if Doran gets out of control, this game becomes nigh unplayable.
At least Farok's not like super far from Lumbridge.
Especially for BDD, the strongest
Very
point
true.
on the team.
No.
Nice. Even as we see gold leads get bigger for Owner and Doran, the Camille start to take over. Perfect needs to stem the bleeding. You highlighted it so well. It's one of the few things that we haven't
seen. Actually ran away too far.
Hook shot wall dive is there. Doc Dom flashing away, but Owner's on the way as well. Ulti there. That's the Hextech ultimatum. Doc Dom likely to escape, but it looks like Peter will be sacrificed in return. The hook shot, making it out. Send his play back to the tower, but it might cost Carrier his life. It's the 1-for-1. No! The minions leaking out. Carrier walks away.
Out of the lane swap.
Hey, look, there's my grave again.
Play here. Doctum and Peter could not fully push the wave in, and so T1 pounds.
Are there less wizards, or do they respawn every time?
There, I didn't even get close to killing one that time.
Oh, jeez.
From downtown, Doctum on the Ziggs finds the play to salvage it for KT in the final game. as T1 were building a gold lead. He chops it back down a little bit.
And it's again the power of Pantheon, Leona, Camille. If you're slightly too far up in the lane, you will just get 100 to 0.
Area. Baseball is out. Owner waiting off to the side. Cuz level 6. Critically, Smite comes through. Cuz immediately going to retreat. Red buff steal, a nice little advantage for the side of KT.
They have to be careful there because there is obviously the possibility of Faker going for an ultimate there, so he can't really commit to the fight. BDD can damage him, but he cannot stop that ult. Doesn't have the tools available. And we do see the gold lead for Doran still there. Gold lead for Owner as well, and the resilience of KT. As we have seen these early games swing in the last 2 games. First couple of games it was in their favor. This time around it's T1.
Yeah, Owner has been on a mission, creating so much with this Pantheon. Cuz though, has level 6 on the Sejuani, so the possibilities of your plays become that much greater. He starts out the grubs with the confidence. BDD does have priority of mid, and it's just going to be the one for now.
KT have to be so respectful of the sheer quantity of CC on the side of T1. Also, all of their burst damage so heavily telegraphed makes it very...
Dude, I think the sword's the way to go on these wizards.
To just mitigate all of
Okay, yeah, do the
Is
sword.
the magic doing good damage on them? I was using my regular sword.
What I do love is
That,
that
well, the
often in
bow I
game
had
time,
wasn't doing
Fearless,
crap.
we end up with comps that don't even engage. This
I was
is
able to
kind of the
kill
opposite.
one
Both
of
teams
them.
have amazing hard engage. We have Nautilus on one side, with Sejuani to back it up. Then the Camille Galio Leona combo is
moving down. That's the combo. Locks him in the ultimatum. Finds the damage. The taunt is there, and Doran takes another.
Baker Galio in Game 5 World Finals here does make the move for the guaranteed play. These 2 ultimates, when they are available, you know T1 can look for it. It does allow, of course, the push in. You see the mini-map, BDD shoved in the wave, but they're not going to get much out of it.
It's just not going to compare, right? Look at Perfect State. I wouldn't be surprised if Doran with that is going to be at least close to his Triforce. Sitting on a 1K gold lead, and that is such an insane spike.
Okay, now we're making
particularly when
progress.
you're playing in like a Triforce
I'm
versus
on my last
Triforce
wizard.
matchup, right? Doesn't quite have it yet. But Perfect, he needs to find a way to make an impact because he is currently just fodder for T1.
That he is. Luckily for him, the Trinity Force completion does not come through for Doran because very rapidly Doran is going to be a problem not just for Perfect in the isolated 1v1, but for BDD, for Dom as we get ready for these bigger fights, and that is really going to be the break point that KT are terrified of.
Yeah, the game looks so hard to play for those KT carries that you mentioned. So many forms of dive from T1 will be looking to take them out.
And it's the entirety of T1 also playing, right? This isn't Perfect getting 1v1, it's 1 gank from Owner, 2 gank from Owner, gank from Faker as well. And you see Perfect, this lane state just kind of disastrous. Not really going to be able to make anything happen there, and instead, just paths top.
Come on,
But
get
that
him.
means that this gold lead is going to remain
There
the
we
way
go.
there it is for
Wizard
Doran.
down.
Triforce in the pocket. TP used.
Now you just got to fight the demon.
Sky as well. 2 incredible power
Nice.
coming objectives. 30 seconds until Chemtech Drake spawns. It won't be a soul of Mountain or Chemtech. Very likely to be critical for either team to deny this soul. And at this point, getting harder and harder for KT to find angles. They have to give up a little bit of space, but at least they have their first items completed. Heartsteel for Cuz, the Essence Reaver, the Luden's Companion.
Trinity Force for Doran, though. That is very painful.
Brother.
The Q2 is really
The demon
going to
was
hurt.
way easier than the
Wizards, if they can make a play, though. Away from the top lane.
Now, what
is
was
not
that
bad for
incantation
KT.
again?
Peter, ready to input buffer on
Pull
the
up my
hook.
picture. Dill, I can
Look at Doran, though. He's moving
share this
down.
picture.
Oh, yeah.
Here it comes. That's the
It says it's
overwhelming
different for
I wouldn't talk
everybody.
to him.
coming over.
Shutdowns on Doran and Owner, just showing us where all of the money is for
Maturity.
T1. 1,000 individual gold lead over Perfect.
Amber.
Yeah, yours is definitely different than mine.
Dodges out on the tactical sweep, but uses the flap, so needs to be careful for at least a few more seconds.
That's Drake just gone.
Yando.
Got the first one, not the second one. As T1
Yeah,
picks this
you're
one up.
saying it was different than mine too. That's
T1 is
funny.
frankly disgusting. Also want to
Really?
highlight Faker
Yeah,
is one
I
of
didn't
the
have
few
that one.
Gallios that we've seen, at least in the consistently do this.
Cool.
He
Well,
just
I mean,
goes
he's
full damage,
disappearing.
right? We've seen him both go for
Very
like,
nice.
invisibility,
Sucked into
go
a
for Zhonya's
vortex.
remaining
Alright, now,
utility.
what cool shit do I
But
get from
he
that?
is not afraid to just
Back into
full
the
send
dark
it, and it does
dim
make the itemization harder, right? If he goes
engine
for
from where
tank,
you came.
then you could stack a lot of armor.
Congratulations!
Make
You
actually
are awarded
finding
3 quest
the
points
angles
and
onto this
silver
KT
light.
backline a little bit more tough as
Oh,
it's
now another
Cloud
wizard's
Soul, which
attacking me.
feels apt
Bro,
for
what?
a
Run,
LCK
run.
Final game 5. We
Oh, I'm gonna kill
we
this
got
bitch.
one yet this series.
Doran again. Finding these
Maybe
angles.
I'm not.
The good news for
Maybe I
Perfect
will
is
be running.
Doran's power in the 1v1 means he can at least survive a little bit here in what should be a very one-sided matchup. But obviously with Owner poking his head around on the top side of the map, he's still very vulnerable.
Yeah, you have to be cognizant of this Pantheon ultimate at all times.
Okay, we did it. We got a cool new
KT,
sword.
They still have their tower standing for now. But for how much longer will that be true? T1 make a pretty heavy movement into the jungle. Look at the river pings.
Quest
Nobody
complete.
actually goes for the engage.
Nice
though. The
job.
crab
How many quest
will
points you
be
got?
Secured by KT.
Yep, good shadow from Owner, looking for a potential angle of attack there on the top side. Looking to put
6.
Perfect even further
Nice.
behind, but Doc Dom, of course, with access to that Mega Inferno Bomb, can immediately clear the wave and make that a lot more of a tricky proposition. T1 don't need to take any risks. They've got a goal
Do I need
lead, they've
to
got a
talk to
dive
the
prompt
old
that's
lady
already
again?
Nope,
accelerated.
you got it.
For Perfect, like you can't fix your wave. There's a Camille, you know there's a Leona nearby, and there's Pantheon with ult as well. So unless KT sends someone up, and Cuz thus far hasn't found impact in this game, not a hard steel stack to be found. There is obviously the promised land, right, where KT is going to try and get to the point where BDD is his stacks, Doc Dom is at his third item, and Yorick is one of those champions that I think always will get value if you get a little bit of time alone inside, but T1, I don't think they're going to just let them get to that point. You're going to have to fight tooth and nail.
And I perceive
Well, I didn't get a chance to steal the Black Robes. They dropped a pair.
T1 if he's out there in the side lane.
Yep.
They very well could just pick it up.
Oh well.
Again, the real interesting thing is going to see.
Yeah, way easier if you
these side lane
use the
turns do end up
sword you're
going
supposed to
down,
use.
If they can still remain safe, then,
Yeah.
if they can actually still play the map then.
Did you make it through too?
Currently, we have plenty of
Yeah.
defenses to work with, so we can continue to farm
let's
here,
go.
trading farm back and forth.
Yeah, the first time I used 10 meat pies, and this time I used 2.5.
That's when the
Yeah.
true plays begin.
Looking.
Looking for the ultimate. Gumiushi
Good
forced
too.
the backstab, flashing
See if
away
my
from
thing
Peter's
went through in the
hook.
Grand Exchange.
Small
See if
advantage
my
to the side of
pan legs went
KT. But ultimately, KT doing what they can with the
What
six
up,
goals
yo?
of the mid lane. Do not want to concede that priority as Carrier just continues to lay down vision for Doran on the top side.
BDD currently at 116 stacks. Want to get to that break point of 1.
Yeah, Twitch is not
as soon
cooperating.
As humanly possible.
It wants me to
Currently,
schedule, and every time I would pick a
looking
date to
to be
schedule, it just
slightly
says,
behind the curve is
I don't know.
Dom caught out, Zenith blade there, the ulti just out of range. Crucially,
and the cancel there as well. Peter has his buddies back. Gets the ult onto Guma, but this might still be this Herald is. Oh,
T1's about to
perfect.
take
Doran on the way up.
a
The maiden
4P
summons.
on Worlds.
Doran though, he's got backup. Owner on the way in, locked once
they're
again
just
in the
killing him.
ultimate of Doran. But Perfect living for an extra
Final
second. The
game.
Q2 coming through just in time. KT want to punish, but they're a little bit too late.
Let's let him use the Grand Exchange now.
Again, the York is just food for T1. Guma's got to get
I wonder
out
if
of there, though.
they got all
He
your
has
quest
his
points you needed.
strut. Even though he doesn't have his flash,
I'm
he
only
can
at
walk
6.
away. Again, it is just so hard to play side
I'm gonna
lanes.
do that
Even
yet. I
with
need to.
towers there, T1 can still force it and still find a pick. KT, the consolation prize will be the Rift Herald, though.
No one can really catch this wave though. They don't want to use the
Is Root
zigzag.
here?
It looks like BDD
Yeah,
is going to make
he's
his way
coming
over
up right
now.
Plus, you're losing bottom side power there with Galio just up at the turret.
Yo.
Faker pushing on that
He
bottom
made
side
it.
tower with the power of the extra 2 Void Grubs. A little bit of extra
Let's
damage, a
Unequip
few more
that.
minions.
Throw that in the
Saving
bank.
grace for KT is that they
I'll go
have
back.
gotten a dragon.
Follow me.
That is often what can be the decider between Smolder hitting the 225, which thus far,
When are we going to? Are we
with
going to
Korean
beach
Worlds
just
has been
before
at
sunset?
22
We
minutes,
should probably go to the beach.
34
We're gonna go.
seconds on average.
I think he's going to cook some food, and then
Well ahead of schedule.
maybe after
BDD
that
still
or something.
comfortably farming despite kind of the
Okay, we
struggles
should.
of the team
The sun,
overall.
because sunset
Will be
starts
a
at
major
like
concern as we get
4:30.
later. As powerful as Smolder is, it's, it's not really Smolder. You still need to be able to
So if we leave in like
Doran's initial engage, survive
half
Owner's
hour?
initial engage, not get caught in those big taunts or wombo combos from Guma.
Yeah, the dream for this KT squad is to be able to poke with your zigs as
you
well
guys.
as your smolder once you get to your
I will
rapid
go to
fire.
the beach.
But what counters poke? It is hard engaged.
Owner.
Peter, though,
Aegis Assault still
We
there.
just finished the
Flashback
quest.
to the blast cone. Going to keep Owner standing, but likely means KT will be able to secure the second
I got Dill on here, too.
Meanwhile, in the mid lane, though, it's push in favor of T1, and we talked about
Oh.
Ziggs destroying towers,
Hey.
but Doran, with this trendy force, also will just eat through that objective.
Got a person
KT
on
splitting
chat.
their focus. Is it going to cost them? Faker.
What
Are you
is
on the
that?
Wall Witch's house yet?
Access to the ulti. T1 might just be a little bit late here. Cuz desperately needs to smite. Doesn't quite connect. Crucially, Doctum able to get out for a brief moment. BDD now trying to turn and fire back. But Faker is on the way. Ulti going in. Doran is down. BDD still standing. The exhaust managing to take him a little bit lower. But Gumayushi sits on the back line completely untouched. BDD finally able to start opening up. His owner gets one back in return. Perfect is here to keep his mid laner alive. And there you go. KT find an angle to keep it close.
That's 2 shutdowns for BDD. And they
Where
get
do you
the
start that
second
quest at,
dragon
bro?
as well.
this dragon could get huge. The Rift Node goes down mid immediately. That was just after a 2-for-2 trade. And the dragon already went
You guys
to
doing
KT.
another quest?
1.5k individual.
I've got a
lead.
guy in the
KT
stream
do not
chat
want
that's
to stick around
telling me
any
about a
longer.
quest.
Oh.
And we want to highlight again, this is not the smolder
It
of
skips
where
like
you hit
30
your stats,
attack
that's
and
it. You actually
strength
need your
levels
items.
from 1.
As we take another look, the attempted engage onto Doctom doesn't quite pan out. Guma pulls the trigger too early, and look at that ult from Cuz. CC's the AMF, and the damage isn't quite there.
And then, when the Gallia ultimate finally does come in, BDD and Doctum, they kite back here by the red buff. It's just that Owner goes in, he sees the angle to stun up Doctum, and go for another 1-for-1 trade.
Herald also dropped over the wall, I believe, just to give a safe
Says
exit
Witch's
if
Houses
needed.
gives a bunch of HP
KT,
levels.
Again, the gold lead was
Dude, that's
starting
sick. Thanks,
to
bro.
feel insurmountable,
We will-
but they brought it closer.
I'm looking through the little quest list right now to
BDD,
see if it shows the witch's
unfortunately
thing
for
in
him,
the
the
quest,
reality after that
but
fight is
are
as
you
well
saying
as
I
he
just
played,
need to
there
go
is now a
to the
target
witch's
on his
house
head.
and give you
But,
quest
yeah,
there?
I mean, fortunately for him, now he's also going to be way richer. So there's a target on your head. There's a wanted poster up for you. But you are rich. 2 items, and that rapid fire is what we were looking for. The poke
Witch's House is a
breakpoint
quest.
here for
Witch's House is a
KT.
quest. I just
They
clicked on
actually
it.
hit it fairly
Yep.
early. Being able to poke
Dude, it was
down
released
with
in
rapid
2002.
fire with the Ziggs, it puts even more pressure on
It's a newer
T1
quest than Demon
Normally,
Slayer.
the
Demon
counter
Slayer
to
was
poke
01.
damage is hard engage, but you can't
Dang.
mess it up.
There's also Ziggs, who, as disengage goes, really, are even able to, I think that's what Doctum tried to go for. You can interrupt
Okay,
the
yeah,
Pantheon,
you
like
said it's
mid-jump,
called
right? If you get the
Waterfall
timing right,
Quest slash Witch's
no
House.
defensive
So
or no offensive sets
you guys
for
wanna
Euro
do that
for
one now?
Doctum, because both him
Sure.
and BDD are going to be prime targets.
I think I'm going to make myself some dinner, but I might hop on later if you guys aren't at the beach.
In any way he can.
well,
As we
I
do
mean, it
see,
gets dark here at
KT
like
desperately want to hold
5,
on. With
so-
Otacon spawning, you want to hold on to the bot lane turret. Don't want to give that one up. And with the
I
wave
will
through
definitely
BDD
be
and
back on
Doctum,
too.
they
So I
should be
probably will
good
go to
to
the beach in a
go.
little bit
Galio's
and then
roaming.
hop back
Be
on and I'll
careful.
send
This
you a
is
text
2
when we're
item
in.
Camille, 2 item Doran.
Okay,
Guma as well.
Hey, buddy.
sounds good. Talk to you later.
Builds on both
See you
sides.
guys.
Otacon, the crucial objective. T1 hold on
Bye.
to 2,500 gold lead, but an Otacon surely would push it
Well, shoot,
over
do
the
I
top.
want to start
TP
this
into
quest
bottom lane from
first,
Doctum.
or
Has access to the ultimate.
I
The
mean,
flash
do you
is up
guys
for
wanna
everybody
go
on
to
the
the
side
beach?
of KT except for Cuz.
I'm down.
Are they going to send it? I feel like you kind of have to with the teleport being
you're down?
invested from Doctum there.
Yeah, I think
Saying
we
they
just got to
actually
cook
do
some
wanna
food
make a
before
real
we go, though. But,
commitment. Could get
He was just saying he wanted to
summoners
stream for a
out
minute.
of
oh.
T1, but it doesn't look
Or
like they
play
want
the
to take
game.
the
I think
gamble.
he's jealous we've been playing
Perfect
without
also
him.
about to be taunted. They have so much damage here.
Which I don't blame
Just
him.
reset the tower. Everybody is locked down for
Rune's
damn
fun, man.
time.
Yeah.
Untouchable for a brief moment, but they managed to kill it.
There's just always a progression level, right? You're always increasing something.
Redemption as he survives.
Xander, how long have you been playing
But she will
RuneScape?
not connect.
The dark procession from Perfect. It got them so much, and now they're opening to get the tower.
All right,
the
bro.
extra gold
Thanks for
as
watching.
well. KT.
Drop me a sub
They're
too if you don't
striking back.
mind.
And it keeps the gold lead within touching distance. It further accelerates BDD. And this game 5 just keeps on delivering. Have to try their best. D1 does to maintain
Look at that. We got
this
people
momentum,
coming in for the
but
stream.
they're
That's
not
sick.
even
Nice
close
job, dude.
To a break point on the Dragons. As Kuma is just taking matters
Oh, he
into
said
his own
beach
hands.
tomorrow.
Doctum, no ulti available.
can't-
Decent poke.
This is.
Owner Faker here. The
I think
TP
they
I
get
could
this.
beach tomorrow. This
T1
is my
making the
job.
fast play happen. KT caught reeling, too far behind on tempo. Doran might have fallen in the previous play, but he is still damn powerful. Doctum here. T1 pushing them back. It'll take a miracle for them to get this one out. Owner, Peter coming in for the lockup, but Owner manages to get the objective. The fight coming out. Fire rained over the wall.
I will. I'm going to do one more cycle of mining, smithing, and then I'll go start it.
In the meantime, he needs a little bit more space. Doctom, BDD untouched, but the front line has fallen. BDD, CC'd, knocked into the sky, and right back into the grave. T1, get Otacon, and ace KT. A triple kill for Guma and T1. Do it! They take over!
And that could very well be the nail in the coffin for the roller coaster. As Otacon goes the way of T1. KT overplay their hand, and the Dragon is going to follow suit.
Ultimately, you look back at this, an excellent window of opportunity recognized by T1, a team notorious for forcing early objectives.
The last day I need to sign up.
And it
We just
all
started playing this
falls apart
yesterday.
for KT. The backline lives for far longer than expected, but T1 are just more powerful.
They kite back so effectively and then call for the re-engage after they already have the advantage. Owner ulting behind to make sure there's no escape for Doctom.
And there, it's the call
What
for
up, Mr.
KT
Go?
is to try their best and
Hey.
force a fight because the resistances for T1 are
Yo,
shredded.
he made
But
it.
Peter just overextends, right? Just walks to his death. Then Cuz tries to hard force, and that desperation now feels apt. Because for KT, this is a almost 6K goal deficit, and you can hit the 225 on BDD, but that alone is not going to be enough anymore.
And good stuff from Guma, it has to be said. The Unara game was not good, but the bounce back here in this game 5, the bounce back in the Callista game to really take over. This man,
so far?
again, unfazed by the pressure placed upon him. 3,000
What do we
what? Lead. He conceded his
What have you
mid
guys
early.
done so
He was willing to see the Ziggs on the other side, and now the MF,
Mainly
who's
just
been
that
so
one
late in the
quest.
draft, is doing
What's
so
the
much
quest?
work.
There's a bottom side play at the moment. Cuz was kind of pinging and looking for a possible play onto Faker, but
that-
Faker backs off.
What was
He
it called?
has the
Demon Slayer?
sense he's not going to become a liability. And it's T1.
Oh, you guys
who
did
start up the
Demon?
Otacon to
That's
try
a
and
long
draw
one, huh?
KT into that
No, it's
fight.
pretty quick.
They kite back through the tri-bush very nicely.
I mean, it
you
felt
playing-
long.
It's in these moments, these
Are you
big
playing old
moments.
school RuneScape
Game
or
5,
Yeah.
all the pressure on
new
the
one?
entire world
Xander
watching.
was
Same
saying
world?
it's a members zone quest,
T1
so that
claim a
which is
huge advantage
quest
in
is
the
a
game,
members
but
zone
it's
quest.
not
but
over
he said he can
yet.
bond me if I
No,
want
it's
to log
certainly
in on
not.
my
No flash
RS3.
on Guma after the previous fight. No flash on Faker.
that
Dorn
mean?
has access to his as well as the Hextech
That's a-
ultimatum.
that's a free
BDD
month
completing
membership.
That third item. 4 stacks away from that crucial 225
Bond.
schedule.
Xander, that's sick.
Behind schedule now
I'm down.
from the tournament most impressive moments as he was delayed by T1.
Very nice of him.
And KT,
Oh, yeah.
the luxury is that they have dragons, so they don't need to be
What are
forced into a
bonds
fight.
nowadays?
The unfortunate
How much do
reality,
they
though,
cost?
is that in 20 seconds, T1 is going to start there.
Uh,
It is inevitable at this
That's the
point.
case.
And Shadow Flame's done for Doctom. Third item for BDD plus the
More of a
breakpoint, but they're going to have to
rhetorical
find a miracle
question 'cause I
fight
know
to
you
stay
guys
in this
don't
game,
know.
because if they lose,
Let
this
me
one's
Google it,
over.
though.
And the reason you start that Baron is to
That's my
draw
username.
KT out in the open, so they can actually find the engage onto BDD. The hope there.
No,
He has
I think
flash on
he has to, like,
Smolder.
give
He
you
may
the
be
bond,
one with a gold lead,
if
He
I remember
may be
correctly,
the
or
one
enough
with 3
gold
items
for you to
on
buy the bond or
KT.
something,
but T1 have so many weapons looking
and then
to kill
like you
that
can't just gift
Smolder.
it to your username.
Feels so difficult
That
now
makes
for
sense.
KT. Feels like they're forced
Wait,
on
I
the
was
back
thinking
foot.
so we could be friends too.
T1 don't overplay their
I
hand.
see, yeah.
KT always forced to respond for T1.
No, your guys' relationship is only transactional.
Once again,
Okay,
2015,
I'm just
2016,
kidding.
2017 they were denying the three-peat from Faker.
Okay.
But now this
Well, I
lineup,
guess you guys don't need
subbing in
bronze
this
stuff
year
anymore, huh?
On the cusp of
No.
making history.
I made so much bronze stuff.
And it's Dorn
Hey,
again,
me
who's
too.
been the
Yes.
center of attention in this crucial
Oh,
game.
really?
Won the
Oh, I'm doing it
community
right
Then,
now. I'm
uh,
doing it right now.
3.5K
Are you smithing or what are you
individual
doing?
Yeah,
lead, 7,000
smithing,
gold
smelting,
for
both.
T1. The Baron started
Nice.
as
What level are
expected.
you? As
KT,
far as that goes.
dire straits. Faker
13.
brings it back.
Oh, dang,
Wants to
you're
turn
almost
with
caught
the
up to me.
taunt.
I'm
Initial
on
lockup
the
from
18.
Carrier is good.
Nice.
Doctom laying down a bit of poke, and he's going to be
Little
able to
baby.
satchel out, but an immediate flash follow. Coming in from Owner. T1 don't even need the objective. They're
Xander, do you want me to home teleport?
On the top side of the fight,
That's
they've
sweet.
isolated
Or
BDD.
else we go
He's
deep.
continuing to fight. He wants to turn it back.
Now I'm 14.
Gets the kill. Adora
Xander was saying we should go to the beach tomorrow, so he can play with us.
What? Oh, haha, gotcha.
Alright, I'll home teleport to Lumbridge.
But T1 are still pinging towards the objective.
There's no way with Smolder alive. I don't think you
All
can
this
get away
bronze
with
stuff is
it.
selling pretty
And
easy.
yes, they get Doctor.
I'm pretty sure I lost a bunch of money on
But
this.
all that KT wanted
On
to
the
do
way,
is
Xander.
stall. Carrier
Bronze
engaged
does
on
sell,
the
does
mark
it? All of it, or
immediately,
what are you
Doctor
selling
stalls for a
specifically?
good amount of time.
all of like I mean I've been
Take him down, but it's an
discounting it in the
overextension
Grand
on the flip
Exchange by
side.
5%,
T1 are
but
just too
everything
split.
does seem
They
to
go
sell.
under tower.
But I think you
Doran
lose
can
money on it. Like I think it makes sense to sell the bars.
So does the membership work on
KT
old
needed
school
a
RuneScape
miracle.
too?
T1
I
split
think
their
if you,
focus, split their
I could be
attention, and
wrong, but I
cost
think
them
if you
dearly.
get it on
Is
one, I
again
think it works
all
to the other one
eyes
too.
on
But
BDD because who else
not
could
the
it
expert
be?
here.
3,000 individual gold lead has crossed the stack threshold. He is
Yes,
the
it
threat
does.
that T1 must reckon with
Okay,
in the
so I
fights
was
to
right.
come. Even with
120
the massive
million
lead they still hold.
current
Now
He has
sick.
flash to play with. The
current
ability to outplay.
bond price is
And, I don't want to be
157
disingenuous.
million
It has not
on
been the story of this Worlds, but it has been the
RS3.
story of this year for KT. This gold graph
A lot
right
of
here is
money.
something that any KT
Or feels like a lot
fan
of money, maybe it's not.
has watched
Inflation?
throughout,
I don't
and
know.
when all is on the line,
Xander,
it
where
might
do I
have to
see
be
my
BDD that
world
carries him
on
over again. I'm
Okay,
looking
Brian,
for
if you
it.
make
Doesn't have
square
flash, but
shields,
he
they
can
don't
get
they
no
don't
to BDD.
Oh,
sell.
That could be
Oh,
enough.
gotcha.
I wish I could see your screen so you could show me.
But it looks like they're going to do so.
All right.
anyway.
I'm down to meet up and do the
They
witch's
need to have
quest.
focus this time around. Last
Oh.
fight, they went
Do I
for
need to
two
have a-
angles at once, and they paid
Wait,
the
we
price.
did witch's potion.
Flanks coming in. T1 entire top side missing flash, that crucial cooldown, but
What,
their
wait,
ultis will
what
be there.
witch's quest?
3 seconds on Doran.
Or
Members
Witch's
quest?
House.
The
No,
other
it's
player to
called
keep your eye
Witch's
on as
House.
well. The ulti can do a lot of work. Doran going in, doesn't connect hookshot wall dive, immediately CC'd. Exhaust coming in
That
as
is
well. Come over the top from Goma.
That is a members quest.
Exhaust is carrying, moves his way to the backline. Faker rains down from the sky. Locks up BDD and obliterates the hope.
Top rope. Okay, I see. Thanks, bro.
So Witch's House, we need to. I can start this quest by talking to the boy on the
Are you a
path.
member, Brian?
No.
You
I'm
have
in
to be a
world
member.
3.
Requirements none. Recommendations
but-
combat level 35.
Yeah, but it's in the members section. Look in the quest list.
Yeah, I'm on world 3.
Oh, wait, maybe it's a mini quest? No.
I don't see it saying anything about a member.
Scroll up to the top. See, it's gonna say all the way to the top.
Oh, right. Yeah, you're right.
Xander, what world do you want me to go to?
Well, then what do you want to do instead of that?
We can do something. We can,
They're not wasting any time here.
9,000 gold. See what they can
I'll
do
just
with
stay in
Red
World
Bull
3.
Baron
Gotcha.
power play.
I would love to do
KT. They dug
Dragon
deep on the
Slayer,
top
but we
side,
need
punished
we need
T1 for
32
splitting their
quest
focus,
points to
but
do
in that
that.
last fight, you can see that
And
even
then
I'm just
combat
gonna go
level
to this side of the
35.
building here.
Guma still demands that respect.
Then how do I add you as a friend on here?
Yeah, I'm not even close. I'm at 6.
A game. What a
Oh,
series.
it's just the little smiley
is
face
dead,
icon at the bottom.
And T1 will clean
I'm
up
on
Red Dragon as
RS3.
well. The leftovers.
Oh,
Tasty snack for T1.
dang, son.
For KT, the
I guess
item
we're switching to
finishes
RS3, huh?
few and far between. A couple of components for
What level are
Dom.
you on RS3?
But we get into the point where I don't even know if they have the damage, even if they're able to absorb that initial engage. I think BDD might be able to get his IE. T1 though, they're looking to secure their third World Finals win in a row.
You
They
know,
don't want to give
combat
BDD the
level, I
time to
mean.
get that Infinity Edge.
That's
KT
it.
don't have
I'm
the
looking
luxury
for
of
it.
defensive
I'm
items either
25.
It's in
for their
It's
key
in combat
carries.
options.
Redemption,
It's in the
really
same
all they
spot.
have to protect Doc
On
Dom.
RS3?
And BDD,
I think so.
Baker solo pushing in the mid lane.
Unless you don't, you can turn on Legacy mode and it will feel the
next.
same as old school RuneScape
Doran
if you want.
really cannot be contested by anything more than the entire
for, like,
force
ease
of
of
KT.
use.
And T1 just have so many forms of engage. Even with Doran getting stuffed in the last one, Carria finding
I
those
guess I'll
KT
switch to
carries
RS3. Here we go.
and allowing T1
Is this
to
you,
take
Xander?
them down. There's just too many weapons and the map is too open now. KT are boxed into their own territory.
Yeah,
A
okay.
comeback at this stage.
Cool, I added you as
Game
a friend.
5 of the World Finals would likely be the greatest we have ever seen in the history of the sport. 10,000 gold advantage for T1.
Hey,
They are
Russian
on
boy has
full
logged
points.
on.
They are so far
Wishes
ahead
to
in
trade with
every
me.
measurable metric. But the execution from KT, the potential,
Accept.
the tiniest glimmer of hope still lives on as long as their Nexus stands.
And all's on the line. T1.
Okay,
They
sick.
can smell the weakness. 11k gold now. The Baron siege continues.
Very loud.
And they will not be denied unless KT pull out an absolute miracle. I think we're seeing Owner looking for an ult angle, sitting in that jungle.
Very
but
loud.
even with the wave clear of Ziggs and Smolder,
Which one do I do, Xander?
it's tough to hold on.
Doran looking to get things kicked off. Hookshot wall that brings him over. He's taking the tower already. Flash back to get away from Cuz's ultimate. And the ulti manages to connect from Doc Dom. A big fumble. Not enough to get T1 back into full control of the game because there are no objectives on the map, but it will slow down the onslaught of T1. It will give KT a bigger glimmer of hope.
There is a light at the end of the tunnel. KT, they buy some more time.
Will be the end for now of the push.
The
But it
14
doesn't
day.
make a dent. If they can get a team fight off that, bag themselves a bunch of shutdowns, it could have been something. At least they only lost a single in it.
I think I only got
That's
one.
something. And
Confirm.
Cloud Soul going over makes the game very hard to play out, but that could have been, it could have been worse. You know,
Loading. Thank you, sir. This is sick.
I'm normally great at finding angles.
Doran's going on some fun journeys.
Yeah, you know, normally we talk about not getting excited for KT. We're way past that.
Heck yeah,
Fun.
thanks, bro.
But Doran
That's dope.
might have to
Now I
chill
met a
little
friend,
bit.
too.
He's a player, though, that you have to love in these moments.
You do.
The Krug Lord. You have to embrace it. You have to
I guess
laugh
I haven't been
with
on here
him
in so long.
It's very true.
and at him.
Oh
And
man, we
fight
gotta make
fumbles.
some
All the
money.
fights that have gone well from the side of T1 have involved Doran in some way or another. Guma also the backup point. That MF ult, 4.5 items for Guma means it's still a terrifying threat. And KT will need to make a stand.
It's so hard though, because like, who do you actually focus? There's Faker, who has stopwatch. Galio is just naturally tanky, level 18 as well. It is just Guma, right? Like that's the only one, but he
I
has
have
not been in a
99
position
attack
for
on
you
this
to
account.
engage on.
You could engage on Doran, maybe.
Well, okay, in a scenario
Brent, are
where
you
Doran's
logging
with
into
the rest of
RS3?
the team,
No.
I feel like you should be able to Camille of hook shot and I know what we've been
Darn.
witnessing.
100%
Okay, but I mean,
value.
in a theoretical world where that doesn't happen,
Summoning
CD ward there.
78. Maybe we do
Mid
something.
lane, well highlighted by our observers, potential
Although-
for flank. Perfect in BDD as well as Doc Dom do have access to that.
Brian, you're the one
TP,
that said
although
you
I
like
imagine only
dungeoneering,
Perfect
right?
will be looking to make the flank.
And I do seem to recall.
Yeah.
I was in a I
have
cast a
some
6 game.
dungeoneering.
I think this was
down
Hanwha, and that one did go to
I think
60
you can do it
minutes.
off Members World because
I'm
I've been
just
doing.
saying,
I'm
we
leveling
might
it up
only
off
be
Members
halfway
World.
there. You know, we don't know.
That's cool.
Is it likely? No.
Did you want to go to a different
But
world,
it
Xander?
could happen again. But no, 2 times in a row.
Yes, now back to the quest.
Now.
Yeah.
All right, 25 minutes away, 26 minutes away from a 60-minute game.
All they need is to get a, actually see the lines. So you steal with Doc Dom's ult, the Baron. That gives you the stall.
I kind of like the
and then
graphics
you
in
flip
RS3
Elder
better.
and
I
you
guess
win.
I could relaunch into old school RuneScape though
Well,
and have the
good news
membership
for
still.
KT is, aside from that pipe dream, they do
Are
have
you,
Seekers on
Rue,
this
are you guys playing on
aside from
RS3 now?
Blinding optimism.
I logged in just
But now
to
they have to face
see
check
what's
into the
going on
darkness.
in
They
here.
see Dorn in the mid lane at the very least. They see Faker. But again, if they overcommit to this play, double
Yeah.
TPs are there. Owner
So,
semi-global
yeah, I
is
guess
there.
yes
They could
is
just
the
look to
answer.
end. So Perfect has been called back as T1 looks set to get the soul.
And T1 also have the luxury. They could just look for the fight if they wanted to.
Owner
Okay.
takes the soul.
I have a bunch of member stuff that I
Stuck
can't
around a little
use,
bit
which
too
really
long, and now
sucks.
T1 empowered. Going to be that much faster, have that much more access to their ultimates.
Xander, how old are you, if you don't mind me asking?
Faker, Dorn, or Owner, now that they have a Cloud Soul empowering them.
700 years old.
We're about
He's a
to
wizard.
know whether the series will continue, whether the 60-minute dream stays alive, because GA's there for Owner. Guma has his sums available.
Oh shit, you're the same age as we are,
We're
bro.
gonna need to see a beautiful engage as Doc Dom
Well,
just
I'll
lit
be
his
I'll be
third eye
30 in
with
January.
BDD with a stopwatch and a dream,
Old.
wanting
Yep.
to keep that goal
already
of
there.
Says
making
you.
the world
I
final
know.
win a reality, but
Oops. Just
I
raised
think you
myself.
guys are justifiably calling me out. It still doesn't.
Oh,
really
you're
feel
January
that
8th, I'm
likely.
January 18th.
Yeah, we
You're
did,
10
it
days
did
older
feel
than
like
me,
we
bro.
were
Dang.
when T1 split their attention.
What are
That's
the odds?
true.
BDD was able to find the kill, so it's not over till it's
That's
over.
crazy.
But now with the Baron spawning, relatively even setup, but again, it's the waves in favor of T1 that make this so hard. As immediately they're going to kick things off by going in on Cuz. Taking away the
combat
Frost Armor passive.
level-
Lockdown from Carrier is there. TP in from Doran as well. Ulti's going across
Okay,
the
I'm
board.
combat
BDD
level
caught off the side. A good
121.
flash to take him out, and Guma has to be careful, but he's so damn fast. Owner, the lock up BDD. He goes
Guess I
gold
should
in an
find
extra
some
2.5
things I could
seconds
kill
to consider
that
what
drop
went
good
wrong as T1
stuff.
looks set to end it all.
They're gonna finish the
I
job.
was doing
It is
dungeoneering runs, but it
Doran
wasn't
and
really good
Peter
money.
left alone in the mid
Dude, yeah, I'll be a
lane.
part of an RS3 clan.
T1 will ace them.
T1 earning their legacy again and again and again. There can be no doubting it. 4 players on the Rift today, making the impossible possible. Owner, Faker, Gumayushi, Carrier, and
Sick.
Champions! And the disbelief on his face! A teammate that so many have praised over the long
You have an item
years.
equipped that prevents you from attacking?
Domestically, he's always
What
been
do you
able to
mean?
show it. As T1 find
You
the
sure?
three-peat.
Wait, I can't attack with the...
An unrivaled dynasty
Boo. This is a members...
here has just been made. The three-peat is real.
Sounds good, sounds good.
A team that when they found despair in
I don't even know what
2022
things are
against
members and
DRX,
nothing.
took it to heart and have come every single world back to the finals.
Change of plans.
Back to this trophy. KT
This has to be members.
had an incredible run.
Rune,
But
two-hand
against
sword. Okay,
T1,
that's
Is that a
not members.
quest, Xander?
It just feels impossible. A team that even in the face of bad games, even in the face of match point after game 3,
Can
did
wield
not
that.
falter for even a moment.
Booyah.
It's KT's run, it has to be respected.
Alright, let's get some
Hearts
tunes
out
going.
now to the players on stage.
Huge
Is
respect.
it members
what
quest?
a run this roster has had.
New foundations.
Here
Okay, I see it.
now we check out the trophy ceremony presented
So,
by
okay, now I see the
Mercedes-Benz.
little icons popping up.
For these players in front of this, and again, this is T1 to its core.
I'll follow
right? There
you,
is no arena,
Xander.
there is no stadium where they do not feel at home.
Dude, that sword you have is sick. And your armor.
Barely believes it. Faker
What level is
giving
he?
him the shoulder taps.
Oh, I got stuck behind the
As
bridge. Wait!
T1
I hate how
shows
that
us
happens.
again and again and again, as you highlighted, Dracos. Why
Okay,
this
now I'm
is
good.
the greatest team in the world.
What level is he, Oz?
Chengdu
140.
Oh, dang. So, isn't that max?
Slowed stone
T1
unlocks
wait a
under
moment
spells.
To lift the trophy together as 5. Doran, the latest addition to win his first title. The
Yeah,
remaining
spells.
4, their 3rd consecutive. T1 world champions once again.
Oh. There you go, Xander. I'm still
They did
new
it
to
as the
RS3.
fourth seed.
So,
Again, they had to
it's
play
been
in the
like
play-in.
15
The
years
newly
since I've played
created
RuneScape, other than the
play-in
last 2 days.
elimination right at the beginning of the tournament was faced.
Need a refresher
Oh,
course
man,
here.
Doran lifting that trophy after all was said and done. As Doran is or Oda rather, is flexing. One-handed lift as the GOAT in the second prime of his career does it again.
Thanks, Xander. Guys, we got a pro teaching me over here.
Nice.
Seemingly making a science out of
All right, you're gonna have to
performing when it
download or
matters most.
upload all that
Regardless of the
information to me
story of
after.
the LCK,
Okay, following you,
the
Xander.
regular seasons or playoffs, at Worlds, T1 always find their peak, always find their form, and now are embraced by the staff.
My
that
guy has
supported
the
them for
slowest walk
entire
ever.
year.
Koma, Tom, Mata, all coming in, hugging their players. And Koma, he's been there for so many, but you can see they still hit real good as he runs up to his team.
Top right of minimap.
Wow. How long will this version last?
Okay, I think it's
How
on.
far can this core of players go?
And I mean, again, the series, the context of
Yeah.
the match point of one of the most dominant game fours we've seen into the game 5, where even when there were small fumbles, they got right back on course.
Dude,
T1
yeah, your armor's
indomitable.
dope. That's sword too? What the heck?
You can examine. If you examine the character, Oz,
Mm-hmm.
it shows you like what they're carrying and all that stuff.
And a reminder that this was the year where people started
it's
to doubt
called.
a little. 2 losses, a close best of 5 against AL. The T1 always find a way, always find their form.
There's a treasure hunter interface.
Let's send it down to the stage for an interview.
저도
首先，我们请到的是教练光马来到我的身边。在今天 T1 完成了英雄联盟历史上可以说是空前的壮举，也就是全球总决赛3连冠。他们时隔8年，谢谢所有的召唤师。时隔8年之后 ，T1 再度挑战成功。作为带领队伍一路走到这里的人，
Will you ask him if
他
it's
现在的
easier to
心情
level
应
up
该
in
也是感慨
RS3
万千
than
的。我
old
们来
school
问一下，
RuneScape?
此时此刻感受又是如何的呢？对，먼저 꼬마 감독님.
He can hear you.
I'm sure. Yeah, he can hear you.
네, 감사합니다.
Oh.
Congratulations.
感谢各位。那我们来问
Yeah,
一
you
下
come through. We all come through each other's chats.
T1이 거의 전무후무한
Or
성취를
voice, what comms, whatever you want to call it.
바로 롤드컵 우승
With this victory, has achieved the World's three-peat. Congratulations one more time.
T1과 같이 뛰면서 여기까지 올라왔는데요. 기분이 어떻게 되실지.
How are you feeling right now?
일단 여기까지 오게 된 건 너무나 좋은 선수들과 스태프들 때문에 여기까지 왔다고 생각하고 있고요. 또 이런 인터뷰 자리까지 또 선수들과 코칭 스태프들이 만들어줘서 일단 선수들과 스태프들에게 너무 감사하고 고맙다는 마음이 가장 큰 것 같습니다. 그리고 정말 힘든 순간도 많았는데 마지막까지 선수들과 스태프들이 포기하지 않고 이렇게 최선을 다해줘서 너무 고맙습니다. 그리고 또 그렇게 될 수 있던 계기는 팬분들이
how much was the bond? 150 mil?
티원을 믿고 응원해 주셔서
He
이런
gifted it
결과가
to me.
나왔다고 생각합니다. 다시 한번
okay.
저희 선수들, 스태프들, 팬분들에게 진심으로 감사드립니다.
好，首先是
I am
my
very,
most
very
expensive
grateful right
能够走到这里，
now.
站到这一方舞台，
It's
Item is that I
all
can just
thanks
sell
to
to get a
our
bond.
excellent players, our coaching staff, the staff member that works for the team. I'm able to do this interview with them because of their hard work. There are a lot of hard moments throughout the year, but we have never given up a single moment because we all tried our best until the very end. We were able to make it happen. Thank you so much for working so hard for this moment, and I want to add that it was possible because our
I don't think I
fans
did that right.
believed in us until the very last moment. So for one more time, I would like to send my gratitude over to
Okay,
the
I
players,
see.
the staff members, and to the fans. Thank you very much.
以及所有的 T1 的粉丝们再次表达衷心的谢
Silver Hot
意，
boots
谢
free.
谢。
Let's go! I look fast.
当然，
Okay,
每年其
now
实到
just
了
quit
世界
those.
赛，好像大家都会开始讨论一个问题：为什么世界赛的 T1 就是这么不一样？那在教练的眼中，是否真的存在这样的一个小小契机，让每年 T1 的世界赛
Okay,
就是这么的
following you.
强势呢？ 저희가 항상 이런 토론을 듣는 것
We
같습니다.
have this debate every year.
T1이 완전
World's
yeah.
T1 is a complete different team.
Alright, Xander, what should I
Your
use the lamps on?
perspective as a head coach, do you also believe that T1 tends to change when they're
I
at
don't remember what I
Worlds?
had this character set as.
선수단 전체가 조금 더 집중력이 더 올라간다는 거를 좀 저도
Just a
느끼는
regular
것
sword
같긴 해요.
guy.
确实啊，确有
So
其
when
事，感觉好像
we're
到了
at
世界
Worlds,
赛
I
的时
can
候，
feel and
他
tell
的一个
that
集中
every
力
player,
更加提
their
高了，这
focus
一点好像是
level
我每次
goes
到
even
世界赛的时
higher
候
and
明
up
显能够感
at
觉到的一
Worlds.
点。
The
那现在马上
concentration
Yeah,
is
look at my
even
stats here.
他的
stronger.
另一侧也有现在跟选
Neck
手
throw?
们站在了一起，来看看他有什么样的问题想跟大家一起来分享。好的，感谢熙然，全场让我们再次的呼喊 T1。所有的人都在高声呼喊着你们的名字，而在我们场馆所有的星光当中，我们的多兰选手也终于摘得了那一
What's
颗
that do?
属于自己的星星。其实我觉得你们一路走来，真的是一步一步在书写着属于自己的故事，属于自己的传奇。我相信此刻的你应该是
Should I do
思
them
绪
all
万
on
千。
Necro?
想问一下，这一次的全球总决赛胜利
It's a new
对你来
combat
讲
style.
意味
Okay,
着
that's
什么
sick.？
而在此刻又有哪些思绪想和所有的朋友们分享呢？投篮선수胜利축하드립니다.
Easiest to learn is the best. Okay, I'm gonna use all my smoldering lamps on that then.
자기만의 이야기를
Step
쓰고
by
계시네요.
step, you have
사실
been
도란
writing
선수도
your
이
own
부분에서
story.
자기의 소중한 별을
And
따오고
now
이렇게
you have
Send it.
added a precious
가져오셨습니다.
star
소감이
to the
남다를 것
T1 jersey, to
같은데
the
지금
T1 logo.
하고 싶은 말씀이 있으신지 또
What
이
does this
승리를
victory
도란
mean to
선수에게
you?
어떤
And
의미를
how are you
가지고
feeling
있으신지
right now?
묻겠습니다.
네.
Oh, it isn't affected by the combat triangle. That's sick. Finger of Death
네,
is an ability to deal
데뷔 6년
severe
만에
damage, requires
이렇게
adrenaline to cast.
꿈을 이루게 돼서 너무 행복하고 또 되게
Okay,
좋은
that's
기회
sick.
잘 잡은 것 같아서 너무 행복하고요.
Okay, what tab is this in?
네, 괜찮아요. 천천히.
이번 우승이 끝이 아닌
Okay.
제 도란이란 드라마의 시작점이 되길 원하면서 승리를 만끽하겠습니다.
Okay, I will stop with the lamps and follow you so we can make it to where we're going.
I finally made my dream come true. I am very happy that I managed to grab the opportunity
Ready to go, Captain.
that was given to me. But I want to say,
Bro,
I hope this is
just a little bug following you. That's cool.
This title is not the end of my story. With this championship, I hope the story of Doran, the Doran's own drama, starts now. And with that thing in mind, I hope I can enjoy every moment of this victory.
和队伍们一起，你们创造着属于自己的奇迹。那么与此同时，当然了，对于 T1 的队员们，他们一定有更多的话想和大家分享。接下来把时间交还给熙然。谢谢夏安。那现在来到我身边的是 T1 的中单选手 Faker。当然少不了还是让他跟大家打个招呼。对。
Congratulations on the win. How do you feel? Would you like to say hi to the fans?
欢迎 Faker。其实，在决赛之前，很多人都在讨论本届全球总决赛对于 Faker 选手的价值与意义。是连续4年进军到全球总决赛的决赛，也是本人的第6座冠军的挑战机会。同时，
Do they have the lodestones in
完成
old school
全球
RuneScape?
总决赛3连冠的这样的一个契机。但这些都是我们的眼里所看到的一些数据。那想问问，在 Faker 选手眼里，他本人对于这一次的全球总决赛决赛是怎样看待的呢？ 결승 전에 사실 이번 대회는 여러 기록이 결리고 있는 것 같습니다.
This finals had so many records on the line. 4 times back-to-back Worlds finals for you.
Okay. Oh, whoa. I just have 33 mil just sitting in the Grand Exchange. Oopsie.
Damn.
Well, this is only based on our
Not even enough to buy.
What was
It's not even enough to buy a bond, though. I found out, yeah, it's 155 mil.
그리고 KT가 워낙 또 오늘 잘하는 모습을 많이 보여줘가지고 좋은 경기를 했다는 게 중요하고 뭐 우승을 저희가 하기는 했지만 같이 경기해준 KT한테 저는 더 좀 감사함을 보내고 싶습니다.
因为其实比起所有的这些成就或者说记录的话
numbers were not on the line for me. I am very happy and satisfied with the fact that I was able to have a blast in the games today. And today, KT was able to put up a great performance, and together we were able to make such a great game, and that's what matters to me. We did win the title in the end, but I want to send my gratitude over to KT Roaster for making such a great games together.
I need to get some better weapons in this.
现在6冠加身，他也是依旧英雄联盟最高的山，他依旧屹立不倒，他也是英雄联盟最长的河，他依旧奔流不息。所以最后，我也想让他代替 T1 的所有选手们跟所有的粉丝们来说一句话吧。네, 다시 한번 우승 축하드리고요. 혹시 마지막으로
Congratulations one more time on the win, on the title. Before we go, anything would you like to say to the fans who has been supporting you?
오늘 또 이렇게 큰 무대에서 여러분들 앞에서 경기할 수 있어서 너무 좋았고요. 앞으로도 파이팅 하겠습니다.
Trying to see if anyone has enough GP in the
I thank every single one of you, and
Grand
I was
Exchange
really
to give
happy
me
and
for a
grateful that I
bond.
was able to deliver this
Let's see,
game
let's see.
on such a big stage in front of everyone.
Some guy has like 8 billion gold.
Bro.
是的，与此同时，我们真的
Xander, that's a lot of gold, man.
每一位选手都在今夜铸造了属于自己的传奇。现场的朋友们，
It's like all my money if I
Dude,
spend it
thank
on
you.
it.
What the heck?
当然了，在此刻，我们也要把所有的聚光灯聚焦于一位选手之上。
All right, Xander, I'm following you. Guys, he just gave me. I should put that in the bank first.
Yeah.
Okay, let me throw this in the bank first, cause
You can just give it
if
to
I
me. That'd be
die,
fine. I'll hold on to it.
well, he just gave me 10 million gold, so.
Nice. Portable. What do I want to work on? Cooking. Cooking's 93.
Okay, I'm wearing the ring. Xander, where'd you go? Oh, I see you're over here.
Oh, I have to have food for this? Wait. No, I don't. Oh, you have. Oh, I have to do members? Boo. Oh, no, you don't. Wait. Tits. Tits. That was a waste. Can I pick it up? No, I cannot. Why did I do that? Okay. It's all good. It's all good. I make mistakes, you know? What is a necronium bar?
So Xander, I put the money in the bank. Is that okay, or am I gonna need it with me?
You can inventory it. Like, it doesn't take up a slot in RS3.
It doesn't take a slot. He gave me 10 or 100 million.
Whoa, what?
What a guy.
Yeah.
Way to be.
This guy's friend for life here.
Hashtag boosting.
Does he need more friends?
Okay, following. Thanks, bro, dude. I don't even know what I want to, like, use 10 million or 100 million on. I can't talk. That's unfathomable to me.
1 mil. That's okay, reserve ring? Okay, that's for 7 mil. Oh, it's a member item though.
Please give it up for the Open Finals MVP.
Cinder core.
那接下来我们也和我们的 FMVP 选手来进行一个简单的采访。
Man, all my stuff is meant
获得了 OPPO
members.
FMVP。其实每一场比赛，我们都觉得 Gumayushi 总是那个能够 carry 队伍的永远稳定的射手路。而且我们觉得 Gumayushi 选手之前的时候也有说过，其实比起胜负，好像去享受游戏，做好自己才是最重要的。那现在获得了 OPPO FMVP， 有什么样的心情？今天在舞台上
Bandos is not even worth anything anymore? Yikes.
MVP 받는 축하드립니다.
Wow.
Congratulations on winning the finals MVP as well. Gumayushi, in the
What's like
previous
good armor
interview,
then?
you mentioned that instead of the victory, instead of the competition, you
I
said you were
remember
just
Bandos
very
used to be worth so
grateful to
much.
be able to
Like tens of
play
millions.
on stage. How do you feel about the win today, and how do you feel about winning the finals MVP?
Please tell me this is not members. Oh, of course it is. No, of course it is. That, yep, makes sense. Makes sense to me.
Alright, what do I do with these feathers?
Also members. Dragon.
Oh.
Okay.
일단은
Dragon plate
너무
legs.
꿈만 같고요. 오늘
Worth
이렇게
nothing.
파임 받을 수 있을 거라고
Four of a
생각
full helm. What is
못했는데
that worth?
파임에 선정해 주셔서 너무 감사드리고.
Doesn't tell me.
사실 올해는 저에게 되게 힘든 해였습니다. 항상 이제 증명의 아이콘으로 매 해마다 증명을 했었는데 이번에 증명이 좀 다른 점이 있다면은 제 자신에게 저를 증명하는 한 해였다고 생각을 하거든요. 그래가지고 지금은 저에게 증명해냈고 제가 세계 최고 원딜이라고
Yeah, I talked to the people in here, and they said that there's not really like any good money-making methods in a non-members world. Like, there's no good bosses to fight.
It feels like a dream. I did not expect this at
Kind
all.
of sucks.
Thank you
It might
so
be
much
worth
for
upgrading
voting
the
me
membership
for the
then.
Oppo Finals MVP. This year, was very difficult for me. Every year was full of
Yeah.
challenges, and I always had to prove myself. You know, I have been the icon of being someone who always has to prove, but this year was
Can I find
very
anything
different
worth
because
of value that I
finally
can sell
I feel like I have
in a
proven
non-member's
myself
world?
to myself.
But it
And
doesn't
I
seem
am
like
really
I
happy
have anything
that
like
I
that.
was able to prove who I
Amulet
am
of
to
Fury, I think
myself,
that's also
and
members.
I
Yeah,
can
it's
say
only
for
worth a
sure that
mil.
I am the best AD carry in the world.
Ahí está.
Oh, that's sick.
当然了，现在这个瞬间，
Luck of
你
the
的队友
Dwarves.
们也在你的身边一起
54 mil.
见证着这
Oh,
个
but it's
时
members
刻
item.
而所有的粉丝们，他们刚才也是高
Accept.
声呼喊着你的名字，
Ring
为
of
你
Wealth.
应援。你有非常多的家
That's worth
人
nothing.
朋友都在一路见
Let's
证着你
go.
的
I'm a
成长。
part of a clan
在此
too,
时此
guys.
刻，有没有什
Maybe.
么话想要对一直支持你的所有人说的呢？ 사실 지금 함께 있는 팀원도 앞에 있어서
Moving up that
또
corporate ladder.
이런 fact 많은 팬분들이
You are surrounded by your teammates
Of corporate ladder.
and fans who have supported you all along.
Thank you, sir.
Ring of Luck.
You would
Nothing.
like to say to
Nothing.
those who have
Ring of
shown you
Fortune.
so much love?
1 mil.
To your
That's worth
friends, your
something.
friends?
일단
Can't say it's
아까
nothing.
올해가 되게 힘든 한 해라 했었는데 팬분들의 응원이 없었으면은
I have a Bandos
되게
God Sword, but
힘들었던
it's.
그런 한 해였던 것 같고
I swear those were worth like
저를
4
끝까지
million
응원해
back in
주시는
the day.
모든 팬분들 그리고
Tour of a full
지인들,
home. Let's look at that.
가족들
Tour of
그리고
a
함께
full
해준
helm.
팀원들에게 너무 감사한 마음 전하고
Value.
싶고
G.
또 마지막으로는 하나님께 감사와 영광 돌리고 싶습니다.
221 million?
其实
Oh,
就
that's
像我
old
刚才提
school.
到的，我觉得今年对于我来讲有着
What?
非常多无比艰难的时
It's
刻。
worth so much in
I have
old
mentioned
school
that
and
this
worth
year was very
nothing in
difficult
new
to
school.
me, and had I not had the support coming from my friends, I
Dang.
believe I would not have been able to
Well, not nothing.
make
It's
it all
worth
the
16
way
mil.
to
That's
here.
pretty
So
good.
I am very, very grateful for your support.
包围着，有我的队
Thank
友们，
you
有我的
to
家
all
人
my
们。
friends
Also
who
members,
has
though.
been showing so much love and support until the very end, and also
Alright, let's
my
Google
friends
this.
and
Best
family
money
and my
making
teammates.
for
I am
high
very, very
level
thankful.
players
And lastly,
in RS3.
I would like to say I am very grateful to God for this opportunity.
Non-members.
다시 한번
The clan chat.
네, 트로피를 다시 한번
Dinosaur propellant
들어올리세요.
fire making, which is low effort, can earn up to 20 mil GP per
与此同
hour.
时，也让我们再次
Ooh,
感谢本次
dinosaur
全球总决赛
propellant.
所有的参赛战队、所有台前幕后的工作人员，当然也要
Okay,
感
20
谢
mil per hour is
所有
pretty
线
good.
上线下热爱英雄
I
联
basically
盟
could
的
get a
每一
membership
个你。
in
成都的朋友们，
what,
最
6,
后一次
7
让我
hours?
们汇聚所有的能量与热情，让我们把所有的掌声和欢呼声送给2025年全球总决赛冠军战队 T1。
Alright, Xander, now where do I go? Bex from
It is
Scribe.
absolutely incredible, but they have done it again. The three-peat has been completed, and Faker has lifted his
Didn't see you hiding over there.
World Championship trophy. The Summoner's Cup, as we see it there. The design returned to the one he knows and loves so much from the first time he wanted to go for the three-peat. But now, finally getting that honor for him, Emily, and the rest of T1.
Yeah, I think you can tell how much it means to all of these T1 members, right? We talked about their struggles domestically. We've talked about how impressive it is that Faker keeps reinventing himself to end up right here, lifting the Summoner's Cup. And I don't think anything encapsulates this as much as Doran's emotion as he was lifting that trophy, Azale.
I mean, it's just incredible to see, you know, Doran has had this career that has been defined by some of these missteps. I think he had a fantastic series here today.
Do the same thing I'm doing.
Really earned that world championship. And for everyone else, yeah, they were already world champions, but now they have done the three-peat. No one had done that in the history of League of Legends. To me, it is point blank period, the greatest roster we have seen in League's history.
Absolutely, and you could also tell how much that MVP trophy meant to Gumayusi, right? He cited his struggles this year
Social
in the
events,
first part of the year,
parties.
substituted out for Smash, came back, wins like
That's it.
MVP of Worlds Finals and his third Summoners Cup. Are you kidding me?
It's
That's
crazy.
amazing.
It's even crazier because I think we saw the arc within
Oh, that's
this
sick. So
series.
your
He was
companions
struggling
give
with
you
himself
experience
just
boosts
a
too.
little. Those moments where he's usually so on point, it didn't quite work out. But game
Work with
5 is
clanmates
all
to
that
increase your
matters.
skills.
I mean, he showed up when it mattered most, and I loved what he said, that this is the year he finally proved
Battle
himself
other
to
players
himself.
can, yeah.
And to me, I think there's nothing better than that. And what a special moment. Not only does he win the Finals MVP, but to have a legendary AD carry being the one presenting that
powerful
to you,
enemies such as
I think just
King
makes
Black
it even
Dragons
cooler. Uzi, the one up there on stage, is good too.
Queens. So guys, if you become part of a clan, you can like bond together and all do the same, I believe, do the same missions together.
Faker to come to the desk to give a goodbye, and we will give him a congratulations, of course, from the English feed as well, which should be absolutely amazing. But I mean, let's talk about.
Is that what you wanted me to do,
I'm
Xander?
not gonna do that exactly in the same way if he does come, but he is so inspirational. It really is unbelievable. A lot of careers fall flat when they hit the first hurdle. A lot of careers fall flat when they have even a percentage of the disappointment that he has lived in some of the points in his career. Notably, right here in China in 2017, where we saw him just being completely downtrodden about that. Again, in 2022, when he was trying to get back on the docket and win a world championship again, knocked down, but he always gets back up, right? It's crazy, Emily, and it's just, I'm in awe whenever I watch him play, and whenever I hear him speak, he's just, I'm so happy that Faker is the one that we can hang all of our hopes and dreams and aspirations to when it comes to League of Legends esports.
Yeah, we're really fortunate. I don't know how many times I've said that. Yeah, either in private to friends or publicly
I'm
on
asking
this
for a
broadcast
small
how lucky
loan
we
of
are to have Faker as the
154.9
face
million.
of our sport. It means so much, and I'm so glad you brought out, because I feel like people really underestimate
Teleport
Faker's
portal where we're
resiliency, and
teleporting to.
overall this T1 team's resiliency, right? Because, oh, they just keep winning worlds. It must be so easy for them. But I think it's made so much greater by the fact that
My
they've
clan's
all struggled.
Citadel.
Faker with so many, we covered the eras, so many ups and downs throughout his career, constantly reinventing himself, constantly having so many ups and downs throughout his career, constantly reinventing himself.
Guys, we on a whole like
having the
different mission over here.
to push forward just because he loves the game. That's amazing. It's inspiring. It's something I want to bring to like my presence
This
on
is
a
sick.
broadcast. Like just ultimately having fun with my friends. Oh, game I love.
Like up in the clouds up here.
Faker silencing us once again. I mean, to me,
like he already do, Emily. That's he heard it.
The thing that has always blown me away about Faker, because of all my time as a pro gamer, I always respected consistency above all else, because I saw how much it took to ever even reach that peak one time. To have like a glimpse of what Faker has achieved. You know, to get there once takes your entire life for most of these pros. To be able to do it year after year after year after year for so long, to maintain that level of dominance in a game that is so competitive, that has so many people that are gunning for you year after year, I just think it's unreal to be able to just watch that greatness every single time.
It's crazy. He helped them get back up after that 2022 loss. Famously, he's looking at Keria saying, I'm not going to let this happen again. And Keria also talked so much about how that was a formative event for what we see now. And I just want to remind
Smiley
people
face.
of what
Big
we
smiley
said back
face.
then. This is the best roster to
Maybe
never
bigger
win
smiley face is
worlds.
needed.
They might never after that. And they said, nope, we're about to win 3 in a row. And I think that's crazy for the entire roster because like no other roster
I want
in
to
the
do
world,
something in the members world. I looked up dinosaur propellant.
Like to talk about when it comes to, you know,
I
build
guess.
conversations. Obviously, Faker is the undisputed GOAT of League of Legends. That's not even a question. But it's about international accolades. You know, people talk about jungle, and there's
They
people
say it's
who are on the
25 mil
Canadian
an
side for
hour,
individual dominance.
which
There's
is
people
actually
who are
kind
on
of
the Benki
insane.
side for all the trophies that he won. All of these players, even though to me, though they still feel new when you think of like Owner and Guma
Step
and
by
Keria,
step.
you think, wow, they haven't been around for that long. Now they have 3 world championships, 4 world
The update broke
finals
Dino
appearances.
propellant.
How do I turn it on?
Even if you
Aw,
just
man.
talk about accolades, they have to be in the conversation for the greatest ever
Oh,
in
this is all
their role.
2023.
It's insane,
Break.
and to follow that journey, and every year for them to come in and to just peak at Worlds. We talked a lot about it, Emily, at the beginning of the
I kind of want to
show,
go
but the fact
train
that, yes,
something,
domestically, we hold them to
like strength.
signature pose.
Brent, what are you
Talking
doing?
control stone?
What are you playing?
Insane standard,
Activate your
right?
weekly
Because
buff.
like, oh, you're not gonna win the LCK.
I'm
you
doing
really
Experience
didn't. It
boost or
was
Citadel
always Gen G.
plot
But
resource?
Huh?
somehow that is what makes them different
Experience
from
boost,
teams
right?
like Gen G. They have the clutch factor. They peak when it matters. The bright lights, they don't affect them as much as other teams, right, Em?
I mean, I wouldn't say it even doesn't affect
I'm just
them,
doing
but
quests.
I like how they almost thrive.
Oh,
at
you're
that,
doing
right?
quests?
Like,
Oh,
they
what?
take that pressure and they use
'Kay.
it, and that's why I really
That sounds
like
fun.
that you pointed out
Trying to get
coming
the,
out of that 2022
Spare
loss
change.
to DRX. Keria saying, much, you know? Like, now I just want to have a good game. You heard Faker in his interview being like, thank you, KT. I think we put out a really great performance today, and ultimately,
Got it.
sometimes it's just about having fun with your friends playing League of Legends.
And I mean, obviously the players are deserving of so much credit, but you also have to look at T1 as an organization, right?
Yeah.
Because it has not just been, oh, you fluked into a great roster and you won a couple times. They have been at the top of League of Legends for so long, through so many different iterations, through so
This
many
minimap?
different rosters, even through times where
cool.
Faker wasn't always
Whoa.
playing, or he's getting subbed out at times, right? They still are able to find that success, and to me, that really does speak to the foundation of T1 as an organization. We heard in the coach's interview giving so much credit to the support staff, to the coaching staff, to everyone that is there to help enable that success.
Definitely so. Faker's still on stage, who's not joining us yet, as you may have noticed. The only one we haven't talked
Woodcutting
about.
skill
And
port.
it happens often, even though
There
he's
we
so
go.
important for the
Mine
team,
skill
it's Owner,
port.
and I think specifically in this series,
Furnace.
right, where Cuz
High
was kinda
level
getting
PVM
the
like
better, not
next
just of
Angel
him,
of
but
Death or
of the series
Telos.
overall, I feel like. And then
Barbecue.
to come in to have that game where together with Guma, they secure
95
every objective.
mil an
They're still in the
hour?
fight. They push it to game 5.
No
I mean, the
way.
guy's incredible.
Well, and also, yeah, the Game 5 Pantheon, I thought was really
That's got to be a
great,
method.
right? Like,
Oh, I didn't
he
put.
was getting those
Okay.
points off on priority targets like Gokdam, pushing
Damn.
BDD back, so BDD was always constant under pressure as this primary threat of the KT competition.
Mining rune ore.
And yeah, Owner is another one of those players I feel
Think I'm
really,
high enough level, huh?
seems
Is that
to
something we're doing
thrive
now, Xander, or are we
under the pressure
going
of
to do a
Worlds.
quest or
Owner
something?
just seems to thrive under every circumstance. This guy is just always
Recession-proof,
so
you would say.
reliable. He's recession-proof. He was my
Resources?
finals MVP vote. You know, I thought he was incredible.
Runite ore
Yes,
50. We could mine rune ore.
That is not a slight against Owner, because
Okay,
was
I
playing an
see.
incredible series, and this was such a back-and-forth battle.
Buy 10,000 bars to create arrowheads or dart tips. This is a click intensive method that can be sped up with a bonnet and a quest.
Being able to get those smite secures in, and I just think this guy, to me, is
Not
the
bad.
greatest jungler of all time. The level of consistency that he has shown over these past years is unmatched.
Yeah, we had it already. We couldn't count them out.
High
It was very
alchemy.
hard to predict against them in these situations at Worlds, specifically in best of fives. As you know, when you're a team and you work so
Headed
much
to
together
Rock.
behind the 5 players that are on stage, it takes a lot out of you, I'm sure, right? Because you absorb everything that they get hit with, because you need to help them work through it. And I just
I'll
think
right-click it as soon
emotionally,
as
that's probably
this loads up.
an incredible weight off their shoulders that they really want to celebrate with each other. As look at Carrier, that's amazing. I can't believe Owner one-hand.
Oh, fuck.
Okay, what do I do with the right click?
Grateful.
Grand exchange. Got it.
Clicking, lol. That's helpful. Anyone have some GP making tips?
Oh, that's sick. Unlimited free teleports. Okay, what do I need to do with the Grand Exchange? Or is this just where you're meeting me?
Does your friend have any like money making advice in RuneScape?
Xander, can you hear my friends talking on here? Do you have any money-making tips on RS3? Rue, what world are you in?
I am 4-3. Oh wait, that might have changed when I swapped. I'm world 3. Oh, yeah, I'm world 3.
You're in the same world as us.
Oh. What? I thought you guys are on a members world.
I don't think so. I think we're still in world 3. We're on 14. So he says buy 20 regular or 20x protean planks through 88 times stone wall segments through 8 times wooden frames. The first item is 20 planks.
Wait, and then do what? Does that make something? Like craft something?
So Xander, does that like help him craft stuff or he sell that stuff? We're all pretty new to this.
Yeah, I haven't played in like...
Oh, I see. He's
Long.
telling me to buy. He's telling me to buy that stuff.
Oh. Oh.
Bye. Just these regular planks? $20 of them?
He just told me his grandma died. That's sad.
Okay, Xander, we'll see you in a sec. I'll buy the planks. Stone wall segments. I was fast, bro. Okay, I think I got... Well, I put everything into purchase. It's just not loading. Following. I got stuck behind the wall. I don't want to leave new foundations. Inside the room. Talk to the king, I'm assuming. Am I interrupting something? Accept quest. I will have to play with the audio, Xander. I'm not sure why you can't hear. most part, I could hear. Kings Road following north of the wilderness and we'll find the Vale. Okay, so we have to go north of the Vale. Or north of the King's Road. Yeah, I'm following you. Doing a quest. Doing a quest.
Just let me go.
So those little blue things, like... Oh, those are just the quests.
I'm sorry, so sorry. I know you're scared on your own. You and me.
What was that?
I can't breathe. I need you to let me go. Just let me go.
BRB, BRB.
Are you back?
Just let me go. Just let me go.
Looks like this area is overrun with zombies. Would you like to continue? Yes.
Been here before. It's in my muscle memory, I'm pretty sure. I recognize you, there is something in your eyes. Won't let you get away tonight.
I need food. I don't have any food. Shit, I'm gonna die. Maybe let's run back. Ow.
Will you light me up, jumpstart my heart? I need someone before the sun goes down. Who's gonna
My first time I died.
some
Greetings. Nice to meet you.
before the sun goes down? Who's gonna save me now?
Where's the Howard Bus? where was it that the quest thing was? Kings Road. Gear I have on. I don't know if I'm high. I mean, I could go buy stuff. I don't know if I'm high enough level to put better stuff on though. Steel plate set. Gotcha. When I started playing yesterday, I was a little more worried about getting some money. Plus 2? Is that an option for like steel plate sets? Our wall stuff's also ready. It only shows +1. Xander, are you gonna be on tomorrow too? What do we need these for? Do you have Discord? You could join our server. That way we could just talk. Rue, Brian, are you guys still in?
Looks like Rue left.